Today I'm going to be using the youth to gold method to sort out Barcelona. Again, because their finances are horrific and youth to gold can solve that problem. But what is the youth to gold, I hear you ask? What it means is that I'm only allowed to sign players up to the age of 19 years old. And after season 2, I'm not allowed to use players 30 or above. Although I kind of broke it in season 2, but I'll explain it when we get there. But through this method, we need to take Barcelona back to winning Champions Leagues. As well, of course, clearing the debt of over £500 million. So to do this, I need to sacrifice success in early seasons, sell the high-wage players, and buy young, high-potential prospects and begin to build a DNA of how we play football. So that's our method of attack. Our goals have been set, so let's dive right into day one of our job at Barcelona. First things first, a club is only as good as its staff, and I have so many spaces for scouts, which of course is very important for youth to gold. System-wise, before we sign players and create our own identity, it's important to find a system that works right now with the current players already here, and this team really does suit a 4-2-3-1. Scouts are coming through the door though, so let's show you how I set up my recruitment focuses. Easy enough, I set to look for any position, age of course a maximum of 19, always set priority to ongoing, and the minimum current ability down to the grey stars to find the newest players coming through as well. Then head to areas, and because of the amount of scouts I am able to have, a lot of these for almost every single region in Europe and South America and Africa can be selected. Which of course, as you can see, I've set up identical focuses for as many of those regions as I possibly could, but a lot less scouts. It's more important to be more broad with this. Another little trick that people always forget about is making sure you have enough money in your scouting budget. If you go to scouting, you have a look at the scouting budget. As you can see here, I've moved mine. To begin with, it was like up here, which meant that once that scouting budget has run out, your scouts will no longer be able to search for any other players. But by the time all the new players come into the game in sort of the April-March time, you'll have no money to find all of these new gens. So making sure that that is pretty much maxed out as much as possible, because this season, I'm not really going to be buying a lot of players anyway. That's right, don't be surprised if I don't make any signings in season number 1, as I just solely focus on the players already here, and of course, keep a close eye on those amazing academy players. And this season, players such as Kurabasi will get game time, as well as, of course, Lamine Yamal, who both will play a huge future in this project. There are as well some staples of the first team who are incredible talents of the La Masia Academy, including Balde and Gavi too. So it's important that we include that within our rebuild, still using the youth to gold method. And this first season we're going to breeze through because not a lot of transfers are going to come in, and as we say, we are going to sacrifice a lot of success in those early years for the long-term success in the future. So in season 1, by Christmas, Real Madrid had already opened up a big gap in the league, and we unfortunately have drawn Liverpool in the Champions League round of 16. A bid for Manchester City came in for Frankie de Jong, but I instantly rejected it. He's still got a good few years left yet, and that's nowhere near enough for what I value the player at. As expected, Real Madrid won the league at the end of the season, but we only lost 2 games throughout the whole campaign and ended it on 96 points, which isn't bad. And Lewandowski picked up 28 goals, but of course, in season 2, it means we have to say goodbye to him. Our Copa del Rey run ended also to Real Madrid in the quarterfinals after an extra time win when they beat us 3-2. In the Champions League, it was Liverpool who we fell to, again in extra time, after Gavi's red card in the second leg kind of cost us our 2-goal lead from the first leg. We did win the Super Cup though after extra time, beating Real Madrid 4-3, so it isn't all that bad. But this is where the fun begins now, because we've got to look at our squad and decide who's going to leave. Of course, there are a few players who are above the age of 30 that, due to the youth to gold rules, we are going to try and get rid of. That being said, Lewandowski did score 36 goals for us, so that does leave a bit of a hole there. And ter Stegen played 47 games in goal. The other two, it's not too bad. Szczesny and Martinez, we can kind of make do with the players that we've got. But replacing those two with players that are 19 years of age or younger, or players, of course, that are already at the side, is going to be the trickiest part of Season 2. But this is why the Youth to Gold is the perfect method to help a club like Barcelona, because look at our finances. £121 million in the red. The debts are at £424 million, and we've barely spent a penny. It's just these stupid high wages that our players are on. 625 grand for Frankie de Jong. Does make me think maybe we should have sold him earlier, but at the same time, I think we could have got more money for him. Lewandowski on a really high wage. Even the likes of Rafinha, who was very much a bench player for a lot of the season, could be strued as kind of too expensive for us to play right now. That's the kind of mindset that I'm going into, because the players that we're going to be bringing through are going to be nowhere near these wages. I still think that some of the recruitment focuses just haven't worked though. I know a lot of them, they're not going to have the players right now, but even in Western Europe, they found one player, Desiree Doué. I think maybe we need to even alter this and bring this down. Although right now, of course, we've only gone through one season, there's not going to be a lot of new gens in the actual world that we are in right now. It's kind of in season 3 and 4 where you start to see these new gens come through that we can begin to buy them. Because to be honest, I'm bored of buying players that are already in the game from the off that we've had for Football Manager 24 for over a year now. I want some new fresh blood. I want new gens. So again, season 2 might be a boring one in terms of bringing players in, but that's why Barcelona's the perfect club for it, because our development centre is full of fantastic players that I want to bring into this first team, or at least give first team football to. The likes of Noah Darvic, I could definitely see as a first team player for us, maybe giving him some minutes or even some loan time. Alex Vale right now is on the cusp of being a backup for Alejandro Balde. Hector Fort could come in and be a really good right back for us, among plenty of other players in the side that we've already got in the first team. Some of them are out on loan. We've got Marc Casado, who is a decent centre defensive midfielder that if we wanted to sell Frankie de Jong, there's an option to be a replacement. I first of all worked on selling players and got a reasonable £43 million bid for Ter Stegen to go to PSG. For Lewandowski, who is nearly 36, just £2.9 million was offered though. Of course, to me, they're probably worth a lot more than what, I'm actually selling them for. But that's the rules of Youth to Gold. We have to sell these players once they are over the age of 30 because they do have high wages, and replace them later on with cheaper, younger prospects. However, this is the problem I have. Lewandowski is refusing to leave the club. In terms of players in, Tommaso Martinelli, an 18-year-old goalkeeper, is a target I have in mind to replace Ter Stegen, because there's very limited options for the price, especially when players like Restes is nearly £100 million. So I did what I think was the smart move and bring in Martinelli. It cost me just £4.2 million. It saves me spending £90 million on a goalkeeper, which is kind of against what we're trying to do here. And financially, of course, selling the likes of Ter Stegen, etc. with the wages brings just 14 grand a week with Martinelli. You can then rotate with Pena, who we've already got at the club, for the #1 shirt. Szczesny's also left the club and went back to Arsenal on a free transfer. And Martinez finally left to go to Porto, but again, only a free transfer. But here's the problem. We are at the 1st of August. We're just about to start the season anytime soon. We've got Real Madrid in our first game of La Liga, of course we have at home. And we still cannot get rid of Lewandowski. Longley is 29. He does actually turn 30 at the end of next season, so we don't actually have to worry about him this season, which is kind of nice. Kind of leaves, just our focus on Lewandowski. I've transfer listed him. I've done everything I possibly could. Multiple times I've offered him out. The only one offer we had for £2.9 million, and he rejected it. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just keep him here until I can eventually sell him. Hopefully we're not waiting too long. Maybe the January, maybe of course next season. His contract annoyingly is 2026. We can't just bin him off right now. So I think we might just have to break our Youth to Gold rule in season 2 and just play Lewandowski so that people actually still want him. Because when you don't play a player, it's even harder to get rid of them. And I think that's basically what we've got to do with him. It also kind of works out well in a way, because we don't actually have an out-and-out striker. We can play the likes of Ansu Fati there, even Ferran Torres. Lamine Yamal, I kind of want to come off of this wing here. We are actually changing system too. I want to try something this time round. I don't know whether it's going to stick, because I'm just throwing things at a wall to find our identity and our DNA later on. But Martinelli, I want to give as much game time to this season. The rest of the side, I'm kind of happy with them just kind of fighting it out, really. The likes of Yamal will get a lot of game time naturally because he's just that good. I think Fati and Rafinha will need game time and, of course, will need a rest. So we've got enough centre-backs. We don't naturally have a really good right-back. Usually it's Koundé or Araujo who goes in that position. So I'm actually happy with just this style of play. See what happens at the start of the season before we commit to anything. Unfortunately, a 92nd minute Kylian Mbappe goal give us a loss in El Clasico to kick the season off, which was then followed by a 2-0 loss to Real Sociedad the game after. We picked up a win in Robert Lewandowski's final match as he got himself a hat-trick for the club, and I have just received a bid that I actually think he will accept to leave Barcelona. And it's PSG again that have come in with a bid of £3.7 million for the legendary striker, and I think this might be enough for him to leave, especially seeing as he's also now unhappy at the club. And that was enough indeed for him to leave Barcelona, but a very quiet window in terms of transfers in for us so far, just replacing the goalkeeper and loaning out some talents while selling older players. So just 3 games is what Lewandowski played, but I felt like we needed that to happen so that a bid would come in. He scores a hat-trick and all of a sudden the bid comes in. Like, there's got to be some kind of correlation there. But now we can just focus on the youth to goal process going into season number 2. In January, the board accepted my request to allow us up to 23 scouts now, which is fantastic. Although I think we still need to slightly alter these recruitment focuses to allow us to find more players. Because right now, we are getting a lot of players being scouted, but hardly any make it through to the recommended list for us to actually sign in terms of youth to gold. We need a lot of options there. As I am currently not happy with the type of players the scouts are finding us and only giving the established players instead of those hidden gems that we rely on for youth to gold, but the attribute masking is here to make the challenge slightly more difficult. But that's why I love the youth to gold, because of the challenge, and of course when you eventually develop these unearthed wonder kids, you get a nice warm fuzzy feeling in your stomach. Just like I'm giving you right now, your season 2, you must be enjoying it. Why don't you press that subscribe button? Because if you refuse to do so, then I really hope when you go to bed tonight, and you think, oh, the pillow's really hot, I'll spin it over. I hope the other side of it's really warm as well. In terms of the title race, we are just 3 points behind Real Madrid in January, right behind them after picking up 3 losses at the start of the season. And of course, their players are smashing in the goals, but so is Ansu Fati with 12. Annoyingly, we just dropped into the playoff spots of the Champions League after a couple of bad results in January, but haven't received our fixtures just yet for the playoff round. But we are in the 4th round of the Copa del Rey against Tenerife. We continue to put up a good fight in La Liga despite selling Lewandowski, as we found ways to score goals still. And the step up and development in players such as Lamine Yamal was pivotal for us in being in a title race at all. Unfortunately for us though, at the end of season 2, Real Madrid were once again crowned champions, and we are 5 points behind them after we just lost too many games and failed to beat them when it mattered. No excuses in both the Copa del Rey and the Champions League though, we were just poor and didn't go far in either competition. The positive this season has definitely been the likes of Lamine Yamal and Koulibaly, who has been a first team player, and I've made sure I've played him as many games as possible. The development is kind of there already. Just age 18, a lot of game time under his belt, that will do him the world of good. Martinelli as well, coming in as our new number 1 goalkeeper. The development has been there. This season though, we only really need to get rid of 1 or 2 players. Christensen and Longley are the main 2. Christensen played a lot of games, Longley not a lot at all. Rafinha we could look at as well. That could be an option that we get rid of. But there's already some players that I found, that my scouts have found, to be fair, that I want to bring to the club. In terms of the recruitment focuses, they found quite a few good players, Javier Grau being one of them, so he's going to join the club. And if we're looking at just scouted players as well, with that 19 cap of an age limit, you can see there's a couple of players here that might be worth the money. Grau we've already looked at, but this man here, Sorencio Talia, who was at Ajax, he looks like a really good defensive midfielder. Like a solid defensive midfielder. I've put a bid in for him, 18 years of age. It has been accepted. I am slightly worried about his adaptability and the fact that he could be susceptible to injuries. But right now, our options are rather limited, and he's not bad of a price that I could potentially move him on for more as well. There's 3 players, in fact, that I've made bids for at this point. Fiali being another one who was at Lyon for just £7.5 million. Looks like a solid centre-back option who's also left-footed. I let the contracts of Christensen and Longley run out, and they've both left the club aged 29. And I think I found the perfect long-term replacement for just £7 million in 15-year-old Malian defender Mahamadou Touré. if I can increase his pace and acceleration with a bit of training, we could be looking at generational talent on our hands here, as he already has the base of a quality defender. But right now, he doesn't feature in our new system, which could become the new DNA that I was hoping to create at the club, as we look into a 4-3-2-1 style of formation using a wide inside forward, occupied of course by Lamine Yamal. It allows us to use the new players we have knocking on the door of the first team, such as Casado. Ansu Fati can continue up front where he's doing quite well, and Kabasi and Koundé can develop into a great partnership. Players like Frankie de Jong can thrive with the defensive midfielders around him, and their system started so well for us this season. We blasted through the first 4 games of the season without conceding a single goal. But of course, the first loss of the season happened in an El Clasico, in a 2-0 loss to Real Madrid. The title race was well and truly on though, as we were level on points going into the new year, with Yamal and Vinicius Jr. also topping the Golden Boot race. We had a good Champions League campaign for the league phase 2, finishing in the top 8 as we continued through January being glued to Real Madrid's side at the top. And we got the result of the season when we travelled to Madrid at the Bernabeu as we battered our rivals 4-0 in an outstanding performance. Not only that, we got all the way to the Copa del Rey final and beat them there too, 2-1, to lift our first trophy for the club. Unfortunately, however, the couple of really bad losses in the league might have cost us the league title, as Real Madrid were just relentless, and despite losing to us 4-0, still managed to accumulate 100 points this season to lift the La Liga trophy. There is, however, some positive news when it comes to our run in the Champions League this season. We have somehow smashed our way through the semi-final against Manchester City, 8-2 on aggregate, to go and face PSG in that final. We could have a Champions League trophy on our hands already, and we're only in season number 3 of Youth to Gold. And what a Champions League final it was, as we actually took the lead through the end of the first half through Alejandro Balde, and even doubled our lead when PSG, with of course Lewandowski and ter Stegen in their side, messed around and Lamine Yamal capitalised and scored a second. But that is when it all went downhill for us in Barcelona shirts, because Vitinha scored on the 69th minute, Marco Asensio then bagged an equaliser in the 79th minute, and a near post corner from Marquinhos gave PSG the win. So don't you dare ever have a go at me again for using a near post tactic, because the AI does it as well. Besides that, we had a great season. Runners up in the Champions League, just unlucky really, a Copa del Rey win, and we took Real Madrid right to the end of the season. They're still just so good, 100 points. We even beat them in a game 4-0. And they still only lose 2 matches across the whole season. We know it's going to be hard to beat them. Lamine Yamal actually got one of the highest amount of goals this season. He still didn't win the Golden Boot though, because Vinicius Jr. got one more, but 27 goals from a winger is absolutely exceptional, and he has developed into a world-class talent at just 18 years old. Outside of that and him scoring 38 goals and 22 assists, Ansu Fati had a very good season again up front. Dani Olmo also contributed quite well. But what we've really got to be careful with now is 2 of our best players are actually going to have to be sold. Frankie de Jong. I knew this day was going to come soon or enough, but he has been exceptional for us in our system. He holds that deep line playmaker role so well. He is the forefront of all of our attacks, and now unfortunately he has come to the age of 29. We need to get rid of him. Our only sort of positive is that Al Ahly are looking at him in terms of a transfer, but replacing him is not going to be as easy as what you'd normally have, because in Youth to Gold we can only replace him with somebody at the club or a player that we have bought who is 19 years of age or younger. And we're not at the point where we've developed anybody yet. We've got a couple of good prospects, but nobody is first team ready. There's a couple of options. I mean, Emili here could be possibly trained to play a little bit deeper, but again, nowhere near ready. He's probably better to play in that attacking midfielder role when we replace Dani Olmo, but that's not anytime soon. He can grow and develop. He actually come through our youth academy. Of course, we're going to have players like that as well. Toure, I'm actually quite pleased with him this season. He's come off the bench a couple of times, developing all right, but again, he's only 16. We don't need to worry about that just yet. This is the man that could potentially get a first team position next season, unless we realise we have good enough squad depth, and I think possibly a loan move might be the right way to go. But Sorencio Talia, who we picked up from Ajax last season, has been developing quite well. It could be time that we give him some first team football. And I don't think there's anybody that we can bring in directly to influence that midfield either. If we're looking at players who are just up to the age of 19 and we're going by the best ability, current ability, it's not looking good as in terms of bringing a player in. There's lots of options for us. There are players who I'm looking at thinking we can definitely sign some of these. There's names dotted around here that I might even have a little cheeky bid on soon, but right now, I mean, this guy looks really good for £5.8 million as like a centre-back who possibly we could train to play right back because of that 13 crossing. Miguel Motta is arguably one of the highest ones on my list. He's Portuguese descendant, who's also Dutch, coming through the Willem II side. That could be an option. There's plenty of players in here that I could bring in, but nobody who's going to be first team ready right now. The summer was rather an interesting one as we received a great bid for Rafinha, but there's also some interest in De Jong still. And as pivotal as he is to the club, an offer came through for £71 million from Saudi Arabian side Al Ahly, and I had to accept. Both those deals went through, and we even purchased Miguel Motta and loaned him back for some first team football, as well as buying another left back. However, there's a couple of really interesting bids that have come in at the same time. Now, there's one for Pedri for 44 up to £92 million from AC Milan, but there's also one from Dani Olmo from Liverpool, 56 up to £87 million. Dani Olmo's 28. Realistically, obviously, we can only use him for one more season. He can play up until the January because he goes into his 30s in the May time, so he could technically play another season, 2 seasons, 1.5 from now, but I think we need to accept it. I know that was a long way to go around it, but I think accepting that bid for Dani Olmo needs to be done. We've got options in that centre attacking midfield role. Of course, we've got Pedri being one of them, which is why I'm going to reject the Pedri bid. But we do have the likes of Noah Darvic, wherever he is around here somewhere that I know is a absolutely quality talent that we can put. And of course, we've bought some other players as well, such as Franco Mastantuono, who's joined the club very recently for £7 million. And I picked him up from River Plate as an option that we could be putting in that centre attacking midfield spot. Possibly loaning him out so he gets first team football and comes back even better. I do think, though, that the Noah Darvic is the option to go for at this time. I'm intrigued to see how a left footer will also do in this role too. 2 more signings came through the door as we brought in striker Alvaro Mendoza for £2.5 million and a new goalkeeper from Catalan rivals Espanyol named Anthony, who we have signed for £7.5 million and loaned straight out to Mallorca for first team football. And that's because right now I'm still willing to give Tommaso Martinelli the spot in goal and hope he continues to develop. The season has already begun though, and Talea has taken to first team football really well and scores and plays a big part in another on his debut. Now the season started well. We've dropped our first 2 points in La Liga, but thankfully we actually saved a point thanks to Pedri's 95th minute, and we've just actually beaten Marseille 4-0 and also beat Tenerife 8-0. So we are underway this season. We are linked again with Real Madrid, both on 16 points, and actually Atletico Madrid too. But I thought now that we've made some big players out, we've also brought in some new players. Let's have a quick gander. So there's a lot of players that have actually gone out on loan, including Ferran Torres. Trying to get rid of him on a permanent basis. Atalanta's come in with a good loan fee of £2.7 million. I thought, why not? Let's just accept that because I've got players in other positions that I can use there. So the new players come in. We got Asselin here, who looks like he could be a really good right back from Monaco, £8 million. Then we've got Reinhold from Brøndby, up to £10 million. Decent centre-back, to be fair, but loaned him back to Brøndby. But the one I'm quite excited about is Johan Garrett from Charleroi, and I've actually loaned him back to Charleroi as well. He plays in the DM role, but what I like about him is he's left-footed, so we've got a left-footed player to play in that 3 in midfield that we've got. And his physicals are really good to begin with. 6'2", has high potential. My scouts were screaming at me to sign him. When we did sign him, it did come up that he was a little bit inconsistent, but I'm not too worried about that. For £13 million, it's worth the gamble. But let's have a look at the finances, because off the back of this, of course, there's £75 million there with only 46 coming in, £87 million there with 16 going in. We have £117 million in our transfer budget. Finances is looking so healthy. £325 million, which means the debt and loan has also come down. £218 million. We're almost at the halfway point in terms of the debt, which of course is one of the main things, one of the main aims that we had of this Youth to Gold project. El Clasico at the end of October played a big part at the top of the league, and it was not ideal for us at all. From that point though, we went winless in 3 games in the league and even drew 2 more in December, giving away silly points in the title race. Once again, a solid performance in the league phase of the Champions League though, only losing to Milan 4-1 and picking up some big wins. Noah Darvic was putting in some fantastic performances too and developing really well in the first team, picking up 10 goals so far this season with 7 assists as we head to the back end of the season. Unfortunately, March was a rough month for us as we were knocked out of Europe by Porto again. And one of the 2 games we lost that month was to Real Madrid as well in the league. But a chance for payback came as we have them in the Copa del Rey final coming up very soon. And we made life really difficult for ourselves as we went 2 goals down and had to fight back to take the game to extra time and then eventually to penalties, where we completed the comeback and Martinelli saved 2 penalties to help us lift another Copa del Rey trophy. Unfortunately, the league though was still out of our grasp, and the 2 losses against Real Madrid are definitely to blame for that. This season, Lamine Yamal was again just an absolute stud. I mean, a fantastic looking player now. He's got 20 for vision. The development in his physicals are unbelievable. He is literally turning into the best player in the world. And again, he's only 19 at this point. Giving him the game time has really paid off. But Ansu Fati also matched him with 30 goals. He got nowhere near the same amount of assists, but he's still got 30 goals playing up front while we are waiting to really have that breakthrough striker come through. We still got 6 years left for us to be able to do that before we have to, of course, sell Ansu Fati. Speaking of selling players, I don't think there's anybody right now who we need to sell, but we are in trouble next season when Ronald Araujo and Jules Koundé both leave the club, age 29. That's when we've really started to consider who is going to be playing in that centre-back slot. And we've got some options, of course. The likes of Touré, who's coming through. Hopefully he's going to be ready. But there are some names that I have found through our scouting system, and again through, of course, the recruitment focuses. There's some players in here that I have picked out that I think could be worth having a pop at, and there is a couple of centre-backs, one of them being Flavio Di Michelis, who isn't bad at all. Again, left-footed as well, for 18 years old, not bad at all. And then there's also Santiago Portillo, not quite as good, but still a lot of prospect. Possibly a bit of development, and he could go into the first team. Our under-19s is quite an interesting look at the minute because we've got the likes of Anthony, who has obviously been out on loan and developed quite well at Mallorca. Got a lot of game time there. We also have Marcel Estelis, who is Spanish, but he's been in the Andorran team on loan. He came through our youth academy. He looks quite good. There's a possibility if he continues to develop that he could break into the first team. So that's one to really look out for his name. Johan Garat, of course, who I signed last season. He's been playing first team football at Charleroi. And then there's obviously some players that we have brought in recently. Some have developed, some haven't. I'm still not quite sure who is going to make it into the first team. Alvaro Mendoza could be an option, but for a striker, his finishing's quite poor right now. We still haven't found that striker that we know, all right, in a couple of seasons, he is going to be our go-to striker. We definitely know, though, off the back of this, that Mahamadou Touré could be our starting centre-back on the left-hand side. The pace has gone up to 12. The acceleration has gone up to 10. He's looking very, very good right now. He played a lot of games non-competitively for the youth team, and he's got 14 goals. He takes penalties. I don't know how good is his penalties. 7. I don't know why he's taking penalties, but he seems to be quite good at them. He scored all of his penalties so far. I mean, he looks quite a good prospect. He definitely looks one of my favourite prospects right now to go into the first team. But there's a lot of players that could happen to, and that's the beauty of Youth to Gold. No first team players have left the club this season, and it's just loan deals for young players needing first team football. However, there are some new names, 4 to be exact, that have joined the club in various different positions, and maybe one that actually might make some first team appearances. That being the Bulgarian left back Damjanov. as an attacking left back, he could be something great. Defensive positioning is a worry, but he's come already off the bench a couple of times and scored a goal. And our system certainly does rely on very attacking left backs to work for us and give us width and threat down that left hand side. I'm very much enjoying this system too, as we seem to be scoring goals and rarely conceding. And when we played Real Madrid in December, I was incredibly optimistic about our chances when we took the lead. That was until the 87th minute when Brahim Diaz equalised, and then not too optimistic at all when he scored the winner 5 minutes later. Even still, we are currently sitting in first place above Real Madrid by a point after 20 games, which is promising, but a bad league phase in the Champions League means we miss out on the top 8. I decided to give Damjanov a loan move to Valencia in hopes that he gains more first-team football instead of coming off the bench to help with his development. A 4-0 aggregate win over PSV in the playoff round of the Champions League sends us through to the last 16. Where unfortunately across 2 legs we couldn't score against Inter Milan and lost 1-0 in aggregate. And against Valencia we lost in the Copa del Rey semi-final. When we faced Real Madrid in the returning fixture in the league, it was heartbreaking as a 92nd minute penalty lost us the match. We can only really blame ourselves though for losing each of the match either side of that Real Madrid game, in which Yamal missed a penalty in both games at a crucial point of the match. Not that I can pin any of the blame on him this season, as he's been fantastic and his development now is phenomenal. And it's this 3 run of games which is exactly why we're not sitting as champions in La Liga this season and finishing 7 points behind Real Madrid. The huge positive at the end of this season is definitely the finances. As we can see, we got £400 million in the bank now, which is almost as high as the most we've ever had. 479 seems to be the highest, which is during the season. But the debts and loans are at their lowest. Almost all gone. £181 million. We have just short of £200 million before we can completely wipe the debt free. In terms of players this season, Talea and Darvic were 2 players we gave a lot of game time to. Talea has done really well. He's already wanted by a few clubs and his value is close to £100 million. So I think we spent £12 million on him. He was definitely, 15 million, was definitely worth picking up. He has been a godsend to us since we sold Frankie de Jong. He's been very vital in any success we have had, and Darvic has just stepped up. 23 assists this season. Phenomenal season, really. I'm kind of in 2 minds as to whether locking him in next season to every single game or letting him just kind of fight it out a little bit now. And Anthony, I gave him football and he repaid us. Like, he's gone in instead of Tomasi and done really well. I mean, 36 games, he's kept 20 clean sheets in the league. I know we're Barcelona and we have a very good team in front of him, but I just think that's absolutely exceptional. Now, the downside, what we're going to have to face next season is we're going to have no Ronald Araujo, no Jules Koundé, and hopefully no Ferran Torres either. I'm still trying to get rid of him. Haven't really played that many games yet, but I think losing these 2 defenders is going to be difficult to recover from. We haven't exactly got the ready-made replacements that I usually like to get in on the Youth to Gold right there and waiting. I mean, of course, we have got a couple of players who can do it. Kabassi is now looking absolutely fantastic. And then if we're looking a little bit younger, then of course we have got somewhere our defender that we brought in recently, but I can't see him right now. There he is. I got him. Toure. Mahamadou Toure has developed quite nicely. He hasn't played that much this season. I think I'm just going to rock with him. I think locking him in, playing him as much as possible. He's 6'6". His pace has gone up to 14. Remember when I signed him when he was 15? And I was like, his pace is a worry. No, he's done very well. Pace up to 14. I'm happy with that for sure, and he looks absolutely solid. It was tough to say goodbye to Ronald Araujo this summer, but Man City coughed up £84 million, which is good to add to the debt payments. Jules Koundé also went to Manchester City, but we only managed to get £30 million for him. We even got more for Ferran Torres, who barely played last season, as he went to £35 million to Saudi Arabia. Iñaki Peña also left the club. He was another player who was just about to turn 30 this season, so we had to let him go. He went for just £2.4 million, but I never expected him to really leave for anything, if I'm honest. A couple of free transfers have left, a couple of loan players going to get first team football, which I think is important. Alvaro Mendoza being one of them. That's one to keep an eye out on. Our scouts rated him really highly. And Ruben Navarro, Demichelis, A couple of these players are new, and Esteles, who I mentioned previously, hasn't quite developed as much as what I hoped. Hopefully this loan spell would give him that development. So some of the names that you might not recognize: Ruben Navarro, £35 million. Now normally I don't really spend this much in Youth to Gold, but he is natural on both sides of the pitch and he's good with both feet. Spanish, 18, scouts rate him as a 5-star potential. Decent mental attributes as well, with 15 positioning already and good pace and stamina. I felt like it was actually worth paying that much money for him. I mean, he's consistent as well, which is all great. Everything is coming up as positive for him. So spending £35 million, although up front seems a lot of money, I think this is a deal which I can kind of like turn a blind eye to, because we are bringing in stupid amounts of money as well. I mean, our transfer budget is still 275 million with a whopping wage budget as well. We could go up to like nearly 400 mil. So I don't quite mind that one. But I guess those are like the compromises you make in the Youth to Gold system, because then we go and sign somebody for just 500k and also loan him out. And he isn't bad either. He plays on the right-hand side. He's Venezuelan, which is kind of cool. We've loaned him back to the same club. He's already got 3 assists and 11 appearances. Happy days for him. We've got a player from Club Brugge, £6 million. We've brought him in. I actually look at this and go, this could be a really good striker. Until he joined us and his potential flopped from 4-star to 3-star. So sometimes I don't know whether to judge that, because obviously it's down to the coach who's rating him that high instead of the scouts. But there we go. We went to Buriram United, a place to go if you're looking for some really cheap like sort of Asian players. We signed him before he turned 20. Haven't sent a lot of scouts out to these Asian countries, so it's very rare that we pick something up here, but we did pick him up. Again, he's just really cheap, and these are type of deals that I haven't made in this Youth to Gold yet. Deals that, all right, I don't think he might ever play for us in first team football, because his potential suggests that he won't get to a high level. I do also got to remember that our highest level is Lamine Yamal, so I can understand why it's only going to be a 3-star. 3-star left back might actually be really good, but he could be coming in for 500k. We loan him out a couple of seasons and sell him for like 15-20 million, maybe even more, which in Youth to Gold is like perfect. That's exactly what you want to happen. There's a couple of others like that we have done previously as well. But then I ended up going quite big on a couple of signings here. We spent £90 million in this window. Easily the biggest window that we have spent any money in. Pep Catala might challenge Antony for the #1 spot in goal, and he's only 18. I've had him on my radar at Villarreal for a while. I even put a bid in 2 seasons ago, maybe, or even 1 season ago. Had it accepted, and he rejected and signed a new deal with Villarreal. It cost me a lot more this time round, but he's a better player. I mean, he was playing first-team football for Villarreal last season. Like, he played 5 games for them in the league. I think he could be challenging for Antony in that #1 spot, as could Zaruki in one of those defensive midfielder spots. He needs a little bit of time and love and growth, but we picked him up from PSG, which is why it cost us a little bit more money. But I think it could be worth it. Tactically, we're still setting it up. However, this time round, I am going to give Toure my full attention at that centre-back role. And at the minute, I kind of want to give Antony half a season to prove that signing Catala is a mistake, because he should be wearing our #1 shirt. We'll see about that, though. But either way, I think Toure, locking him in, making sure we give him everything we possibly can to grow. I'm hoping we see a player that is far better than this in a season or 2. It hasn't quite gone our way, though, this season, as we've been drawing far too many games and are 7 points behind Real Madrid already. And it was a bad season all year round, as we lost in the Copa del Rey final after going 1-0 up in the first minute against Las Palmas. We were also eliminated by Araujo and Koundé's Manchester City in the Champions League quarter-finals. And Real Madrid went unbeaten all season to lift La Liga, and they are getting harder to beat every single season. But at least Yamal got the golden boot though. It is important to take positives from the season though, like this man, who has developed into an absolute crazy left back and has such a good season, getting 6 goals and 9 assists. And on the other side of the pitch, Miguel Mota, the Dutch right back, played even better, getting 6 goals with 11 assists in 30 games. Not to mention, I'm still loving the development of Mahamadou Touré, who's grown as a player this season by season, and is now a starting left-sided centre-back for us. And if we're looking at his progress for his attributes, his acceleration and pace alone have both gone up by 7 since we signed him. So yes, this page sucks. We should be winning the Copa del Rey against Las Palmas. That goes without saying. Manchester City knocking us out is just a wild coincidence and just annoying because we sold 2 of our best players to them in the summer that they knocked us out. But the La Liga, I mean, going unbeaten across the whole season, how do you beat that other than actually beating them yourself, which of course would have meant we'd have won the league. But we're still not quite there yet. I think we're right on the cusp of things. We were still waiting for the likes of a right back, a left centre back to come through, and obviously selling Araujo and selling Koundé has put us back a couple of seasons in terms of being ready. But we needed that season full of development to make sure that we can be back the following season. Lamine Yamal's season here is absolutely exceptional. Crazy stuff. We also had the most clean sheets alongside Unai Simon for Real Madrid with 18, which is great. And then, of course, the development of the players that we have now, I think that's really good. And we don't have to worry about the ages too much because Eric Garcia has at least another year. He played 51 games. I might even sell him anyway because I think there's certain players that should come in and be ready to take over in his position. I think we can afford to let him go and not worry too much about it. Even players that are coming in off the bench and playing a lot of games, to be honest, are not far off of where Eric Garcia is. And yeah, our finances are nearly at £600 million and the debts and loan is down to £112 million. The goal is in sight. We just need to start smashing some trophies. Transfer-wise, we kept it simple with a lot of loans. Alex Val going for £8 million, and then more loans for young prospects. A slight tweak to the system as well as we changed the middle player of our defensive midfielders from a deep line playmaker to a standard defensive midfielder on support. Although I'd still be open for a loan offer for Alvaro Mendoza, he's going to get some minutes playing up front this season at the expense of Ansu Fati. It's been a weird start to the season, I'll be honest. We drew 3-3 with Cadiz, but we were down to 10 men when Gavi got himself sent off. We then actually had to go and score a late Ansu Fati goal to actually equalise. So we saved a point there, but then we won the next 3 games 3-0. So I'm not quite sure how this season's going to play out. However, we are about to play Real Madrid twice, back-to-back in the league and in the Champions League. So hopefully we throw them off with a loss in the Champions League and then beat them in the league, and maybe we could be claiming the La Liga title this season. There are some new names, though, who have come through the door, and not too many. Of course, we've just been kind of getting like 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more every season because we've got so many players who are also coming through the academy at the same time. A lot of them haven't really featured, but there are some players that have been given minutes. Jan being one of them, just come off the bench a couple of times because there's just so many options that we have right now. And of course, the La Masia Academy was already full of players breaking into the first team. So we've got Uriel Cruz, £8 million. I think this is quite a good attacking midfielder from Argentina, from Racing Club as well. A good signing, I think. That's a nice little one there. Kim Ho-young from Salzburg, South Korean, who actually come through the Salzburg Youth Academy. Kind of rare, but again, he looks quite good. Plays up front. I'm not sure whether that will be his finishing position, but there we go. Thomas Durand is another one. £5 million from Lausanne Sport. Looks very good from the left-hand side, but we don't necessarily have a left winger yet. He's only 18 though, and he's Swiss. I think it was definitely worth it for just £5 million. Alberto, though, for £3 million. This guy could be something really good. He's 18 years old, decent potential, looks like a good striker. I kind of do like that, other than the fact that he's got some bad coach summary aspects, like injury prone, and I don't know, maybe not, but I thought when I signed him, he might be a bit of a dark horse there. Claudio Bringoni, £90 million. You can't take gambles with that. He's gone back on loan to Hellas Verona for game time, but 5-star in terms of the potential centre-back we could have on our hands here. So, yeah, for now, I'm happy with that. But if we're looking at our tactic right away, these guys I'm going to try and play as many times as possible. But if we're looking at the rest of it, we are set. We are exactly where we want to be. Darvic has kind of been in and out of the side. Pedri's kind of locked him out of that. But the development of Darvic is still really good. I do really like him anyway. But these three in midfield have been solid for me. Like, cannot complain. There's obviously the likes of Garat, who I keep loaning out. And he keeps just getting better and better. So I'm like, I'm just going to loan him out again until he's ready to replace the likes of Gavi or Casado, who both really deserve a position in the team. So I can't really complain too much of them. So for now, I think we just keep plugging away. We just keep plugging away. And hopefully we have a good season and Real Madrid cannot go unbeaten again. Well, my plan against Real Madrid worked as we lost the Champions League fixture 2-0. And then we beat them in the La Liga fixture with the exact same scoreline. But could this actually be our year? Because despite Mbappe scoring goals for fun, Real Madrid are in third place by February and 6 points behind us in the league. We even finished in the top 8 of the Champions League phase as well, meaning that we avoid that dreaded playoff match. The second league match that we had to play against Real Madrid went in our favour too, after Vinicius Jr. got himself sent off and we won the game 3-1. We also went to a penalty shootout to knock them out of the Copa del Rey at the semi-final stage, going on to win the final against Girona, with Emili scoring the only goal of the game after I told you he would show up at some point. In the league, we felt absolutely unstoppable, like we beat Real Betis 11-0 at home. There are other victories like this too, when we won 9-0 as well. The system was working well and our DNA was clear to see as we stomped our way through La Liga. And we secured the league title by 9 points after only losing 2 games, with Ansu Fati and Lamine Yamal nearly scoring 30 league goals each. Debt-wise, we are very close to completing our task of clearing it, as we have just £61 million left there in that bank loan, which is annoying because we have reached the Champions League final against Real Madrid this season. So to face the Real Madrid side in the final, we are taking some risks. Lamine Yamal is not exactly fully fit. We're also playing Pedri in a position that he can't necessarily play just yet. It might be better to actually stick him out on the left, although it does look like he actually has a nice little link that way there. We'll keep it as it was. But for now, we're just going to have to go with it. There's a lot of players who are either out, injured, or just not fit enough to play. So we're just going to have to put our hopes in this team right now. And of course, Carlo Ancelotti is still the manager of Real Madrid. And as we're setting up in our system, what's quite interesting is that Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid is still rocking with the diamond. And yes, your eyes aren't deceiving you. That's Jules Koundé, who has signed for them. And actually, I believe that guy there is also a player that I signed and sold in a previous season. So 2 players at the back that used to play for Barcelona. Oh, actually, I take it back. I've never signed this guy, although he has been on my scouting a fair amount of seasons, because I remember him. I think I showcased him in one of the seasons, to be fair. But he made a £50 million move to Fenerbahce. He's only 21. Looks fairly decent, but I'd need to scout him a little bit more to see what he's fully like. But yeah, he's in the team. First highlight of the night, and we're giving the ball to Damjanov to do some danger down that left-hand side. Pedri can do some damage as well, I think, from a deeper roll. That's a lovely ball from Gavi, but oh, Ansu Fati's locked out massively there. And there's Mott on the overlap. Oh, Fati, what a chance that was from your bad touch as well to begin with. We do not want to concede first. Then we're just chasing the game. And that's never good. Somebody's got to challenge Valverde, surely. Badiashile, Camavinga, what a shot. It's ricocheted everywhere. But we cannot get it clear just yet. Curtis Jones has signed for Real Madrid, but he's played it across. How has that not gone in? Darvic is now on the break. We've got men over here as well. Ansu Fati, what a run. They've just hit the post. And there's Darvic. Oh, Noah Darvic, unlucky. Corner ball. Knocked it in. Headed out. Lamine Yamal plays it back to Pedri. Pedri to Darvic. Get in! Noah Darvic. I knew it was the right move to do, to trust Noah Darvic in this game. Cracking finish too. All right, Pedri's got himself an assist, playing in a position that he doesn't normally play, although obviously it did come off the back of the corner, but still it counts on the record books. It counts. What hopefully doesn't count is this attack that Real Madrid have got now from Jules Koundé. Valverde, oh, he can hit them, can he? Oh, what a save from Anthony. Unbelievable save, that. Oh, don't score from the corner. Oh, of course they bloody score from that same corner. This ain't going to be easy. All right, another attack down the left. Gavi's got time and space. It's 2-1. We've got a game on our hands here, folks. This is back and forth, a lot of action, terrible defending, some questionable goalkeeping as well. Because I'm pretty sure we've hit that shot straight at Lunin, the second one, and it's gone in the net. That was 3 goals in 10 minutes there. Oof. Don't go back too far. But we're right on the stroke of half-time now. Motta has found some space down the right. Can he work some more space to cross the ball in? No, but there's Talea. Lamine Yamal. Gavi. He's found Damyanov. Yes! I love that guy. Dobrin Damyanov. Unbelievable. Sometimes I say his name wrong, but he's Bulgarian. He looks scary, and he is our left back. What a player he is as well. A cracking sign-in for like £1 million, whatever it is. Boom, left foot, bottom corner. Love that. All right, we can be really pleased with that halftime score. We're 7 shots to their 5, so a lot of it's quite equal, but we have been really clinical. Some questionable goalkeeping again. That last one, not so much. That was just an unbelievable strike. An 8.3 he's putting in so far. Pedri in the DM role. Never played there before. Doing really well. Sometimes I just know what I'm doing. All right, we have been seeing this half out. 84 minutes. I haven't even made a sub yet. So let's just do that. Yamal has had a stinker, by the way. Like, that is really poor. Let's bring on Emili. He can play on the right-hand side quite well. Ansu Fati can come off of Vitor Roque. Not really featured. I do feel sorry for him in some way, but hey, you're in the Champions League final. You're about to pick up a trophy, fella. So, Casado, he definitely deserves to come on the pitch and pick up a winner's medal. I do like that. And maybe Ruben Navarro for Miguel Motta, who can have a bit of a rest. And let's just see this game out. No silly business now. We've got 5 minutes left to just hold on, stop anything from happening, and pick up a Champions League trophy using the youth to gold method. And time is running out, but there is one last highlight, but I think it's going to be too late anyway. 30 seconds to go. Or let's just put a little cherry on this cake, shall we? A nice little cherry on top of the cake. Or we give him a consolation. No, Kabassi doesn't believe in consolation goals. Kabassi doesn't believe in that at all. He just powers it across the box and then he's out of position for them to nearly score. We're all good. It's the 94th minute. The referee probably has his whistle to his mouth. And there it is. Barcelona are European champions once again. It's took a while, but me and my lovely green jacket, we're going to pick up the Champions League trophy and lift it for La Masia Academy, for the Youth to Gold method, for Barcelona, for the Omega Luke channel. But there's still some things we need to cover. There's still some things we need to tick off on our list. And so we kept going until the debt was finally cleared to complete our mission. One full season later, and it's a semi-final exit of the Champions League, but a domestic double with a cup and a very close league title win. But despite having this much money in the bank, there was still £8 million of debt left. Quick check up on some players' development though. After all, that is what the Youth to Gold is all about. And I've grown to love these players across the 8 seasons now with the growth that we have seen in them. But just a couple of months later, with over £1 billion in the bank, Barcelona's debt has finally been cleared. All thanks to the Youth to Gold method. For a while, the world got to enjoy the competitive rivalry of 2 of the best players ever in Messi and Ronaldo. Every El Clasico was amazing, and I missed tuning into those games with those 2 iconic players. So in this rebuild, we have rolled back the years and brought Messi and Ronaldo back to just before their prime for a 5-year rebuild. However, we've decided to swap the clubs around, so Messi is at Real Madrid while Ronaldo is at Barcelona. And while the points stay the same as always, we have added individual points for this challenge too. Because if either Messi or Ronaldo top one of the league's player statistics, That's another point. Strap in though, because this is a fun one, and I promise you'll want to stay to the very end to see why Dad got so excited in season number 5.
Hey, he's rising already.
Foreplay. Who's that, eh? Dad, today we are defying history.
Yeah.
In fact, we're recreating it,
Yeah,
because some people are going to hate this.
Yeah, but some people will find this and think, yeah, I wonder how this would have happened.
Yeah, well, anyway, maybe. Yeah. Obviously, we haven't got the exact squads from when they were in their prime. Maybe we could look down that in the future of doing like a retro version of this. But today we've decided to lock Lionel Messi at Real Madrid. And if we go to the history of Real Madrid and look at the legends there, Cristiano Ronaldo has been locked at Barcelona. I say locked, they're at the club.
Yeah, we just put a twist on it, haven't we?
Yeah, we've made them the same age. They've got the same current ability and potential ability at the start.
Yeah.
So the potential being 200, because we want to see what they're like when they get to their maximum. But I would say the two best ever players to grace the planet.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough to see them both.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So I'm going to be Barcelona. So I have Cristiano Ronaldo at Barcelona. And you are going to be the manager of Real Madrid and have, of course, Lionel Messi.
Yes.
Now, we start off the season with the updated-ish database. So all the transfers are up to date this season, up to the January transfer window. We also had a little bit of money. I didn't. So, I haven't spent anything, whereas Dad, I think you actually bought a player to begin with at the start of the season, bringing in Gabriel from Arsenal. There we go. It took him less than a minute.
As soon as I bought this player, I thought I shouldn't be doing it, but I needed a centre defender, and he was probably the best I could get for the money.
You did it to yourself.
I'm going to take sticks. I'm going to take it right at the beginning and get it over and done with, aren't I?
Yeah, there you go. Some people say sometimes I'm too harsh for it, or sometimes I take the jokes too far.
You just see what happens on screen. There's a lot more that goes on after that. Both ways I'll add, though.
True,
yeah.
True. So, let's have a look then. Dad just setting up in a tactic with a 4-2-3-1.
Yes.
Playing Messi in the number 10 role.
Yeah, I wanted to lock him in there because, well, the rest of the team around him is just so good. So that I didn't want to put him out on the left wing. I wanted him to be the
right wing.
The right wing. Yeah, sorry. I wanted him to be in amongst it all. That's where I think his best position probably is. Yeah, I've locked him in that position.
That's a controversial take.
It is, but
on the game, maybe.
No, me personally, as watching him as a footballer, I think in the centre there is probably. He goes down. I know he goes down the wing and all that, cuts in all that.
Crucified for that. You're going to get crucified for it. When you come in the middle of the pitch, you don't have much space. When you're out on the right hand side and he can isolate somebody 1v1, there's no way they're tackling him. That was the whole point of putting him out there. Nobody's had a chance of marking him.
I brought him in and put him in where I think he was.
Sometimes he was too good when they doubled up on him on the wing.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, I understand your reason for it on Football Manager. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with those takes. Those takes are not by Omega Luke. All right. So when you go in the comments section, start giving us grief for that one. That was not done by me. I have very good takes on that. He was fantastic on the right, where I think he played his best. But anyway. Lionel Messi, the Real Madrid shirt. You got him in your shadow striker role there. Playing in behind, of course, the likes of Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. on the left-hand side. Jude Bellingham behind.
That's the thing. He's got so many players. I mean, you say isolating one particular player. They mark him, but when you got all the other players around them.
Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. Who do you mark?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So I'm going to stick with it.
You look at this Real Madrid team and you think, they need another superstar.
Yeah.
Now, as we mentioned as well, we also are doing points today for Messi and Ronaldo.
Yes.
To get those points, they have to top the charts in terms of the competitions page when we look at the profile of La Liga. We're only counting it for La Liga, so it's not counting for everywhere else. But if they become top of the goals, average rating, man of the match, if somehow Ronaldo goes in net and gets most clean sheets in a season, or the assists, then they get a point. Not yellow card. We're not counting yellow cards. So if they're in one of these 5 as the first number 1, even if they're number 2 with the same amount, that don't count. They have to be the number 1. They get an extra point. So, as we can see, I've won 3, you've won 3. We're looking at yours already. We haven't played each other, of course, but you have played in the Super Cup. You've done quite well at the start of the season. Let's see how I'm playing Cristiano Ronaldo. I am playing Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side, but Ronaldo automatically goes into this position here. If I do best pick 11, it's just going to take Yamal out and put Ansu Fati in there. But I want Yamal to play because we know how good he can get within a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth taking the gamble and putting him in now. Now, he's got Lewandowski up front. Oh, I dare say I'm going for, obviously, the most goals, putting him up front. But he has Lewandowski, who is a well-renowned goal scorer, to also maybe take some points off of him in that way as well. But I have every faith that Cristiano can do well in that regard anyway. My schedule at the start of the season, I absolutely battered Getafe 8-0. Got a nice little 5-1 away to Valencia and 4-2 against Real Valladolid. We've got against each other very soon. The Champions League group, I've got Liverpool, Monaco and Slavia Prague. In your Champions League group, you've got Arsenal. Big link there to your dad with Gabriel.
Gabriel, wasn't it? Weekend then?
Yeah, buy their worst defender. That'll show them. Oh, that's all. Oh,
hey, they're bugging on set pieces now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to really.
That's all their set pieces just finished.
Oh yeah, because he's the only reason why those set pieces work.
He's the one who comes in out of them all the time, isn't it?
I wonder if they spent the money on anybody. No, it doesn't look like they have. They just let it sit there. They're going to play Kivior instead, which. Oh dear. Maybe they should have bought somebody instead. Season number 1, then it's not about Arsenal unless you make dad. It's all about Real Madrid and Barcelona, Messi and Ronaldo, but not as you know it. Let's see what happens in season 1. Alright, season number 1. I don't think I've ever seen that. 38 wins out of 38 for Real Madrid. That is mental.
What a start.
Lost 0, drew 0, which obviously means he's got an extra 2 points for beating me in both games as well. 17 goals conceded all season.
What a defence I've got, eh?
That's
142 goal difference as well.
I mean, I finished on 91 points and I still lost the title by 17 points.
Yeah.
That's mental. But okay, fair play, Dad. But is Messi topping the charts in anything? Average rating. Ronaldo with 40 goals, though.
Wow.
Above Messi.
Yeah.
Who got 30 himself in that shadow striker role.
I've got to sort of think Messi's not going to win the goal scoring record.
He did get the assist, though.
Yeah, that's
25.
That's what I'm sort of chasing all the time with him.
Yeah. And to be honest, if it ain't for the fact Ronaldo's got 40, you look at it, you go 30, you stand a good chance of winning the Golden Boot. Ronaldo got the most player of the matches with 17. How? Ronaldo also had obviously 40 goals, so that's 2 each in terms of the points there. Courtois got the clean sheets of 25, so he only actually conceded in 13 games. That's only if he played every single game as well.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But you don't get a point for that. It's not the team getting the point for that. It's the player of Messi or Ronaldo.
That's what the video's all about, these two players, so yeah.
So
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
What a start that is. I'm pleased with that.
Can't be too disgruntled about that, can you? Did I manage to redeem anything, though? Maybe a Champions League or a Copa del Rey? Yes, I've won the Copa del Rey. Now, I am out of the Champions League to Liverpool. I have also won the Super Cup, which was against yourself, so I've gained a point there. So I have beat you this season. The Copa del Rey final, it's a 3-2 win. Come on, right, that's good. I was starting to get really worried then.
Yeah.
That's a good 5 points straight back there, plus the 2 for Ronaldo. So we're okay. We've got 7 points to start things
off. Points you've gained there, really?
Yeah. Yourself, though, Dad, didn't win the Champions League.
Villa.
Aston Villa.
Well done, Aston Villa.
Gonna be a little bit.
Yeah.
That's gonna give him PTSD if he's watching this. But okay.
I'd love to think they went on and won it.
No, probably not. Liverpool beat Inter in the final 2-0. Right. Let's have a look at the goals then. So you've got Mbappe with 43. 42 was Messi, but with 33 assists. So,
he scored more goals than I thought he would have scored. So
yeah.
42 goals is a hell of a season, isn't it?
And the development already... yeah.
Christ.
It looks like he's just completely shot up to the 200 current ability.
Yeah.
The 200 potential that we gave him. But the 200 current ability, it looks like he's pretty much close to it. And the transfer budget, Dad, you've got 65 million or 64 million pound with a huge wage budget. So I'd imagine, you'd probably get close to 100, especially with a player sale there. Let's have a look at his Barcelona side then. So Ronaldo got 57 in 57 with 12 assists. Lewandowski 25. We need to remember as well, these numbers, I'd say 13 years ago, were really normal for these two to be getting.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They were getting unbelievable seasons.
Yeah.
Ansu Fati's done quite well. Yamal, 35 assists for a 16-year-old.
That's good, isn't it?
That's mental.
Yeah. My
transfer budget, 42 million. Barely enough to get one good player. But okay, let's have a quick look at the points. Season 1 points are Mega Luke with 7 and Dad with 8. Okay, season number 2 then. Still things are quite close despite you having a perfect league season.
Yeah.
So £21 million worth of players. It allowed you to negotiate a little bit more in the transfer market, and you've brought in Yan Couto at right back from Manchester City for £83 million. Still young and very good attacking fullback.
That's what it is. It's one for the future more than anything, really.
And Lucas Hernandez.
Yeah, just another one for the future. The two right back and left backs are sort of getting old as well, I think.
Alba and Carvajal.
I mean, out of the whole squad, the defence is a very old defence.
Yeah, Rudiger's like 30s.
Yeah. So really, I think out of the whole challenge, I'll probably be just sort of topping up the defence all the time, because you can't touch the forward line, can I?
Well, no,
How can I improve that?
They don't. I mean, they're all like 25.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be improving any of that.
Yeah.
So all I'll be doing is just picking up the odd sort of defender or two. And this is what I've done, just strengthened the squad in defence, really.
And of course, you could not change the tactic. It was a bit silly if you decided to do that after winning 38 out of 38 games. And as you can see, only Yan Couto actually goes into the lineup, which changes it from the original with Messi being included. Let's have a look then at my Barcelona side. I made one sign-in, unfortunately, because of course I didn't really have that much money. I sold a couple of players, including Eric Garcia and Fermin, and I brought in Nico Schlotterbeck. Left-sided centre-back wasn't my number one target. If I could sell a couple more players, I would have gone probably for Bastonia and just been like, come on, let's put all our eggs in that basket. But I couldn't even get anywhere close. For some reason, nobody wants Barcelona's players because, actually, I do know, because they're on stupid wages.
Yeah.
Like the worst wages ever. And I know, obviously, Barcelona and Real Madrid are quite prone to giving out ridiculous wages, but even Saudi Arabian clubs has gone, no, thank you. We've had to avoid that and go for somebody like Schlotterbeck because we couldn't afford to sell anybody else. Now, tactically, I'm keeping it exactly the same. I actually think, despite obviously you having a perfect season in the league, I did all right.
Yeah.
Liverpool beat me in the Champions League, but I did all right in the Cup, in the Super Cup as well. We've done that. Just locking in Yamal to make sure he continues to play.
Well,
and
you
his
have to
development's there.
I mean, what did he have? 35 assists? So you
got
to keep him there.
He has to stay there. And Ronaldo, we didn't look at his development from last season, but there has been some. Of course, he scored a silly amount of goals last season. He's already off to 7 in 4 games at the start. So, yeah, here's hoping he can continue that. Now, I'm actually top of La Liga as we kick things off. I haven't conceded a goal. Got a nice little 7-0 to start things off as well at Bilbao. Nice little 4-0 away from Villarreal. And I even beat Atletico Madrid 2-0. Lewandowski getting a brace. But let's have a look at what you've been up to, Dad. You've also won 3 games out of 3 that you've played. You're about to play on the day that we are starting here. But you have conceded against Alaves then, a 5-4 win and a 7-0 win against Real Betis, who finished, actually, 4th last season. So that's a huge win.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, look at the Champions League fixtures. Not that I think we're going to struggle to get out of it. You've got Arsenal in there again, so that's 2 seasons in a row.
Can I have 3 English teams? That's bad, isn't it, really?
Don't complain too much. You are Real Madrid. My Champions League, I've got Arsenal in there too.
And Inter as well, I think. Inter as well,
I've definitely got the easier
Napoli.
The easier one out of the 2.
Yeah, definitely, but I think we both comfortably go through.
Yeah, I agree. All right, then, let's see. Let's see what happens in season number 2. Can Messi and Ronaldo keep breaking records and scoring lots of goals? Well, it's a Barcelona league title. I love to see that. 127 goal difference to your 105. Imagine getting 101 points, Dad, with 105 goal difference and still being 5 points behind.
And I only lost 1 game.
League. You only lost 1. Oh no, don't say. I've lost 2. Oh. That makes that league title really irrelevant at that point, doesn't it? Just the 2 points I gained on you on that one, so that's really frustrating. Betis and Villarreal. I swear, Betis finishing 3rd. 4th.
Yeah, you was right. Well, you said 4th, didn't you? And then they get
relegated.
Something went wrong.
Wow, that is bad. Especially considering the teams that stayed up in Oviedo, Las Palmas, Elche, even to some degree, Alaves and Mallorca. That's mental. Let's have a look at the profile of the league. Oh! 51 goals. He has got the highest average rating. He has got the most goals. The most player of the matches with 17. That's 10 more than Kylian Mbappe. Lionel Messi's nowhere to be seen.
He's not, is he?
I cannot see him in anything. Does look like he must have had a bit of a bad season there. We'll have to check, see if he was injured or anything. But this season has Cristiano Ronaldo written all over it. 51 goals, 8.37 average rating. 17 man of the matches. How many were penalties? Only 5. Only 5. I know people are going to go, it was probably penalty. No, only 5. What about, though, competitions? Did we go on to win anything else? No. And as I can see, I was eliminated from both competitions by Real Madrid. Oh, dear. I did win the Super Cup, though, beating you in that one. So that's another point there. But I don't feel like this is going to go too well.
Get in.
Beat Liverpool 5-1. Well, let's just have a quick look at the Messi then. Was he? It looks like he has come back from an injury. No, not really.
Yeah, we just shared it about a bit this season.
He just didn't really do much in comparison. Copa del Rey, you obviously beat me in that, but you beat Valencia in the final there. So it was at quarterfinal you knocked me out? Yeah, 4-3. So you get a point for that, obviously, for knocking me out. 2 points, in fact, for knocking me out. And then, of course, 3 for winning the Cup, winning the Champions League and knocking me out of it. Let's have a look to see how that one played out. By my calculations, I think I beat you in one of those games. I did. So I do actually gain a point from that.
Yeah.
But you gain 2 points, obviously, for winning the other one and eliminating me from it. And, of course, beating me in the league too.
Out of curiosity, what team did beat me in the league? Bearing in mind, that's the only game I lost.
Bilbao.
Shit.
Down in 12th.
That's the only team I lost against in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
In the league.
You were beaten by one region of player.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, yeah.
The Basque country.
Yeah, well done.
Well, to them anyway. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Mbappe was the most goals, 39 with 26 assists. He's had a great time.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's Kylian. 27 goals and 15 assists. Still really good from Messi. Vinicius Jr. 21 and 19. You can see why you didn't win the league when probably we're going to see numbers even better than that on mine. £168 million though. That is a joke.
Yeah.
Squad for me. Oh my.
71 goals. 71 goals.
71
wow.
in 51 games.
That is unbelievable.
That is mental, isn't it? Still
Lewandowski with 33 goals and he's nowhere near him.
Got over double. Yamal with 44 assists, by the way.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's 79 assists in 2 seasons.
Yeah, from young Yamal. And he's unhappy. What does he want? Probably a new contract. Hey. Ronaldo, the development there is looking very good. Even Dani Olmo got 20 assists, though, playing from centre mid. 10 from Jules Koundé, I think, plays right back. And my transfer budget is... Oh, that's why. I've only got 6% of transfer revenue as well, so...
You can't even afford to sell players, really, can you?
Yeah, I don't look like I can capitalise much on this season unless I sell a player or two and bump that up, but the squad isn't exactly massive. There's a couple of players who can easily go, but they're not worth anything. Okay, well, let's have a look at the points tally at the end of the second season. Season 2 points then are Mega Luke with 9 and Dad with 14, meaning the total points are Luke with 16 and Dad with 22. Alright, season number 3 then. I've got a bit of a catching up to do. Sold £72 million worth of players, like Christensen went, and Ferran Torres as well. A player that couldn't quite get into my first team, wanted to leave. Probably could have got more money for him, but Newcastle came in for £44 million. You weren't playing much. I replaced him with João Pedro. Quite like João Pedro.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
In terms of a player he could play across the front three and up front himself. Still quite young. Yeah, why not? Good player. Let's have a look at the tactic. I have changed it. I'm going for almost a 4-3-3, but now, and this is because Lewandowski will be leaving at the end of the season. I'm prepping for a different type of tactic, I guess. He can still play very well in there, but after he leaves, I don't know whether to change to 4-3-3 and drop that one down there. I don't really know, which is the reason why I sold a winger and bought a striker who can also play on the wings, because I'm thinking more long-term, knowing that I'm going to be losing Lewandowski. So I want Ronaldo to play up there, because if I press best 11, these two disappear, and Ronaldo goes there. Why would you do that when he has scored so many goals already?
17 one season.
Yeah. So we're looking at deep line playmaker. I'm doing you, look. 2 playmakers in a tactic. That's very unlike me. With a Mazzala.
I see you're learning, see.
Oh, yeah, because that's always done really well for you. All right, Dad, you sold Rodrigo.
Yeah, I mean...
190.
City came in for an offer, and I
well,
just
they kept coming back,
yeah, they kept coming back, and I just thought, right, I'm going to make this a silly offer of 190 and see if they bite. They came in like a shark and just took it, didn't they? So I thought, right, I'll take that, 190 million up front. Yeah, happy days.
And of course, you already had like 200 million,
so
we welcome the likes of DeMarco into the league from Inter Milan.
Yeah, like I said, I was strengthening my midfield up, my defence up, so there's a One of the best left
backs
in the game, yeah. So I got that one in.
And to replace Rodrigo, Bukayo Saka.
Perfect replacement, wasn't it? And he was cheaper.
And he's another Arsenal player.
A lot cheaper.
That's 2 Arsenal players, guys. What about Spurs, I hear you say? Don't worry.
I got one.
He bought Saar.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes up for it.
On the game, he's really good in midfield. So, yeah, just strengthens my midfield up for me now.
2-1 Arsenal Spurs so far. Arda Güler has also left for £10 million. The development, unfortunately, is never going to be enough to make a difference.
He was never going to get in the team or even be anywhere close to getting in the team.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Tactically, then, only locking DeMarco in. Everybody else goes in where they should. Obviously, just won the Champions League, so
I haven't changed it again, so keep it as it is. Yeah, everybody's where I want them to be, so I'm happy days.
And you've already gained a point because you beat me 3-1.
Get in.
Messi getting 2 goals, Ronaldo getting 1 there. You are conceding a lot, though, Dad. There's a couple of clean sheets at the end there, but you have conceded a lot.
That was a bit worrying. I conceded more goals than I did last season at the start, so yeah, but still 3 points. Yeah, that's what I'm happy with. Champions League got Dortmund in there going. Quite an easy one, that one.
Yeah, that's really easy. Yeah. Away to PSG to start things off, but other than that, not too worried. Nope. No, should breeze through that. Let's have a look then at this Barcelona side, and of course, after the João Pedro transfer, of what we're doing there, we have lost Real Madrid, but it's been 3 good wins outside of that. 7-1 against Valencia, 3-0 against Celta Vigo, and a Las Palmas 5-2.
There's a lot of goals there by Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, so at the start of the season, he scored in every game so far. He has got 10 in 4. So great start to the season by Cristiano. Let's hope he can keep that up, because it might be the only points I can win going forward. I've got Manchester City and Liverpool.
And Newcastle. And
AC Milan. Oh, why have I got 3 Premier League clubs? Season number 3 then. Let's get it underway. Let's see if I can win a Champions League and start pulling some points back. Well, I haven't won the league. 107 points down. Not quite as good as your season number 1.
Well, you lost 1 game again?
Yeah, that was against Getafe.
So you haven't beat me again?
No, I lost twice as well. My only 2 losses.
That was your only 2 losses last season as well in the league, wasn't it?
Because I conceded only 23 goals. 5 of them were against you. Goal difference of 111. But well done, Dad, with a goal difference of 128. Only drawing 2 games to Valencia and Almeria. You've done very well there to win the title. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo's year again in the player statistics. That is 63 goals in the league alone. Still no Lionel Messi in that.
63 in the league alone.
Yeah.
And he gets 70 in total. So it's going to be, I reckon that'll be over 70 this time, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, easily. 8.29 in the average rating. Player of the match, 16 player of the matches. Ter Stegen and Courtois both getting 20 clean sheets there, which is great. Yamal with 27 assists. That little combination of those two.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we didn't have it, we'd be absolutely screwed. Anyway, last season of Lewandowski, and he's not on there as well. How far down? So Messi was down in 6th. He had 20 goals there. Lewandowski with just 15. So not as much in his final year for the club. Final year in football, I think, by the looks of it. Barcelona, though, I gained 3 points there. Do I gain any more here? The good thing is I didn't lose against you in either the Copa del Rey or the Super Cup. The bad thing is that means you're still in it and could win the Copa del Rey. But I did get all the way to the final of the Champions League and not win it. That's bad. And that maybe is because... Oh, you won a lot.
Oh, what a season.
3-1 in the final.
Ooh.
7 points with a point. Almeria in the final.
Hey, scored 2 against me.
Semi-final knocked out Atletico Madrid 4-2 as well, because I was eliminated by them 2-1 when he was beating Osasuna. Yeah, fair play, good win. Let's have a look at this Champions League. We haven't really looked much at the Champions League and the phases that we're going through. We both went through in the top 8 there.
I lost 2 games in that.
Yeah, Red Bull Salzburg 5-2 and PSG drew 1 to AGF. Probably won the 5 hard games. By the looks of it, I won 5 as well. Beat Man City 4-0, so that's good. We both finished in the top 8 though, went straight to the round of 16. I knocked out Stuttgart, you were knocking out Monaco. Quarterfinals, you were knocking out Liverpool. I was knocking out City.
Yeah.
We did our job there, getting rid of the Premier League sides.
Yeah.
Other than Aston Villa, who went through to the semi-final. But yeah, I knocked out Aston Villa, you knocked out Chelsea. Oh, there was 2 Premier League sides. There was 4 Premier League sides at the quarterfinal stage, and we knocked them all out until we got to the final. Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way, got 15 goals in the Champions League alone. Yeah,
that makes it 75 that we know of.
Yeah, so he is going to have a stupid amount of goals in all of this. But, right, Dad, your points is going to be mental. Let's have a look at your squad. 51 goals from Kylian Mbappe. Even Endrick, who only started 21 games, got 35 goals.
Cool.
Saka got 29 and 15. Messi got 27 and 22. Brahim Diaz even got 22. Bellingham with 19. Vinicius Jr. with only 6. What's he doing? Pull your finger out, Vinicius.
I definitely shared that about there, didn't I?
Yeah. DeMarco, 24 assists, locking him in. That was a good move.
Yeah.
But the transfer budget, £107 million for next season. Bad season all around, but a good season for Cristiano,
79.
who got 79 goals.
Wow.
79 goals, not a bad injury. Oh, that's why I lost the Champions League final. He got injured in the final day of the season and missed the Champions League final.
That's such a shame, really, isn't it? So what you're trying to say is you're a one-player team?
He scored 79 goals. João Pedro played up front. Did not... Oh, I also had a player sent off after 4 minutes.
4 minutes? Wow.
I can smell corruption.
Yeah.
I can smell corruption. We all see it with Real Madrid, don't we? Hey, that's corruption. Especially because my keeper got player of the match. Something fishy's going on here.
So bad. I feel sorry for you, really.
Yeah.
Really feel sorry.
Yeah, I'm not bringing any violence. All right.
I've got rid of him. I sacked him.
Yeah. 54. Only £54 million as well. I'm going to have to do some digging again in the transfer budget and in the transfer market. But okay, right. It ain't looking good for me. No, it is not. Mega Luke on season number 3 gains 3 points, whereas Dad gains 17, meaning the total points are now Mega Luke with 19 and Dad with 39. All right, season number 4. I had scraps to play around with. But I did also have Lewandowski leave, and he was on a big wage, which did mean I could play around with a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Coming into the club, Aymeric Laporte, of course, Manchester City player, ex-Bilbao player. We've mentioned them already so far this season. Comes in at 32 years of age, can definitely do a job for me. And Manu Kone from Roma, using a bit of installments because I don't really have the cash. I thought I'd bring him in because he gives me a lot more options in that centre midfield. And again, he's only 25 years old, so lots of options. And then I only had like £20 million left. The best player I could find for that was another midfielder in Gerson. He probably won't play much. He's already actually had 2 games off the bench, but still, it's pointless just leaving that money go to waste. So Gerson has joined the club. Now, tactically, I'm going with my old 2 left wingers and trying to see if I can cause some trouble using this. It's worked for me in previous... Well, in other rebuilds and stuff that we've done. Ronaldo stays up top by himself. Fati goes to the left. Pedri in there. So it's very similar to what I was talking about where I had the 4-3-3. But it just looks cool. And actually, it looks ugly, which makes it cool. It's different, but sometimes it really works. Now, let's have a look at what you've been up to, Dad, because if you remember rightly, Dad has signed 2 Arsenal players already. He has now got Donnarumma because Courtois has left the club, and Diogo Costa went to PSG as their number 1, which means Donnarumma was actually ridiculously cheap.
He was,
at £53 million. But guess he wasn't cheap? William Saliba. William Saliba, the 3rd Arsenal player. It's very rare you actually see him agree to join another club.
It was, yeah.
There's only a couple of ones that can afford
he did leave, innit?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
William Saliba has joined Real Madrid.
I hate saying it, but I do look at this player and think, what a player he is. When you think when Arsenal first had him, they sent him back to France on loan.
Saint Etienne.
For a season. And
he
came
bought him from
back.
Saint Etienne. I mean, we can see here, they loaned him out to Saint Etienne, loaned him out to Nice, loaned him out to Marseille.
And he just come back such a good player, didn't he? That first season that after Marseille that he played then in the Premier League, he just looked so good.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a player that I always look at on this game of going for. And like you say, very, very rarely he does move. So I'm chuffed a bit to get him, to be honest with you. It proves that sometimes the computer will let them go.
Yeah. Still yet to see Haaland leave. I have a list of 3 players. Is it even 3? I don't think. No, I think it's just Haaland and Saliba. Yeah. And I think I've never seen Haaland leave. No. Maybe one day.
So I've got this guy in. So my defence now is like rock solid now. I'm quite happy with my defence now.
Okay.
So,
him and Donnarumma joins a Real Madrid side who pretty much wins everything right now, and he goes straight in next to Eder Militao. But he did obviously lose Rudiger, who was also run out of contract.
Something like that, so
he left too. So
that's what we said at the beginning, wasn't it? That I had a very aging defence. And as you can see there, I've got out of the 4 defenders there, 3 of them are the ones that I've bought.
Yeah.
Well, and plus the goalkeeper now, so yeah. But yeah, I've got a very small squad. I prefer working with small squads because when it comes to the cup games, you always find your assistant changes it so much.
Yeah.
And you get knocked out of the cup games, and that really annoys me.
Yeah.
When you've programmed in that this is the team I want to start every week, and he changes it.
I mean, it helps when you have 1, 2, 3 players on your bench, which is 4.5 stars to the rest of your team.
100%.
And Diaz with 4-star and Tchouaméni with 4-star.
Yeah.
That definitely helps.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So,
I mean, sometimes it goes against you because if you have certain injuries in certain positions and you haven't got cover, you're in trouble then. But
yeah.
Yeah, I do prefer working with smaller squads, though.
Schedule-wise, start the season great. 1 or 3 games in the league. Also, beat Tottenham in the Super Cup.
Yeah, and I haven't conceded a single goal.
No, you haven't. Although the other team did score, but it was in their own net. Because Mario Gila scored an own goal. They decided, well, we can't score in their net. I'll put one in mine instead. That was actually to make it 1-0. That must have been heartbreaking on the 45th minute.
Yeah.
Go that long without conceding against this Real Madrid side and then putting your own bloody net. But that's no reason why they crumbled. Now, I am still in second place because I have also won every single game, 4 out of 4. I have conceded some goals, though. But I do have a good start to the season, and I'll tell you who else had a good start to the season is this man, Cristiano Ronaldo. 10 goals in 4 again. We know what happened last time when he did that. He got 63 in 37. So we'll see. We'll see whether he can continue to do it this season round. Now, Champions League, didn't even check it for yours, but let's have a look on mine there. We've got Benfica and Sporting, so a Portuguese start.
Weird, isn't it?
Away to Man City. Away to Milan as well. But yeah,
comfortable group, I think.
Yeah, we should be able to go through. Probably the same in your scenario
I've
too.
got a very weak Arsenal team.
Just an absolutely decimated Arsenal side. Unfortunately, who are they playing? Jonathan and Tierney.
There you go.
A left back playing there because they haven't bought very well. I mean, they've got. This is an awful Arsenal team. It's like they've just played on their last. This is a terrible. Like, they have bought really badly. I knew Jonathan David was there because I actually had a look at him at one point, and I knew he went there. But this is an awful. I mean, a lot of them are on the bench. That Martinelli, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, who was quite good.
Yeah.
But this is a bad team that they've got. Jonathan Tah and Tierney at centre back. Yeah, it's not great. Ward-Prowse and Buemo's not bad, but I think he's developed quite well there.
Yeah.
He's very good there. And Tugeman up front. And that's not a striker that Arsenal fans are looking to bring in.
We've been saying it for a few seasons now. Arsenal definitely need a striker.
Yeah. I think Jonathan David kind of fits that role a little bit better up front. But there we go. I can never get Jonathan David to work on this game. So I don't even know why I was looking at him. All right. Season number 4 now. Dad had a huge season 3. I need a huge season 4. Let's see what happens. Season 4. Picture this.
I know what you're going to say.
Picture this, sports fans. The team that you support. You win 34 out of 38 games. You have a goal difference of 122. You clock in 104 points. And you still don't win the league.
I wish I had that bloke with a violin again. He could come straight in now.
That is mental, though, isn't it? I've only got myself playing 5 and beat
I nearly
you,
give it to you. Look how I finished the season.
Yeah, true. The last game, you beat me both times, so you do deserve to win, even if it's goal difference or head-to-head, which I can never remember in the La Liga what it is. It is results between teams. So goal difference makes no difference anyway.
No.
It's results against teams. You beat me both times, and you only conceded 19. We scored pretty much the same amount, but defensively, superb this season, Dad. Very much well deserved. I know I'm saying, all this sympathy vote, but that is mental, getting 104 points and still not winning the league. But it's still very much well deserved. Profile of the league, though. 54 goals again for Cristiano. I'm actually disappointed. I thought it'd be more.
Yeah. But he scored 10 in the first 4 games.
Yeah. Messi's over 20. He has the most assists, though, which is annoying because Yamal has dropped off massively.
He did.
Because I knew Ronaldo was never going to get the most assists. I was like, well, as long as Yamal keeps getting the assists, that means Messi doesn't.
Yeah.
But he's dropped off a cliff with that one. Highest average rating, though, was well above Messi's 8.02, which is phenomenal, by the way, to get that.
Oh, yeah.
But an 8.75, that means that is close to a 9 rating in every game he plays.
Yeah.
So that's insane. 18 player of the matches. So I get 3 points for that from Cristiano, who is pretty much, if I didn't have that, I would not be having a lot of points at all. Maybe, though, it's a Champions League victory, a Copa del Rey victory, and this season doesn't seem as bad. Or it could be even worse. I mean, the Super Cup alone, yeah, that's another point for you there.
You come second in everything there, mate.
Yeah, so I was basically Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
When they had that really bad season where they finished that. All right, let's see. That's 2 seasons in a row, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saliba in the first minute. Couldn't believe my luck.
That's what I bought him for.
Oh, yeah, that's... Copa del Rey. 4-1. Beating me by 3 in both games. It's quite impressive, to be fair. I actually took the lead with Vinicius Jr. on goal as well.
Try to help you, mate.
Yeah. What a season, Dad. That is unbelievable. I thought, like, the first season was pretty special when you had 38 out of 38.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely wiping the floor with me here. I mean, you've got the money. That's not like go, oh, this is an unbelievable rebuild. You've been gifted with money.
Oh, definitely.
I've been given nothing.
And to be honest, I like I said at the beginning of the video, my defence was a very aging defence. That's where I had to, put the money into.
You had to touch midfield. You've added Sarr to it. But
but I only added Sarr because Man City come in and paid 190 million. I want to sell them else.
No.
So I've only added to my defence really. But the money's given me the calibre of player that I needed.
Yeah.
If I had the same money as you, I wouldn't have had such a good defence.
God, no. You'd have had I mean, your midfield's still really good.
Yeah.
Camavinga, Valverde,
really,
Tchouaméni is always amazing.
I want to change anything in the midfield or the attacking.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't for the sake of I signed Saka, but
yeah.
only signed
Saka
him because I thought Man City played silly money, didn't they?
Yeah. 44 goals from Mbappe, 32 and 31 from Lionel Messi. We haven't had a look at him for the last couple of years. That's what he's looking like development-wise. I know what you're all thinking, though. You want Ballon d'Ors. Well, we're not just going to give it away for free. You've got to flirt with me a little bit first. Give me some foreplay. Get to the 5th season. Then we look at Ballon d'Ors. And this is where we forget. And it's like when you've had the foreplay and then falls asleep.
Yeah.
Which has never happened to me. Never. But anyway.
Hey, he's rising already.
Foreplay.
Who did
that? Eh? That was right on cue. Have you ever seen something like that before? Calm down.
That's so quick an act for me, mate. I'll tell you, a bit of foreplay. I'm right up for it.
I'm off over here. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest of the episode over here.
Oh, dear. Calm down.
What happened there? You can't be doing that at your age.
I know. My blood pressure just gone.
You took your blue pill, have you?
Yeah, I have.
God, yeah, Jesus Christ.
Hey, when it comes to that quick, there's always a blue pill.
God. Let's have a look at Ronaldo and see what he's been up to this season. 76. I thought he was had a bad year. 76 goals. Where did those come from then? 17 in the Champions League he got. 54 in the league, 17 in the Champions League, and 5 in the Copa del Rey. It really annoys me at the valuation. Imagine scoring 76 goals for a strike. He's in his prime. 121 million. Are you joking?
That's rubbish. When I've looked at some of the players I've been trying to buy, and I've been quoted like 232 million, and they're nowhere near as good as him.
No, not at all. We'll move on. My transfer budget, 72, a little bit better. Not unbelievable, though. And your transfer budget, £88 million. But let's have a look at the points. Season 4 points are Mega Luke with 3 again, but Dad with 20. Meaning the total points are Luke with 22 and Dad with 59. Alright then, the points might be over. I think Dad might have picked this one up, but nevertheless, you're still here, and that means you're part of the Season 5 crew. So drop a comment down below once again and let us know whether you are part of that Season 5 crew, and thank you very much for being part of the Season 5 crew. Let's have a look at the transfers going into this season. Jose Gaya from Al Nassr had a lovely time in La Liga throughout his career at Valencia, but on a free transfer after his time at Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, which of course is Ronaldo's actual club right now.
Yep.
And then Dio Upamecano, £73 million, a lot of pace, a lot of strength in there.
I did look at buying this player as well.
Yeah, good passing ability as well, but that's all I'm going for. And tactically, do you know what? After how good my season was, I can't deny it was just a little bit of luck and stuff like that. Keeping it exactly the same. Going with my 2 left wingers once again. So, Dad, let's have a look at what you've been up to. Just one transfer in or out?
One transfer, yeah. I didn't want to sort of lose the money. I had the money that I couldn't buy anybody in defence, so I just bought this guy. He covers the 2 wings and the striker in case I get any injuries. So I just thought that was a clever buy, really, more than anything. Yeah,
he tried going for Kai Havertz, couldn't get him. Tried going for Martinelli. Couldn't get him. Erdegaard didn't want to go back to Real Madrid, you see. Declan Rice was like, no thanks, mate. I think you even tried to get Arteta as an assistant.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry wouldn't come out of retirement. Patrick Vieira was like, no thank you, mate. Freddie Ljungberg was another one you tried to approach as well. Robert Perez.
Dennis Bergkamp did come to as a coach.
Yeah. So Campbell said, no, I'll go to Barcelona first, then go to Real Madrid. And then it was like Lee Dixon and people like that. So he decided to go for Chiesa.
Yeah. It was an easy choice.
Yeah.
Easy choice.
Yeah. 16th pick or whatever it was. But there's Chiesa anyway. From Liverpool to Real Madrid. And you're locking in 2 players, switching them around.
Yeah, I was in and enamored whether to change the formation, and I know what you guys are always saying to me. If you're a winner, you should never change. So I haven't changed it. But I wanted to see what would happen if Messi went up front.
Yeah.
And how many goals he would score.
Yes.
So this season, this last season, is going to be a competition between them two playing in the same position, really, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and Mbappe becoming like a provider in there.
I'd sort of put him on training for that position as well.
Yeah, because you had nobody in there other than Messi.
That's right, yeah. Play around with it a little bit, but I haven't played around.
An experiment. You can afford to do that. Your point is done and dusted.
Well, you were all probably thinking, go on, put him as a striker, see what he would play like up front. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see how many goals he would score in that position.
God, we're really treating the season 5 crew this time round,
yeah.
aren't we? We're seeing experiments, Ballon d'Ors. Here we go. Some banter about Arsenal again. You're coming to the right place. Anyway, I haven't lost both my fixtures.
No.
Get in. It's only a draw, but I'll take it. We are doing okay here. You beat Chelsea in the Super Cup, beat Eibar, beat Bilbao, but couldn't beat Barcelona at home. The downwards turn of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Champions League fixtures. You've got Liverpool in there. You've got Manchester City away from home. Still again.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Still
easy.
comfortable for you.
Let's have a look at my schedule then. Obviously, we know about the draw there. I beat Sevilla 2-0, beat Girona 4-0, and Athletic Bilbao 4-2. I've got to play Chelsea, of course, who's just won the Europa League, as we've seen what Dad faced him. And I've also got Liverpool away from home, so I've got to go to Anfield.
Yeah.
Got to go to Anfield. You got them at home, I think I've got them away. Milan away as well.
Comfortable for you as well, so yeah.
Yeah,
all right then. Let's go through there.
Season number 5. We won't forget. We'll see Ballon d'Ors. We'll see this final season. We'll see if Messi can be better than Ronaldo when he has also played up front. Don't go anywhere. Let's find out. And for the final time, once again, Dad has an invincible season. And so you should, with the amount of Arsenal players you got in the team. You might as well have an invincible season again. 110 points this time round. We already know about one draw, which is against me. The other one was against Bilbao, which means you did beat me 6-4 when you came to the new camp there.
Well, I scored 171
171. What was it last season before we have a look?
Way up there.
153, 154. That was when I won the league, so 133 and 142. So easily at least 20 goals more when you had him up front. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I got 134 goals there. 152 last season, 134. It's still within the realm of what Ronaldo is capable of doing within those numbers. Has he done it again? 53 to 36. Who's the GOAT? It's Ronaldo. Just wind you up, really. Ronaldo, the most goals, also had the highest average rating and the most player of the matches there. Messi does have 21 assists, but he's not number 1. Kylian Mbappe is up there as the number 1, which is what we said earlier. I think that's down to like minutes on the pitch or something. Sometimes, I don't really know. Appearances. Yeah, he did it in less games. Yeah. Kylian Mbappe, he played two less games.
That's fair enough then. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Not like you need the points, if I'm honest.
I'd have been arguing if I was a bit.
Yeah. Donnarumma with 19 clean sheets. You dominated the average rating there, which is quite impressive, but there we go. Barcelona. Come on. Nice little final season, Champions League win. Oh, is that 3 years in a row I've been runners? No, 2 years in a row I've been runners-up.
Is it 2?
I think, yeah. 3 years in a row now, anyway.
You won the cup.
I did win the cup. That was very patronising from you. Oh, look at that. You won the cup. Good for you.
It did come across like that, didn't it?
So patronising.
I'm glad it did.
Yeah. Oh, well done, mate. Mummy will be so proud. You beat me in the Super Cup, though. That's another point. So 5-2 after extra time. 2-2, losing 5-2. Copa del Rey win. Atletico Madrid.
They won against me now.
No. So There we go. Beat you in the semi-final across 2 legs. So we'll have a look at that. In terms of the points, did I beat you across? No, I think you beat me in one of the games.
Yeah.
So you actually get a point for that. That's really annoying, isn't it? That's the upside and downside of a 2-legged affair. And then runners up of the Champions League. I mean,
it can't be, can it? It can't be again, can it?
Yeah, that's the draw of putting us in the final 3 years in a row. That's got to be impossible.
Yeah.
Losing against you all 3 times is wrong in so many ways. But that's what happened.
Yes,
I can't believe that. 3 seasons in a row, we have faced each other in the final. 4 seasons you've got there. Yeah, because Liverpool knocked me out that year. That's how I knew it was only 3. Very rarely you'd ever see that. That's never happened. Surely that's never happened. I know Juve were back-to-back finalists, but I don't think they face the same people over and over and over again. No. That's absolutely crazy. I topped the group, look. One draw, 7 wins there. Nice little 3-1 at Chelsea, 2-1. There we go. You lost to Man City and Slavia Prague. You don't deserve to win this. You lost to Slavia Prague. You did beat Olympiacos 11-0 though.
Oh dear,
Ronaldo had 18 goals in that. You were knocking out Marseille. I was knocking out Porto. Quarter-finals. I was knocking out Dortmund 7-0. You were knocking out Manchester City 8-1. Semi-final, I knocked out Liverpool 8-6 on aggregate, and you knocked out PSG 6-1. So we were dominating.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was coming close to us in Europe, which was an absolute joke, really. Goals-wise then, Dad, Lionel Messi got 51 and 30.
Not bad, then.
No, normally you'd be really happy with that, wouldn't you? But it's Lionel Messi. It's like a slight bit of disappointment that he never quite reached the heights of what he did in real life. But what a quality player. By the way, the save game file, we can make it available at the end of this 5-year rebuild to all Patreon members and channel members as well. So thank you very much for everybody who does support us on that level. It's very much appreciated. Helps us pay for Dad to be here and not at his other jobs, so we can provide nice videos for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So we really do appreciate that. Mbappe got 44 and 31, so fantastic numbers from the both of them there. If anybody does take it on, you got £151 million to make that side just slightly bigger because the squad size is a little bit small.
Yeah.
Goals wise from Ronaldo, 79. Oh my god. 79 goals. Unbelievable there from him. 27 from Ansu Fati. He's had quite a good time, actually, considering he hasn't been like the main man in there. Yamal had a bad season, I would say. Just 11 and 18 compared to, his other years and how good he is now.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that compared to what he was in that season 1 when I played him, and he had 20 assists. 27 after, nowhere near in comparison, but the player is far superior. Maybe it's a system, maybe.
Yeah.
But the transfer budget, £89 million. We'll have a look at the points, then we'll check the Ballon d'Or. Season 5 points then is Omega Luke with 8 and Dad with 14, meaning the total points are 30 for Luke, 73 for Dad. Alright then, Season 5 crew, thank you very much for staying with us all the way to the end. I'm typing and talking at the same time. That's hard to do. FIFA Ballon d'Or winner, because you can't count the Messi one, because that was when he was at Miami. 4 seasons in a row, despite not winning the Champions League. Now, obviously, another one would have been given to it, well, given probably to him, in the November for the season we just had. We don't really know, but in the 4 seasons that it was...
Go on to each season.
Was it? It wasn't Messi. Mbappe with Messi third. So Ronaldo wins all 4. And what I didn't tell Dad is that actually counts as 15 points each time, which means I gain 60 points there, which means I actually end up on 90 points, whereas Dad is only on 73. Thank you very much, Cristiano Ronaldo, for winning me this rebuild. Dad, your thoughts on finishing second place?
I just think that was such a good challenge. It was so funny in places, and oh yeah, absolutely good. It just goes to show, really, he deserved it though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he was carrying the team.
You look at the majority of the Ballon d'Or winners nowadays, and it's because they've won the Champions League and done this and done that. But like you say, he did carry the team, and the goals he was scoring. In my mind, I've always said, and I've always said this to you and I, Cristiano Ronaldo is the better player of the two.
Yeah.
And
maybe not gifted, but hard work and...
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, he's 2-footed. And he's strong in the air. Yeah. He's absolutely... Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying against him. He is absolutely a world-class player. But is he as good as Ronaldo on everything? I don't think he is. I think that's come out right that's exactly what I would have put. If you ask me to run it down, that's exactly what I would have put it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I hate comparing them because the argument I think is crap. Because what you should be doing is just be really appreciative that we've had a rivalry like that where two players are so much better than every other player ever that we've got them at the same time, almost the same age, to the point where longevity-wise, we've got the rivalry going for that long.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's almost a shame that they weren't in the same league all the way through.
Yeah.
We got almost 10 years out of it.
Yeah.
But it was a shame that it wasn't across their whole careers.
Wouldn't you have loved to have been a rich Spanish person?
Just be able to go all those games.
To Barcelona and Real Madrid,
Yeah.
and you just go and watch them two players each time they're playing.
El Clasico was amazing every time, wasn't it?
I would have just
because it wasn't just those two either, wasn't it?
I'd
You're
love
watching Neymar and Suarez, and then obviously Benzema up front as well.
I'd love to have seen Messi come to the Premier League and see what he could have done.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why a lot of English players or English fans, really, proper football fans, I would say, prefer Ronaldo rather than Messi, because Ronaldo...
They've seen it in our leagues.
Yes, they've seen... He'd done it in our league. He'd done it in the Premier League. He was outstanding Premier League player. I think didn't he win the Golden Boot that season?
He won the Ballon d'Or for Man United.
Yeah.
In
so, that goes to show that he's done it in the
2008.
Premier League. And it was a pity that Messi... I mean, it was money-wise. He was never going to come.
Well, there was a chance. There was one point he almost went to
But
Chelsea, I
that was
remember.
near the end of his career, though.
No, it was like
Was it?
earlier on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have seen Messi in the Premier League just to see how good he would have been. But I'd love to have watched either one of them live, really, and I never had the chance, really.
Yeah. Today's Versus Rebuild is using a retro database by Mr. Tiny. So let's go back in time by 10 years and play FM14 on FM24, where Omega Dad wanted to manage Real Madrid, who dominated Europe during this period, winning 4 Champions Leagues with a prime Cristiano Ronaldo. While I was taking over Barcelona, who was coming out of a period of domination, but still had a 26-year-old Lionel Messi. So let's see how us taking over these two Spanish giants changes the course of history. The semi-final first leg, you won 13-1. You beat them 18-3.
That's some semi-final, isn't it?
Yeah. Why did they turn up to the second leg?
I don't know.
A reminder of the points tally is as follows. You gain 1 point for a higher league finish, 1 point for a victory over each other, 1 point for eliminating each other from a cup competition, 3 points for a domestic cup win, 4 points for a domestic league win, 5 points for a Europa/Europa Conference win, and 7 points for the Champions League win. Right, Dad, a trip down memory lane.
Yeah,
of retro
It
versus.
certainly was, yeah. I mean, the teams were going to be obvious of who we wanted to take over. I always thought Cristiano Ronaldo was the best player in the world, so I automatically wanted Real Madrid.
He wanted the team that won, 4 Champions Leagues in this period of time, whereas Barcelona won one.
Gareth Bale's a Spurs player as well, so I wanted to take over Gareth Bale. That was my main reason, really. I looked at the players and I thought, well, Gareth Bale was playing for us. I want to take over Gareth Bale.
Okay, let's have a look at what you did the transfer business in the first season. Now, to take you back, this again is the 2013-14 season. So the likes of Casemiro has just signed for Dad.
Yeah.
As well as Carvajal from Bayer Leverkusen. What Dad has also done is sell Sami Khedira.
Yeah. I had a few players already in that position, which I felt would keep him out of the position.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll cash in on this guy, give me a little bit more money, because I had no budget to play with. I wanted another striker to come in.
You brought in
And there's a bit of history with this guy, innit? When I seen he was available, I said, I've got to have this guy. I used to play Football Manager back in the day, and this is when I used to play it when he was available, and he was my first player that I always used to go and buy.
Yeah.
Anytime I needed a striker, Holt was your guy.
Yeah.
So when he came up, I was like, I've got to have him. So
Before he ended up, what's he now? Married?
He's a Frank Kessie to when I was younger.
He was, yeah. Now he's married his own niece or something like that in real life. Questionable decisions. I think he's even got her knocked up. Anyway, Hulk has joined you from Zenit for £25 million. It's a good deal. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists for you already.
Yeah.
Very good start. We'll have a look at your full team as well as your tactic. You're going very attacking.
When you look at the players that I've got who play up front, I mean, don't put my strongest 11 in there. Come on, why wouldn't I go attacking with that team?
So you've got Gareth Bale from the left, Hulk on the right-hand side, Ronaldo and Benzema up front.
What strike force that is.
Isco, of course, in the centre attacking midfield role.
What a player to have coming in.
Yeah.
Only 21 as well.
Xabi
And
Alonso.
then just to sort of like make sure it's just solid backer. This guy, what a defensive midfielder he is.
You've got a young Rafa Varane, 20 years of age, coming
so
into the
good as
lineup.
well,
He is
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Next to Pepe,
Look how young he looks there. Look.
30-year-old Pepe. Sergio Ramos then goes to the
he's
right-hand
27,
side.
but he's another player. So how could I improve any one of these positions, really?
Yeah, Marcelo on the left and
Yeah.
Casillas still in goal. He's 32, though. He's coming towards the end of his career. Which means your bench had Di Maria
Yeah.
and also Luka Modric as well.
I couldn't get him in the team.
Some world-class players just sat on your bench,
Yeah.
which is quite funny. So, yeah, great start, I guess. Having a look at that team. Let's have a look at what I've got, because being manager of Barcelona in this period of time meant that I had a young Lionel Messi. Younger. So, Neymar has just signed for the club. I didn't sign him. This was what happened in real life. This is the season that they spent £15 million on bringing over the South American sensation himself. Quite
He
interesting.
looked good there as well.
Got injured straight away, which... He does have a bit of an injury proneness, I think, on this game. Annoyingly, it's also the season they sold David Villa, which was one of my favourite strikers ever for Barcelona.
Yeah.
So that was sad that I didn't get to use him, but still. Let's have a look then. Tactic. Now, I brought nobody in because I only had £20 million, and you can't really improve these teams with £20 million players. Dad managed to do quite well bringing in Hope, to be fair, but there's not many in that. I've got Messi on the right-hand side, and that's because when you go pick best 11, he slots into the centre, well, the striker, and I want him to play from the right. I've gone for a very realistic approach in this first season. So, Messi from the right-hand side. Neymar on the left. You got Alexis Sanchez before his move to Arsenal.
Yeah.
In fact, is up there. Iniesta and Xavi, the two best midfielders ever.
Yeah.
Put together with Busquets. Oh, what a triangle I've got in there.
Yeah.
Which makes Cesc Fabregas and Mascherano on the bench.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got Poyle. What a captain.
When we were doing this video, I actually spoke about him, how good of a captain he was for Barcelona.
Well, those 20s.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So good.
35, so I very much doubt he'll see the 5 years, but it's just class that I get to spend a little bit of time with
Look
him.
at the guys he got beside him, though, as well.
PK there. Amazing. Dani Alves, the best ever right back.
Yeah. Got to be
Him
up
and
there,
Cafe, I mean, he's won the most. He's won the most trophies.
Yeah.
Alba on the left, of course, still going, Jordi Alba.
Yeah.
And then Victor Valdez in goal. That's a blast in the past, ex-Man United. But he's leaving on a free transfer at the end of this season. So I will have to bring in a new goalkeeper. That is when he makes his move to Manchester United, I believe.
Yeah.
I've got a very good bench as well. Let's have a look at my fixtures first in the start of this first season on this Retro Versus. I've played 3 games and I have scored a lot of goals.
Oh, unbelievable, yeah.
7-2 in the first game away from home, 5-1 against Villarreal. Lionel Messi got himself 4 goals in that game, and then a 4-1 win against Real Valladolid. He got another 2 in that game as well. We are going to see Messi levels of goals from Messi, which is great, because this season on Football Manager is harder than ever to get your striker to score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Last season was easy. The amount of times we've seen Erling Haaland get 60 goals in a season, or even our strikers get 60 goals in a season, it's not been that easy this time round.
No.
But now we have Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. We should be able to do that. I'm in the Champions League, of course. We can see my Champions League fixtures as well, looking at this. Now this, I believe, keeps the group stage as it was all the way through.
Yeah.
So we don't go into the new format. But my group stage has Ludogorets, PSV, and Bayer Leverkusen in there, so that should be a breeze. I should be able to go through that quite easily. Dad's fixtures then. Let's have a look at how you've been getting on. You dropped points in the first game.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
At 1-1, a 92nd. Pepe own goal.
Yeah, I can't believe that. So that's the way it goes, isn't it?
After that, though, you took your anger out on Valencia, 4-1, 4-2 against Granada, and then a 5-1 against Athletic Bilbao. Some big results there.
Oh, getting a goal as well.
Look
So
at 5 different goal scorers.
Happy with that.
Yeah. Your Champions League fixtures look like this. You've got Copenhagen, you've got Celtic, but also you've got Chelsea.
Yeah.
And this Chelsea team
They are a good side.
is managed by Jose
When he
Mourinho.
come in there,
Yeah.
the chosen one.
And there are some incredible players, this Chelsea side, because you've got the likes of Samuel Eto'o. Lukaku's on loan, I think, at West Brom or Everton. It's on Everton. Juan Mata, before he moved to Manchester United, was one of the best midfielders. I think he won Player of the Season. Oscar, of course. You got Ramirez. This was one hell of a Chelsea team.
Well, all the way through, we were commenting on what players they were buying and what strikers they had for a start, wasn't it?
God, yeah. Ian Hazard's in there as well.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Kevin De Bruyne, when he was crap, because he moves back to Germany before he goes to Man City.
Peter Cech in goal.
Yeah, so an unbelievable side, a really good team.
Yeah. Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
Right, he's coming to the end of his career, but
David Luiz,
what a left
Essien.
back.
What a midfield.
Yeah.
So you've got to contend with them.
Fernando Torres was
Which
there
I
as well, but that was
believe
at the end
they
of his
won
career.
the league in a couple of seasons after this.
Yeah.
Because this would have been the season that Manchester City won the season after Fergie. And then I think it's Chelsea again. I'm not quite sure. People can correct me. But yeah, my memory's a little bit musty around after Man United stopped winning the league. For obvious reasons. But yes, this is going to be a lot of fun. The point system is exactly the same as this. So even though we're going retro, it still is a game on. It's game on versus rebuild against each other.
The two best teams in the world, I think, at this present time. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
All right, first season then. Let's simulate it and see who gets the bragging rights for season number 1. First season, Barcelona are your champions. Come on, let's go. 102 points as well.
Well done.
94 goal difference.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah.
2 games as well. Ooh,
102 points to your 97. So 5 points clear.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. I only lost 2 games. Did I lose against you?
Come on. I need some points now.
No.
Ooh.
That's a great start. Some 4 points and didn't lose any as well. Did I draw? 5-5. What a game.
We said it was all going to be about the strikers, didn't we?
That was the home fixture, which meant I beat you away at the Bernabeu, which was a 5-1 win. How did you not get sacked?
As I was, it's disgusting.
That is a disgrace. Right, okay, we're on Barcelona right now. Let's see. Did I capitalise on that? On top of those 5 points? Oh, runner-up in the Spanish Cup. That's not good.
Look at you, got knocked out by the Champions League.
Chelsea. Just who we mentioned.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we?
Just who we mentioned. I tell you what we didn't check, though, because I'm just seeing it down there. Lionel Messi got 43 goals.
What I will say, though,
right wing.
What I'm worried about now is if Chelsea got that far, Chelsea was in my group.
They were. Oh, did they knock you out? That would have been hilarious.
No.
And or you finish second, you get an harder draw.
So Messi scored that many goals, did he? Ooh.
43 to Ronaldo's 40.
Ooh,
Benzema with 26. You had the highest average rating.
My 2
Ronaldo
strikers are there, and average rating as well.
You got all 3 of the highest assists, which is mental. I had the highest goal clean sheet, but you didn't. But that makes sense because my goal difference is slightly better. So I think maybe you were so attacking, obviously. We've seen your formation. You were scoring a lot of goals, but that obviously led to you conceding quite a few as well. But yeah, Lionel Messi.
Bragging rights for strikers to your team first season.
16 mad matches in a 38-game season is absolutely mental, isn't it? First season, Spanish Cup, runner-up. Let's not click on it because we don't know who beat me in the final.
Yeah.
It could have been you. And we know that's obviously points for knocking them out and that. So let's have a look. Omega Dad, what did you manage to do in season number 1? Champions League! So that completely wipes my 4 points for winning the league.
Boom.
Or 5 points, whatever it is, for winning the league. It is 4 points, plus the 5 I got for beating you. Borussia Dortmund in the final. I mean, they had a great time back then, Borussia Dortmund. They had a great team.
Yeah.
Lewandowski, Marco Reus, Aubameyang. Aubameyang might have not been there yet. Gareth Bale with 2 goals. And you were down to 10 men.
Get in, Gareth.
Oh, Aubameyang was there.
Was he?
Yeah, he was there. But yeah, they had a great team. They don't have...
And it was at Wembley?
Yeah. Gundogan was there on the bench, didn't even come on. That makes no sense. I think this is the year that I bought the Gundogan shirt.
Is it?
I had the Dortmund Gundogan shirt this round about this year. They don't have Lewandowski. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he's decided to leave. We'll find out. Maybe Jurgen Klopp as manager. Lewandowski went to Chelsea. Marco Reus went to Man United in the January. Lewandowski, 81 million.
How many strikers they were having, wasn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. And they still managed to get to the Champions League final. Probably, had an easy draw along the way. So you're the Champions League winner, Dad. 7 points straight off the back. But you didn't get to the Spanish Cup final, which meant somebody else beat me. You were knocked down the 4th round by Cordoba. Atletico Madrid. That's annoying because that's a huge opportunity for me to gain back those points.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If one of us gets to the final and the other one doesn't, you've got to
win, capitalise on it.
Definitely.
Yeah, Jordi Alba sent off in the first minute.
Oh,
that's cost me.
Yeah.
Even though I went 1-0 up with a 7th-minute penalty from Lionel Messi, they capitalised on that extra man. That's a shame. All right, okay. They had a great team, by the way. Have you seen Atletico Madrid's team? Just to give you an idea of what we're coming up against. Arda Turan is there, and he was amazing around about this time. Thibaut Courtois is obviously their goalkeeper before he makes his move to Chelsea.
You forget he was there before Chelsea, didn't you?
Yeah. Simeone is one of his first seasons there. I hate that man so much. But they do have a great team.
Every Englishman does.
Yeah. Alderweireld before he went to Tottenham. Some great teams that they've got. By the way, the link for this will be down in the description if you want to download it. It's a fantastic database. It's very well put together. But okay, let's have a look then at the squads and how they got on. So we're looking at yours, Dad. 53 and 51 games from Ronaldo with 14 assists.
Benzema
33
right
from
behind him
Benzema.
with 15 assists. So they were just assisting each other, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Di
he's
Maria,
done well
21.
when you think he wasn't in my starting lineup.
Yeah, Hulk played the majority of the games there. 18 and 25 assists.
God almighty, they're all helping each other. I mean, Gareth Bale 25 assists as well.
Yeah, amazing. 14 and 13 from Isco, who is unhappy. Lost all trust in his manager after just winning the Champions League.
Are you having a laugh, mate? Played 46 games, really.
Yeah.
Two off the bench as well.
Luka Modric only started 11 games in his prime.
I've made him my main player, wins the Champions League, and he loses his trust in me. What did I do wrong?
Well, don't shoot the messenger. Let's have a look at my Barcelona. The league-winning Barcelona team. 51 and 51 with 17 assists. We've got Alexis Sanchez. He isn't that great, to be honest, if you look at the star ratings here. And 12 finishing. It wasn't rated that highly back then, let's just say. 20 goals and 7 assists from him. Neymar with 20 goals and 7 assists. I think I'm a striker away from an unbelievable team here.
100%, yeah. When you look at my strike force, how many goals they scored and assists compared to yours, you'd have thought, oh, my team was the team that won the league, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I also have an unhappy Lionel Messi because he wants a new deal. But that's absolutely fine, Lionel. You know, the 300 grand a week is clearly not enough. We need to give you more money. That makes sense. All right, let's have a look at the points tally for season number 1. In this first season, then, Omega Luke accumulated 5 points in total, but Omega Dad got himself 7 points, meaning the total points, of course, is Omega Luke with 5, Omega Dad with 7. Very close start of the season. You come out of nowhere there with that Champions League win.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Transfer budget-wise, Dad was given £82 million
just
this
a little
summer.
more than you was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I had 52. So we had huge wages, so we could maneuver it around a little bit. However, I was a lot more active this summer than what you were.
Yeah.
And that's because I had a massive transfer bid come in, but we'll get to that in a second. Dad signed 2 players, didn't sell anybody really.
No, I mean, I just looked at the team. My strike force, I just couldn't improve on that.
Yeah.
No way could I improve on that with 82 million. So I thought, well, I've got a defence that's getting a little bit close to the old times, really.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, let's bring in a couple of young defenders.
Otamendi, very good on this game.
I mean, we know how good this guy is.
Yeah.
And how better he gets as well as the years goes on. So I thought that was such a good buy for, what was it, 24 million?
Yeah.
For him to be sat there on the bench if I need him, or if someone gets injured, he comes straight in.
Yeah, so you denied him playing with Vincent Kompany at Man City and brought him here instead. And then you also brought Danilo in, £41 million.
Another position I thought could be a little bit weak if I had injuries. So
yeah, all right, okay.
I'm quite pleased with the 2 signings that I made.
Kept the same tactic, which would be silly if you changed
it.
Of course, you just won the Champions League and best 11. Ramos stays there. Pepe stays there. The 2 players came in, didn't actually go.
But that's what I expected them to stay there. There was no way I could improve them 2 players.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was just getting a really good reserves in, really, I felt. And building for the future. So that's what I've done.
Right, okay. Before we have a look at my transfers, though, I bought you a Christmas present.
Oh, here we go.
Got him a Christmas present. Now, the funniest part about this was I asked everybody, what do you think the Christmas present is on Twitter? And the answers were hilarious, mainly about Frank Kessie.
I was going to say, is it something to do with Frank Kessie then?
And here he is! And imagine if he walks in. That would have been unbelievable, wouldn't it? All the way from Saudi Arabia. But let me just get the Christmas present for you.
All right.
Right, now this is a serious present, actually.
What is it?
As much as I was joking around about Frank Kessie walking in, that's for after recording, all right? He's going to turn up for a cup of tea.
I thought you were going to turn up on Christmas Day.
No, this is a very serious present.
Right.
And I thought I'll give it to you on camera because it's quite special, actually. So here you go. Merry Christmas and thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I'm a bit nervous what this is now. Oh, wow. How did you manage to get another one?
So,
oh, that's brilliant, mate. Thank you very much.
just like the one that we've got on the wall back there, you can get a second plaque for creators who have, obviously, more than 1 people on camera for editing team and stuff. So I went and got you one as well. Because you are as much of this channel as what I am.
That means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I wouldn't have got to the 100k if it wasn't for the fact that you are on this channel.
That's brilliant, mate. Thank
so
you very
you
much.
definitely deserve one as well.
Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
no problem. Thank you very much. Right.
Thank you guys out there as well. You're the ones that made it possible for us.
Yeah. Now, let's
Serious
have a look
stuff.
at my summer.
Let's get back to the serious stuff, mate. Yeah.
Right, so as I said, I sold a player for a lot of money, and it was Cesc Fabregas. Just sat on my bench.
I mean, you kept on saying, I'm not going to sell him. They have to be silly money to come in and buy him. So you just put a silly offer in it.
They come in for silly money. Manchester City, £139 million. They were so annoyed they couldn't get Otamendi. They chucked money at me instead. I'll take it. Because in my team, Xavi is like 34, and he's not as good physically as I think people remember him being as good physically.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a good change. As much as Cesc Fabregas is incredible, again, that natural fitness is a little bit lower. I like my midfielders to be a little bit better than that. So I went, and to be fair as well, I also sold Pedro for 71, who wasn't getting into my team either. Is he a £71 million player? I don't think so.
No.
I think PSG overspent then.
Yeah.
And then £24 million for Bojan as well. So I went and got Ilkay Gundogan, because he was one of my favourites at the time. It broke my heart when he went to Manchester City because he was favoured to go Manchester United at some point, and I absolutely love the guy. Physically, he's a lot better.
How well did he do at City as well?
Yeah, all right. As soon as he did, I was crying into my Ilkay Gundogan Dortmund shirt. But I only spent £98 million, so I had a good £50 million worth of profit.
Yeah.
And I actually improved my first 11 because he goes in there instead of Xavi. So that made more sense. £98 million. That was really good, considering they bought him for 3.5.
That's better business than you ever do, isn't it?
Yeah, that's incredible stuff, really. But then you'll recognise the other two names now. Victor Valdez, of course, left on a free transfer. He went to PSG, as you can see over here. They stole two of my players. Tello actually went Man City too, so they both stole two of my players. Akinfeev, back then, was one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah.
Incredible goalkeeper. And on the game, he's insane as well. At 28, a very good goalkeeper from CSKA Moscow for 20 million. That's mental. Yeah, very
so you
good.
Still got money left over from
So I still had a lot of money.
Yeah.
So Sadio Mane joined us. £58 million, 22 years of age before he ever moved to Southampton.
Yeah, this is a good signing, I think.
Because I think this might have been the year that he moved to Southampton. It might have been the year after. But £58 million from Salzburg after he had 2 or 1.5 seasons there is a great pickup.
Yeah.
For what he looks like, and he's only 22, and he has that potential to grow into a player. That was my Pedro replacement as my backup winger / attacker, because he can do a bit of both, to be fair. Then finally, I needed a striker. I didn't really have one last season. We were playing Alexis Sanchez. I don't really rate Alexis Sanchez that much on this game, so I went and got Romelu Lukaku from Chelsea. And the reason for it, Chelsea has about 9 different strikers right now, so they were willing to let one go, and I brought in Big Rom, 21 years of age, 17 million, was on loan at Everton in the Premier League, did okay, but yeah, I brought him in. And if you take a look at Jose Mourinho's team, they actually spent more money on strikers, so they got Diego Costa in the summer as well, which is funny because they actually made that move in real life a little bit after that, of course, from Atletico Madrid for £82 million, and then Lewandowski. Where are you going to put Lukaku?
Yeah.
And they've already got Eto'o, and they've already got, I don't know, probably Shevchenko still knocking around or something. Drogba, I don't know. They were willing to let them go. I brought in Romelu Lukaku, and I think that's a good signing for 70 million.
I do rate him as a striker. It's just unfortunate for club level, he just doesn't do it, does he?
Yeah.
For some reason, but you put him in an international shirt, he's a different striker.
Yeah, I agree. 4 goals, 1 player of the match so far, the 8 average rating. That's very good. My tactics, I'm sticking exactly the same because, again, I won the league. I know you won the Champions League, but I still won the league. And when I put Lukaku in now, Messi slips to the right, which is exactly what I needed to happen.
Yeah.
Gundogan comes into the lineup too. I actually think this is a better team than what I had last season.
100%, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned why Puyol drops down to the bench instead of Marc Bartra. I mean, Marc Bartra's okay, but it's Carlos Puyol. You're putting Carlos Puyol into the team, whether you like it or not. I would have Carlos Puyol on my team now at Man United just because he's so good at organising and telling players, you know, you're doing this wrong, you're getting to the right position, etc.
Well, you wouldn't have the people talking in the changing rooms like they do at the moment, would you? You'd be sorting that out straight away, wouldn't you?
Terrified of him, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Carlos. That's my lineup. Looking at that, let's have a look at how I've got on so far. 4-0 win against Dad's Real Madrid at the start of the season.
Bad start for me, innit?
I forgot we played each other at the start of the season.
Lukaku as well got off on a good one there.
4-0. Lukaku in his debut, 6 minutes in, El Clasico, gets a goal. Sadio Mane got one as well. Not even scoring with Lionel Messi.
Good start for your new players then.
Then I only scraped by and beat Real Zaragoza, but I guess when you play the harder teams in the league, it's tougher games. Real Valladolid 4-0 against them. Not bad at all. Now, I do have Champions League fixtures. Let's have a look at them. My group stage, Manchester United, Zurich and Fiorentina. Manchester United still managed by David Moyes, which obviously didn't happen. At this point, David Moyes was sacked and Louis van Gaal came in. This would have been Louis van Gaal's
I think that
first
was
season.
a bad decision by Man United taking him on that time. That was a proper... He's my mate. I think you should take him on by Alex Ferguson.
Yes, I agree. I never wanted him, unfortunately. I really wanted Jurgen Klopp.
I'd like him as a manager, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a good job at West Ham, but not for Man United.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't think it was a good decision.
At the time, I was praying for Jurgen Klopp.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you knew a lot about him as well, didn't you? I mean, a lot of English people didn't know much about him. I didn't know much about him, but I mean, it's quite a few managers that you've wanted to come in at Man United that hasn't or
gone elsewhere.
Yeah, and they've been so good, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, but
because at one point I wanted Pep. There was a time where I was shouting for Pep. There was a time. I mean, I was the Mourinho shouter.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. I was calling for Mourinho. We got Mourinho. It didn't end well. However, I don't think that's Jose's fault. You know, we've seen how bad the board are, etc. around that time especially. So there we go. But they got Marco Reus as a key player as well. So can't argue with that. Very good Man United team with Fiorentina and Zurich in my Champions League group. Okay, let's have a look at Dan's fixtures. We know already he's lost 4-0. But you also beat Napoli. After losing to him in a friendly, you decided to play him again in a friendly, even knowing you have to play him in the Super Cup. You beat them 3-1. Bounced back in the league, though, with a 7-0.
And a 6-0.
And a 6-0.
It's a good start, really, apart from your game.
Well, yeah. Your Champions League fixtures, you also have a very good English side in there. Oh, no, you don't. You have Arsenal.
I like that. Well done, mate.
Oh, sorry, Arsenal fans. I couldn't resist that. That was too good. Still with Arsene Wenger in the team, they've got Mesut Ozil, who at this point had just been signed from Real Madrid. So the returning of Mesut Ozil. You've got them, Dynamo Kiev, and Monaco.
I'll be disappointed if I didn't go through there.
Yeah, I mean, they do have Falcao. This was the year Falcao was there, 28, and he was exceptional around about now. I mean, last season he got 20 goals and 31 appearances after his move from Atletico Madrid. So Falcao is knocking around, but will they knock you out of the Champions League? That is the question.
Hope not. We're the champions.
Well, yeah. I mean, you are 7-5 up, but after that win, it is now 7-6.
Yeah.
Let's see how we get on in season number 2. Let's simulate it. Season number 2, and Dad is back.
106 points.
Imagine getting 103 points, not winning the league. That's mental.
I think the biggest thing there is the amount of games we both drew, really.
Yeah, just the one game.
So I lost 2 games. I know one of them was against you, so I'm praying the other one wasn't.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, yeah. So you lost 2. One of them was against me, away from home. We know that was 4-1. Yeah. Okay, I lost 3. One of them was against you. 3-2. Close one, though. It's a very close one. I saved face. I drew to Real Valladolid. I mean, I wouldn't have won me the league. Don't matter anyway. No. I lost too many games. Yeah. I mean, the loss to Villarreal and Athletic Bilbao is why I didn't win the league, but you also drew to Bilbao. You scored 150 goals.
That's insane, isn't it?
That is mental. Ronaldo got 35. Benzema got 27. It's not even as high as what they got last season. No. Lukaku got 26. Where's Messi? He got a high average rating. Gareth Bale's there with 28 assists. Bloody hell. Yeah. That is absolutely mental, isn't it, from Gareth Bale? 25 years of age, and he's unhappy. Lionel Messi with 11 man of the matches, and you had the highest clean sheets. So your 2 defenders that came in, whether they played or not, they had an effect. Maybe they just scared Pepe into playing well this time round. But there we go.
What a surprise. Who got the most yellow cards?
Yeah, Sergio Ramos. He loves a yellow, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're on Barcelona right now. So, how did I get on in the cup competitions? Because that meant that the score was now 8-6 because of the 2 league wins. Plus, you get another 4 points for winning the league. So that puts you up to 12-6. I need a cup win because now you go 12-6 ahead because of the league win.
Yeah.
Oh, runners up. And a loss in the quarterfinal by Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League after they stole a few of my players.
We got players in our team.
Okay, let's go over to Dad.
Oh.
Let's go to Dad. Competitions. Oh, get out. You won the Champions League again.
How many winners is there? I've done the treble, boy. I've done the treble.
Back-to-back Champions Leagues. I mean, we know they're very good in this point. They won 4 in how many seasons? But you're almost replicating it. Beat Bayern Munich in the final 2-1. Hulk with both goals.
What a signing.
Look at their team that they've got back then as well. Toni Kroos, obviously, would go on to play for you. Ian Robben played for you and Chelsea. Frank Ribery, Thomas Muller. This is an unbelievable Bayern Munich team. Thomas Muller was only 25. The keeper,
one
Neuer.
of the best keepers in the world.
One of the best right-backs in the world as well. Their only questionable players is their 2 defenders, their centre-backs, Boateng and Munoz. But they got David Alaba on the left. Javi Martinez, I think, one of the best CDMs on the planet. Mario Götze came off the bench. This was when Mario Götze was like winning the World Cup for Germany.
Yeah.
Unbelievable team. Jadon Sakiri, you beat them 2-1 in the final. Man of the match, Cristiano Ronaldo.
So last season, Gareth Bale won the Champions League for me.
Yeah.
This season, the Hulk won the Champions League for me.
Yeah, the Hulk, he calls him. The Hulk. The green comic book character.
Definitely, yeah.
The Hulk. And you won the Spanish Cup and the Super Cup. So you won a point against me for beating me in the final. You also won the 3 points for winning the thing. On top of the 7 points of winning the Champions League. That's 10 points right there. Plus, obviously, winning the league. Another 4 points and beating me 5 points. I'll do the maths for you. Don't panic.
I've lost it.
You won the Spanish Super Cup, but you beat Atletico Madrid and you knocked me out. Which is another point. You don't get any points for winning the Super Cup, but you eliminated me, plus beating me in the game. So that's 2 points.
What a season that was.
We'll have a look at your squad. 47 goals, 17 assists for Cristiano Ronaldo, 39 and 12 for Karim Benzema.
Gareth Bale at
35 assists.
Unbelievable.
Look how many players got above 10. Even Alvaro Morata's there with 11. Okay, your transfer budget next season, not that you need it, is 185.
Mate, I've just won the Champions League twice.
185 million pounds. Where are you going to spend that?
I don't know.
That is mental. I better have over 100 million because I need to sort this team out now after that bad season. 34 goals from Big Ron, 33 and 15
good start
from
for
Messi.
his first season, I think.
Yeah, all right, patronising, isn't it?
No, I'm being honest here. That's a good start, I think. Because he was only 22 at the time.
The trophyless season. Trouser budget next season. 40. What is going on here?
Less than the season before.
What is going on? Have I got debts? A little bit. I'm now the one in financial turmoil. Speaking of financial turmoil, we finished the race to the Prem recently, and the full compilation is out. So if you haven't watched the Wrexham versus Notts County series, where we start off in League 2 and we do 10 seasons against each other, just like this format, I'll leave it at the end of the video. You can click and watch the full series now.
Brilliant.
It's all finished. I think it's the best thing that we've ever done.
Oh, no. Yeah, by a mile, I think.
And the amount of people who have watched it and say it's the best series they've ever watched.
Yeah, we had so much fun, but it was difficult as well. Wasn't it?
So make sure you check that out. I'll leave it at the end of the video for you to watch. The Race to the Prem full series is out now, and we're starting the next series, which is Glory Hunter. So make sure you check that one out.
So looking forward to this.
That's going to be next Sunday. Okay, so the points tally for season number 2, Omega Luke with just 1 point, and Omega Dad with 18 points, which takes the total tally, Omega Luke 6, Omega Dad 25. Okay, there's a big gap now. 19 points. But we can see with just a treble win how quickly the tide can spin.
Definitely, yeah.
But
the 2 Champions Leagues, it done me so well, it's just blown you out of the water, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
but you also have been given 185 million.
You could turn that around and you could win 2 more, so it could happen, couldn't it?
Yeah, not all the money that I'm getting.
But the teams that we've got are quite possible of doing it, though.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what you need a fortunate break, in the draw or something like that, and you're in.
Yeah. Let's have a look at where you spent your money. Before that, actually, let's have a look at what you did to increase your money, because you sold Luka Modric to Chelsea.
Well, I mean, it's getting to that age where and he just wasn't getting into my team.
He wasn't getting into your team, no.
So I thought it was good money, really.
55 million
making Chelsea weaker.
Yeah. And Yaramendi for £30 million to Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Another player I just don't think was getting into my team. So.
But the talk of this season was you trying to sign their player, Javi Martinez, and him turning you down.
Yeah. Oh.
You had a bid accepted.
Yeah.
Offered him a good contract, And he signed a new deal.
And it was a better contract than the deal that he signed.
Than what he signed.
So obviously he just didn't want to leave, did he? So I was a bit disappointed with that.
So instead you signed Jeffrey Kondogbia for 97 or 87 up front, 97 in total, from Monaco, 22 years of age. Good French midfielder, young French midfielder.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Goes on to play in the La Liga, of course, with Sevilla. Oh, actually, he played there already, and then he moved to Monaco. But there we go. Good midfielder, to be fair. Very good.
One for the future. I brought him in for that.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso still knocking around for now, but he is there for the future. Then, this was one that annoyed me, because in my head, I was thinking, I'd like to sign Luis Suarez at one point during this and get MSN going. But no. Dad signed him. And I couldn't get him last year. I didn't have enough money. But you had enough this year.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
84 million
I mean, when you look at my strike force and you think who's up there, did I need another striker? No, I didn't really, but if one of them gets injured or two of them gets injured, I've got another one coming in.
Yeah.
So that's what I got him in for. And
so
with that big budget, I thought I had to buy some really good players because the next season I might not have this budget. So while I had it, I had to buy very cleverly.
What I think happened was Liverpool dropped down into the Europa League. Whereas the season before they were in the Champions League. Yeah. And that meant that Luis Suarez had an £84 million release clause for teams in the Champions League. Because last year, when I was looking at him, it was 140, 150 million pound, which I didn't have, so I got Romelu Lukaku.
So I had him
instead.
for a bargain, really.
Yeah, so you got him for almost half the price of what I was looking at getting him in for.
And he's hit the ground running as well.
Yeah, he's got 2 goals and 3 assists. Because last season, he only got 10 in the Premier League. It's very unlike Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
But there we go. Those are the signings that you made at the start of the summer. And then you brought in 2 backup players in Quintero as your Isco backup.
You're looking at this at the player and you think this is a backup player. You think, what team have you got? But like you say, he's a backup. Never get an injury. What a player to come in.
Absolutely. And Fabian Schär, of course, doing very well now for Newcastle in the Premier League. But back then, when he was at Basel, coming through as a wonder kid, £10 million. The 23 Swiss-year-old defender. The 23 Swiss-year-old. The Swiss 23-year-old defender. Tactically, you didn't change it. Why would you? You just won the bloody treble. Yeah. And your best 11 looks very similar to what it did last season. No changes, in fact.
Suarez went in and
oh, yeah, Suarez went in, actually. Yeah,
sorry. Went to the right.
And Hulk is... But I think when we were doing it, even when you were asking your assistant
kept on changing
per game, it was like Suarez would be over here or he'd be here, and it would be all over the place.
It was a case of one of them gets injured, you just had another world-class striker to come in one of those positions, and it was easy enough to, like, it's just seen there, Cristiano Ronaldo moves to the right, which is where he likes playing as well. Okay, let's have a look, see what I've done to recuperate this season. Didn't sell anybody, unfortunately, but I did buy one player, Nkulu. So David Ospina was last season again. Nkulu was the only player I brought in. Centre-back, Cameroonian. I remember him being exceptional on this game in FM14. £54 million from Marseille. Good pickup, to be fair. Actually comes into the starting lineup, of course, because Carlos Puyol dropped out. Mark Bartra came into the team. Didn't really like Mark Bartra as much as what I like Nkulu. A lot better physicals, I think, and his position of 18, you can't deny, is absolutely incredible. So, tactically, we look like this. We've changed it. I had to do something after your treble winning season. Now, the reason why I've got Messi in the shadow striker role there is because when I do quick pick, he goes into the advanced playmaker role. I didn't really want that. I wanted Iniesta to be in that role. So when I put shadow striker as Messi, Iniesta goes in the advanced playmaker, which is what he is really good at. Neymar still on the left, however, lots of injuries from Neymar. In fact, as I mentioned, injury problems. If you take a look at this, major one last season, he torn his hamstring, was out for 2 months. So we've had a lot of trouble so far. Forgot to mention as well, in the first season, he was out for 6 months from damaged cruciates, and he broke his ankle in the same year. So I forgot to mention that. He is very much injury prone. Thankfully, last season, Sadio Mane played quite a lot of games for us. He's developing quite well with Sadio. So he played 22 games in the end. So yeah, he must have done all right. But that's my team looking like going forward. Nkulu goes into it. The rest of it looks very similar to what it was before. How has it performed? Well, we're looking okay. We've only conceded in the last 2 games there. We also defeated Atletico Madrid, the 3rd best team in the league, 3-0. Got a 5-0, 4-0, 3-2 against Levante, but it was a 92nd minute consolation goal, and a 4-2 against Sevilla there. Quite a comfortable one. We were 3-1 up at one point after they equalised through even Rakitic, who I believe Barcelona would have signed round about now. We haven't played each other yet. That comes down to November, but my Champions League fixtures, look who I've got. Chelsea. And I mean, that's a difficult group. Ajax went, they had Daley Blind back then. Look, with his wonderful hair. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. I think by now he would have signed for Manchester United, but at this point he was still there. Got Chelsea. So, difficult group,
But let's see what you've done at the start of this season, season number 3. You lost the Super Cup to Spurs. Oh, that is match fixing at its finest.
Any team but that one. But then again, I'll take it for that.
Match fixing.
Get out of it. Come on.
Christian Eriksen with 2. Soldado with 1 against his old team, Real Madrid, who he'd come through the youth academy there from. But you beat Osasuna in the first game of the season 4-3. 6-0 against Sociedad.
And then look at the goals all scoring now, look.
6-1, 7-1, 4-1. Think at this point.
Scoring for fun.
Yeah. Benzema was just having a laugh, wasn't he? Like, he scored so many, 8 in 5 games there, so not bad at all. But your group, Manchester United. You do have a difficult team in your group. Manchester United.
And Juventus.
Yeah. Club Brugge as well. So the Juve teams, Carlos Tevez, he's in there for anybody who was interested. Antonio Conte is the manager. They've got Pirlo. They've got Pogba is there as well. So they've got a very good team. Bonucci is only 28, so this was a good year for Juventus. And they've also bought the wonder kid of this game, which was Victor Fischer. He was very good in this game of FM14. He was there too. Okay. Manchester United, though. Do they still have David Moyes in charge? They do. And they've also bought Tyrell Vidal. He was a monster, though. Look how good he is. Absolutely insane. For £43 million from Juve. That's a good buy. That's an unbelievable buy for 43. David Moyes. What a manager.
Take it back.
They just lost the Community Shield to Chelsea, interestingly, after just seeing that. Let's simulate this 3rd season. And I've got a big points tally to catch up with, so let's hope for a very positive season for the Barcelona boys. Let's simulate it. And I'm back! Winning the league. Oh my God, you dropped off huge.
Lost 7 games.
Wow.
13 points you beat me by. I think that's the biggest one so far, isn't it?
I dominated. I was first from September. 4 games I lost, but you lost 7.
I mean, really, you lost 4 games, and that's the most one of us has lost.
Yeah, for a while.
If you take mine out.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 and 3 that we were in the leagues with, wasn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. But did I lose to you? Oh, I did. That's 1 point you get. I could really have done without that one, to be honest. I could have done with you drawing me, but I drew against Real Betis, which means I did beat you in one game too, 3-1.
Yeah,
you lost all away games. You were terrible on the road.
Yeah.
That's that attacking
really
tactic,
bad,
though.
isn't it? Yeah, definitely. I mean, look
at
the 2 1s there.
Profile, Lionel Messi's back, 44 goals. Putting him in that shadow striker role was genius from me. 29 goals from Ronaldo and 27 from Lukaku. Lionel Messi getting the highest average rating. Gareth Bale, 19 assists. Hulk with 18. One thing we need to check, actually, is after we look at this, is the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's always going to be a season behind.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd season. We'll only see 2 Ballon d'Or winners. But it's going to be very interesting to see whether Lionel Messi and Ronaldo keep chopping and changing it.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I would think they probably would, especially the way the goal scoring's been going.
And I think, was it 2018 Luka Modric won it?
Yeah.
You sold Luka Modric. So who wins it?
Yeah.
Because he won it after the Euros, wasn't it? Or the World Cup, sorry. The Russian World Cup. That's the year that he won it after they got to the final. So that'll be quite interesting to see.
So your keeper got the clean sheets one?
He did. Akinfeev, new goalkeeper the last couple of seasons.
That's a good signing then for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Kulu, obviously, was my defender that I signed. So they did very well.
You got the yellow cards again?
Yeah, Sergio Ramos is up there with most yellows. No surprises there. Okay, we're on Barcelona. I could really do with a cup win here to try and start clawing back some wins and a Champions League. I've won the Spanish Cup and I've won the Super Cup, which I know you'll be involved in. So that could be an extra 2 points right there.
But you needed that Champions League.
I needed the Champions League as well, because that huge 7 points, it just changes things, doesn't it? Okay, so the Spanish Cup. Who did I beat in the final? Huelva.
Still could have knocked me out of it.
I could have knocked you out along the way, yeah. I mean, I could have asked for an easier team.
Seeing I'm not in the final, you had to win the final.
Yeah.
We said that earlier.
So that's good. That's an extra 3 points right there. And top of the 4 points from winning the league and 5 points, obviously, for beating you in there. The Spanish Super Cup, 7-1 in the final. Woo! Look at that. That's 2 points right there, baby. Let's go. Well happy with that one. So, how did you get on in the Spanish Cup? And did you win the Champions League 3 years on the bounce? That would be insane. No.
Oh, no. Arsenal knocked me out.
Arsenal knocked you out. But Granada knocked you out of the Spanish Cup.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah. So, the Champions League was won by Manchester United. Beat Tottenham in the final.
No.
Amazing. Oh, I love that.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
David Moyes. What a legend.
We've got to take it back, all what we said about him.
Because Tottenham used to have Villas-Boas.
Yeah.
Eric Lamela was your best player.
Bambi, as I used to call him.
Yeah, so how the hell did you get to the Champions League final with Soldado, Lewis Holtby, Anna Bayor? I mean, Ericsson, obviously. Aaron Lennon. Aaron Lennon got you there. Harry Kane is there.
Michael Dawson as well, really.
Yeah. Harry Kane is there with 1 game and 15 appearances off the bench.
22.
Awful. Absolutely terrible player. That's crazy, isn't it? How good he actually becomes.
Yeah.
But back then, wasn't rated at all.
No.
So there we go. All right, okay. Tottenham Hotspur on penalties. Let's have a look then at the squad. We're on yours. 35 and 34 starts from Ronaldo. 26 from Benzema. 21 from Suarez. Is there just too much firepower that sharing it round is not...
When you look at all the assists,
helping.
all the assists as well from that player onwards, that all really top.
All very good.
Yeah.
6 players with double.
Otamendi scored. Has played 38 games.
Yeah, so he's
I'm
coming
surprised
in.
with that he's come in so
Instead of
early.
Pepe
really.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Varane's playing 45.
Yeah, because Pepe's only started 5 games.
Yeah, that's
Ballon d'Or.
interesting.
Can we look at the Ballon d'Or then?
Well, let's have a look at my squad first.
All right,
Dan.
sorry,
It's all
yeah.
about
All
you. Transfer. What? 162.
There you go, mate. What was mine?
That is yours.
Oh, that's mine, is it? Oh, get in.
That's what I mean.
Half angle.
What have I been given after winning the league and the cup?
50 odd, isn't it?
70.
70. Ooh. They give you more this time.
Oh yeah, 20 million more. Brilliant. You got over 100.
You've got to get into the Champions League, mate.
Right. 54 goals from Lionel Messi and 53 starts with 27 assists. That's Ballon d'Or worthy.
I'm going to say, yeah, if he's won the Ballon d'Or for that season, you could see why.
Well, it would be the next one he would win for that season, yeah. Lukaku got 44 and 43. So
another good signing in for you.
23 and 11 Sadio Mane coming off the bench, getting 23 goals majority of the time. That's incredible. And that's because Neymar didn't play that much.
Two of your signings in have done really well there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nkulu, his first season, played 50 games. So that was my one signing that I made this summer, which helped me win the league and the cup, to be honest. 5 goals, 1 assist. Good average rating. Right, Ballon d'Or time. Who has won the first 2 Ballon d'Ors of this series so far? Ronaldo, with Messi finishing second. Both times. Which stopped the streak of Messi
what you're
winning
going to
it 4
think of
times.
as well, that's consistent of what we know happens.
Yes, it actually
If you win
is.
the Champions League, 9 times out of 10, you will win the Ballon d'Or.
And I got a feeling that's actually what happened because Messi won it 4 times in a row to 2012.
Yeah.
Ronaldo had only won it once back then,
Yeah.
with Messi finishing in second place. So when it's given then, I've got a feeling Ronaldo would have won it these 2 times to make it a little bit close. So at the minute, I think it's 4-3, but we can only check 2 more after that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find out. Okay. We're on to season number 4, but before that, let's have a look at the points tally. Well, after an amazing season for Omega Luke, I now have a season tally of 10 to Omega Dad's 1, which puts the total points still a gulf between us at Omega Luke of 16 and Omega Dad 26. Now, usually a 9-point swing in the points would make things either a lot closer or propel me ahead, and still I'm like 10 points behind you, which is quite funny. But anyway, let's have a look at season number 4, what you did, Dad, because it was a fairly eventful summer of you chasing Javi Martinez again and getting rejected again.
Can't believe it, would I? He was the one player I thought would just make my team a lot better.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't
the
get
one
him, could I?
improvement. Yeah. Well, outside of the one player you did bring in.
Well, there was a reason for this, wasn't there?
Manuel Neuer.
Yeah. My keeper, after that bad season that I had, he wanted to leave. My keeper.
Because, I mean, he's still there.
He was 35 anyway.
Yeah.
But I would have kept him for the last couple of seasons because of knowing how good he is. But he come up and said, I'm not very happy. I want to leave.
Yeah.
So I had to go out and buy myself another goalkeeper.
I mean, you didn't sell him. You didn't manage to sell him. Nobody came in for him, did they?
Nobody come in for it. I think it's because of the wages he was on. But I didn't want to take the chance, did I? That get to the September, that all of a sudden I would lose him and not have a keeper in. So I made sure I got a keeper in, and what a keeper I did get in.
Yeah, Manuel Neuer at this point was the best goalkeeper in the world, I think, as well.
69 million, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a buyout clause as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, £69 million buyout clause.
Right, that's it. That's the guy I'm going to bring in.
Outside of that, though, of course, you tried to get Javi Martinez, couldn't get him. You sold Casemiro and sold Pepe as well. On to that, you also sold Nuri Sahin, who had not really got into the team for a while. So you signed Diego Reyes for £41 million. I don't really remember what Diego Reyes has done outside of his career in Football Manager, but he is very good on this.
Yeah.
So 23 years
It's just
of age.
strengthened my sort of midfield up again.
Yeah.
So strengthen my defence up with a new keeper and strengthen this guy into the squad. I think Two good signings.
Yeah, as your Xabi Alonso kind of substitute. Because Xabi Alonso is getting, he's getting 34 now.
That was the thing.
Still good. Physically,
I knew
he's
that
not
was
amazing.
the position I had to get in and make stronger, but this guy just wasn't getting any weaker, so I just can't replace him at the moment.
So tactically, you're sticking exactly the same. This was your treble winning tactic. You had a badger last year, but you stuck with it.
Keep us straight in.
Yeah.
Which is what I was interested in, so... But what a strike force still there, look.
Yeah, you've both picked up suspensions recently.
I mean, Alonso's still in the squad as well.
Yeah.
We're still in the starting lineup, so...
Could be your only weak point.
Yeah.
Having somebody who's not that physical in there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That might be the only trouble. Okay. Barcelona. I sold Alexis Sanchez for £53 million. Didn't have enough time to bring anybody in. I actually had a couple of players reject me, including Sakai, who I couldn't get enough money for, which was a fullback who plays both right back and left back, because I couldn't bring it up to £65 million, unfortunately. So that could be something I look at next season. What I did do was I brought in Marek Hamšík on a free transfer. What a free transfer that is.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Unbelievable. I loved Marek Hamšík growing up. From Napoli, incredible player on a freebie. Not gonna lie, love that deal. Victor Wanyama from Southampton before he made his move to Spurs. £69 million, because it's a naughty number. World class CDM. Again, just giving me legs in that midfield. Iniesta and Xavi, both quite old now, in their 30s. Xavi is really old and starting to struggle a little bit. And Wanyama is a good backup for Busquets, who is still a good age and is still my first team in there, but Mascherano, who is his backup, not so good when he's been playing for me, what I've noticed anyway.
Yeah.
So Wanyama comes in, good option for me, and that has allowed me to play the same tactic. I won the league and won the cup with it. Let's have a look then. If I pick best 11, again, Messi goes in there and Hamšík goes there, which is not what I wanted to happen. I played Messi there last season. He had an unbelievable time. Let's keep him there again. So Hamšík does come into the team, which meant that Iniesta and Xavi would just have to come off. In fact, Xavi's gone at this point. Iniesta can just come off the bench. I mean, what a player to come off the bench for you.
Definitely, yeah.
Andre Iniesta. I mean, he's 32 now. Not the best physically, but technically and mentally, one of the best in the world. Schedule. Let's have a look. I'd be in Real Madrid again. Good start to the season.
When I get beat, don't I? God,
you had two sending off as well.
Oh, no, that was bad.
So that's
cost
you.
I mean, I can understand Suarez being sent off. He tried to bite someone, probably.
Yeah.
But Cristiano Ronaldo being sent off, that's very rare.
Probably had a tantrum.
Yeah.
I scored all 5 goals before the 54th minute. Ooh. At one point, I was 5-1 up. Because you had only scored 1.
That's why Suarez got sent off. Then he was niggly when he always used to get niggly. He was so
fuming.
easy to wind up, wasn't he?
So 5-3, an absolute tonkin there. Villarreal 5-1 to start things off. 7-1 against Numancia, and Valencia 3-0 as well. Good start. But my Champions League group is disgusting. PSG and Man City. I don't know how I've managed to wind up with this, but I feel a bit hard done by. Laurent Blanc's PSG, and if you look at their team, it's incredible. They've got Mauro Zarate playing for them, who was very good on this game, but they've of course got Pedro, they've got Verratti, they've got Lucas Moura, they've even got Ashley Cole at this point. They got Pastore, who's one of the best players on the game, Edison Cavani.
Oh, we loved him, didn't we?
Marquinhos, your player, Sami Khedira, Yeremy Menez. I love Yeremy Menez. Blaise Matuidi when he was very good. Victor Valdez, my old player. Yeah, what a team.
Yeah, definitely.
What a team. And they still got Zlatan.
What a legend that guy is.
A very difficult team to face in PSG. And then I've also got to face against Manchester City as well, with Manuel Pellegrini as the manager, and their players are also disgusting too. They've got Nastasic, who's classed as one of their best players, but on this game was a wonder kid. Joe Hart's still there, Vincent Kompany, Samir Nasri, Gael Clichy, Kevin Morales. They signed Wesley Sneijder, Mika Richards is there. Quite interesting. We've actually had a look at Mika Richards a couple of times.
Yeah,
both
did.
of us have gone for right backs. Fernandinho's still there, so yeah, what a team that they've got. And even on their not for sale players, they got Cesc Fabregas, they got Lamela from Spurs, David Silva's still there, Yaya Toure, and Sergio Aguero.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to qualify from this group, but it's going to be very difficult indeed. Let's have a look at your schedule, Dad. We know already you've lost 1 game. That's 1 point to me. Also, you've won 6-1, 6-2,
goals I was scoring until I got to you then.
Very good.
I mean, you score 3 goals at Barcelona, you expect to win, don't you?
I don't know. Not at Messi's Barcelona. I think you're going to concede a lot more. But your Champions League group is a little bit easier than mine. Benfica, Napoli, and Monaco. 3 of the clubs that are on about the same.
I should go through on that.
Yeah, especially because I think we pinched Monaco and Napoli's best players recently. So they don't necessarily have the strongest team. You've got a bit of a gap, but that can all change in just one summer or just one season, just from a Champions League win.
If you get through your Champions League group, I think you deserve to go all the way.
You should do.
Get to the final. You may not win the final because you'll be playing against me.
Yeah, all right. Or Arsenal. Let's simulate this 4th season and see how we get on. Fourth season. How have you clawed that back?
Get in.
Beaten by 10 points as well.
I only lost 2 games, so I only lost 1 more after that then.
Yeah, hopefully it was against me. Look how long I was atop as well, and then you just took over, and I couldn't catch you after that. Yeah, you lost 2 games. 102 points. No. Did you draw against me, though? No. Which means you beat me 7-1.
Oh, get in.
At the Bernabeu. Wow. El Clásicos are fun around this time, aren't they?
So much fun we've had with them, haven't we, eh?
We haven't had a 0-0, that's for sure. Ronaldo with 36 goals, Lukaku with 31, Benzema with 26.
I've noticed when I've won the league, both those 2 players have been in the top 3.
Yeah, Ronaldo also had the highest average rate as well, above Lionel Messi.
No surprise with the assists.
Gareth Bale with 25. As a winger, on that winger role, he has been incredible for you, isn't he?
Done the job for me, hasn't he?
I'd probably say you're unsung hero of this series so far.
100%.
Manuel the most clean sheets, as well as Akinfeev.
Yeah.
So that all 3 of them are up there.
So that's a good buy for me. I'm pleased with that.
Ronaldo and Messi are sharing the man of the matches with 9. With this man here as well, Guillaume Sequeira, who's very good.
Yeah.
Because Granada finished in 3rd.
Unbelievable, eh?
I mean,
Well
they
done.
were miles behind us, 21 points behind me and 31 behind you.
Yeah.
But still, they
It's good.
finished above the likes of Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Well done to them. Okay, we're on Barcelona. Cup competitions. I need one now because you've already picked up 5 points. Oh, no. Semi-final of the Champions League by Chelsea.
Yeah.
You said
and
that
runner-up in the Spanish Cup.
Winner of the Spanish Super Cup. Yes. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. That's what I needed. Again, it's an unbelievable game.
Yeah.
Going into
7
extra
goals
time.
again.
Let's go to Dad. Champions League. We still don't know who's won it. Who won the Spanish Cup? The Copa del Rey. Oh. What?
Yes. Get in.
A second treble.
Oh, get in. Hey, mate. Who's the Cup Kings now?
Yeah.
Get in.
Chelsea in the final.
I ain't got a cabinet big enough for my trophies.
Hopefully you get it. You're getting this all out of your system before Glory Hunter
I am a bit worried about that, yeah.
5-3 against Chelsea after extra time. 114th goal from Luis Suarez and 96th from Quintero there. And the Spanish Cup, which we know is against me, 3-2. 3-2 in 90 minutes as well.
5 goals.
82nd minute, Angel Di Maria, and I hate him.
That was the main reason why I thought Suarez had taken his position, really, wasn't it?
Dad, I was 2-0 up as well. I was 2-0 up. Lionel Messi on the 11th. Dani Alves in the 54th, and you didn't score until the 59th. Quintero was playing. Okay, that's disappointing. No Gareth Bale in the final there. Gareth Bale must have been out injured.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. I had my good team. I had a very good team out. Player I think I was missing was Gundogan, who came off the bench. It's very, very unfortunate.
Cristiano Ronaldo must have been injured as well.
Oh, yeah, Ronaldo. Oh, he's on the bench. That's weird, isn't it? Didn't need him.
We still won, though. He won happy man then, was he?
Oh,
he must have been injured, coming back from injury or something.
Yeah, must have. Okay, disappointing season for me there. Very disappointing because I needed that to close the gap. You've absolutely obliterated me there. 53 goals in 50 appearances from Ronaldo, 38 from Karim Benzema, 21 from Isco, 20 from Hulk, 20 from Di Maria, 18 only from Luis Suarez. Mental. Gareth Bale with 33 assists is the highest. Hulk with 18 is the second highest. That's mental golf in between those two, isn't it? Just shows how unselfish Gareth Bale has been for your team, to be fair. But he is wanted by PSG, and they usually get what they want.
Well, then they've got to cough up with the money, though, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. Okay, your transfer budget, not that you need it, you just want another treble, 117 million.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I bet you will. What am I looking for? 37 goals in... Oh, no. Lukaku got 44. He's higher than Lionel Messi. 37 and 30. Marek Hamsik, 32 and 10. Good signing.
Yeah.
Neymar with 24 and 17. Sadio Mane with 18.
This Neymar played 48 games. He nearly played nearly all the games
He
this season.
did, for a change. He avoided a lot of injuries this season compared to last season. He had a twisted ankle and a bruised ankle. That ankle is causing him a lot of trouble there. Not bad. He's got ankles made of biscuits by the looks of it. Transfer budget, 80 million. That's enough for me to get the right back at the very least. But whether it will be enough to actually challenge next season, we'll have to find out. It's the 4th season. We need one check left. That's the Ballon d'Or. I think it could be Messi because of last season.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's Lionel Messi with Ronaldo, then Romelu Lukaku. So that makes it 5.
That's where we
3.
We should have thought it was going to be. Right?
Yeah,
So.
5-3 in total Ballon d'Ors out of these two, but there's only going to be one left, so Ronaldo can't catch him during this. It's just whether he disrupts it.
We just won the treble, so I think it's his.
I think it is
in the bag,
yours.
isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a feeling
Yeah,
it would
and
be.
he finished league and goal scorer as well, didn't he?
All right, let's have a look at the points tally. So the season points are Omega Luke with a measly 3 and Omega Dad with a total of 16, leaving the total points now Omega Luke with 19, Omega Dad with 42. Right, season number 5. The points tally is, I think, uncatchable. I think blasted me with that. So congratulations. I think you might have won this one. But there's still a 5th and final season for bragging rights purposes. You sold Coentrao to PSG, who wasn't really getting a lot of game time because of Marcelo.
Yeah.
But then you bought a better left back than Marcelo with the money in David Alaba from Bayern Munich.
25 years of age, probably the best left back they had by far. So yeah, I've got him in.
A couple of seasons ahead of why they signed him in real life too. Interesting.
So I mean that just strengthens my defence up even more now.
Yeah. Iker Casillas left and went to Manchester United to play with David Moyes, and you signed Rene Adler as a backup goalkeeper. Good backup.
I think he's a good keeper as well. Yeah. But it's obvious who's going to be my starting goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So
Manuel Neuer. So bringing in another German was quite.
Yeah. That really didn't it? So
yeah. That's a
bit of team spirit for the
hopefully
two.
They're friends.
Yeah.
Right, or hopefully not for me. Anyway, let's have a look. You're keeping with the same tactic, Dad, which is the first time I can confirm Dad has ever kept the same tactic all the way through and not touched a single thing.
Yeah, proves I can do it.
Well, yeah.
But when you've got a team like that, you just wouldn't change your tactic. I mean, my forward line speaks for itself all the way through. I bought 1 or 2 players just to help it along, and it just done the business for me, didn't it?
Yeah.
So all I was doing was strengthening the back 5, 6, as in squad players, and when a player got to a certain age, and the other player came in, so
yep.
Didn't have to
Reyes now
it.
pops into that CDM role after a good first season.
So my left back's come straight in.
Yeah.
But Otamendi's there.
Yeah.
And I was surprised Ramos stayed the whole distance for me. I did honestly think by now one of the other guys that I bought had probably been in that position, but he's only 31, so for a defender, he's still really good.
Yeah, he's class. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at my Barcelona team. What have I been doing this summer? Well, I had rejected a lot of bids, especially from Man United, who kept coming in for Lukaku, but it was never enough money for me to even jump at it because I couldn't find a good enough replacement. He's been quality for me. Dani Alves also wanted to keep going to Man City, but I'm not going to sell a player for £6.75 million when I've only got that in the bank anyway. And I only bought one player, and it was the same player I was trying to get at the end of last summer.
Yeah.
Sakai, good right back who can also play left back, plays on both sides naturally from Stuttgart. £65 million was his release clause. Okay, it's a lot of money for a player that I don't recall ever knowing, but it was either him or Mika Richards, who was anywhere near as good as Dani Alves. So I brought in Sakai, who's just better all round instead of Mika Richards.
He would have just caused chaos in the squad, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So my tactic, I've changed it so I have now 2 strikers and a shadow striker, a Mazzala, a halfback, and a libero on defend. Very interesting.
You were going for full out, weren't you?
Yeah, I've gone for a complete change here for this final season. Pick my best 11. Looks like this. And Messi now goes in the advanced forward role. Lukaku in the complete forward. Shadow striker of Marek Hamšík. And I've got Gundogan in that Mazzala role. I like this. And Kulu in the libero. You'll drop up into here to give us a 2 in holding midfield. So Kai is going to be bombing forward. Yeah, let's see what we can do. I think my favourite signing though is Sadio Mane. He's just been very good and he keeps developing really well.
Yeah.
Actually, I have made another signing. I apologise. I also sold Mascherano to Chelsea and I brought in Victor Fischer. As I recorded earlier, he was a wonder kid in this game. 19 composure, very good attacking midfielder, strong with both feet, £35 million. Been playing a bit of a bit part for Juventus, been off the bench quite a lot, so £35 million was a transfer listed price because he requested to leave, and I'm going to give him some game time. So Victor Fischer comes in. We know Neymar is prone to a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Victor Fischer can play in all 3 of these natural positions that I am playing right now, which I think is very good. Schedule-wise, I haven't played you yet, though. 2-0, 4-1, 6-0, 3-0. It's been a good start, but untested, I would say. Mentioned, don't we? When we change a new tactic, you want to play against a really good team.
Yeah, somewhere just see how it goes.
To see how it goes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think I've been given that. Even, I mean, Granada actually finished 3rd.
Yeah.
So I beat them 3-0.
I mean, the good thing with it is you change it to more of attacking side, and you were scoring quite a few goals, and you only conceded the 1.
Yeah. Champions League fixtures, I've got Bayer Leverkusen, Benfica, AC Milan in my group. Now, what's weird about this is it goes into the same format. However, what we recognized in the last season is if you finish third, you go into the Europa League knockout playoff round, but we didn't see the knockout playoff round.
No.
And it was very bizarre. So I'm not sure whether there's a bug in this database or what. I wouldn't be able to question how to do it because I can't even do anything in the editor. So fair play to the guy who created this database. Everything other than that one little thing, I think has been incredible.
Yeah,
it's
very
been
good.
Very realistic to play an FM14 on FM24.
It's so much fun if you for my age as well, because these players they were just players that in my memory I can remember so well coming through and all that, and it has been fun, isn't it? Because I'd be looking for a player to buy and I thought, oh gosh, I can remember him. I'm having him. The Hulk situation was a prime example, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as I seen the Hulk available, I bought him in, didn't I? Yeah. So it was good, really. I have really enjoyed this one.
Okay, I bet you have. 2 trebles. Let's have a look then at Dad's fixtures so far at the start of this season. Very good.
Yeah.
You beat Napoli in the Super Cup. You played against them the last time you had the Super Cup, didn't you? 4-0 Sporting Gijon, 7-1 against Espanyol, 4-1 against Valencia.
That's a good win, and that's a good win. So I've played a couple of good sides as well.
Yeah.
So I was pleased with this start.
And look at your Champions League group, Dad. Man City and PSG.
And Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Welcome to hell.
Manchester City still got Pellegrini, still got Aguero, still got all those good players. And PSG still got Laurent Blanc, still got all of those good players.
Yeah. Hard group to get through, that is.
Very difficult group.
It's an easy slip-up group, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a banana skin in there, definitely.
I managed to get out of it, though, last time.
Yeah, you did, yeah. So, pressure's on me now.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then. 5th and final season. Less simulated. The points tally, of course, is 19 to 42, so I don't think I'll be getting anywhere close, but I can give it my best shot. Let's just try and bring the gap a little bit closer, shall we? Let's simulate this 5th season. 5th and final season, champions, 10 points as well. You only just finished 2nd.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I mean, I say only, goal difference of 94 to 35. I think it's on head-to-head as well, so you would have had to have lost to Valencia to drop points, but I won by 10
So we come first and
points.
second of every season, didn't we?
Yeah, which,
so it
as
was
expected,
always going to be against whoever won.
I do think Atletico won the league during this period in real life, so we've stopped that from happening in real life. 3 losses. None against you. Woohoo! A pure season. I did draw 4 games. 4-4. Whenever we draw, it's like...
It was 5 each from the end.
Yeah, unbelievable. At home, which meant I beat you at the Bernabeu again. 5-4. Honestly.
Oh, dear.
What a period of time this would have been. I mean, El Clasico is always fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, the
made it
games
so
that
interesting,
we have
didn't we?
had.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I don't think we've ever had a result under 3-2.
No.
It's all. I mean, it's been chop and change and who wins, but we've had some absolute stompings. We've had 5-4s, 5-5s. It's been so fun. That was the league for this season. Romelu Lukaku with 37, Lionel Messi with 30.
Yeah. So that's why I lost the league.
Yeah.
Because look at the average ratings. Look, all 3.
Yeah, all 3 of mine. Victor Fisher, yeah, well done. Neymar.
That's the big one.
Wow.
That's the big one.
Neymar played a lot of games. Yeah. You had the highest clean sheets, and I wasn't there. Victor Valdez is back in the division. Yeah. Playing for Valencia, who finished in 3rd place. So well done to them, who got 12 clean sheets in total. Busquets got same yellow cards as Sergio Ramos, as well as Nkulu, who got 12. Very good season. We're on Barcelona. Did I win anything else? No. And this is what I mean about the group stage. I was knocked out in the group stage. Didn't play in the Europa League.
I think the biggest surprise there is Benfica. Nothing against Benfica, because I love Benfica. You know that, guys.
They lost none.
No games in that. I mean, that was a hard group.
Should have been knocked out there. I lost 2 games against Milan and Benfica, and drew 2 against Benfica and Milan. So I only beat Bayer Leverkusen. That's a shame. The Spanish Super Cup. It's another 2 points on penalties.
I'm getting absolutely stuffed this season, aren't I?
3-3.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I'm so confused with that. I clicked on it. You haven't won the Champions League. Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I clicked on it. I wanted to see what I did after.
So I've had a real bad season. Last season.
Let's have a look and find out. Competitions. You won the Spanish Cup.
Yes, get it.
You didn't knock me out of it though, but you won the Spanish Cup. You beat Sporting Gijon 3-0 in the final.
So I won something every season.
Yeah. The semi-final first leg, you won 13-1. You beat them 18-3.
That's some semi-final, isn't it?
Yeah. Why did they turn up the second leg?
I don't know.
It would have been better for them to forfeit.
They were never going to win it, were they?
No, that is absolutely mental. 18-3 in a semi-final. Absolutely crazy. Right, okay. That's like NFL scores. You're basically playing rugby against them. That's crazy. Okay, I'm so confused then.
I got to the semi-final.
Yeah.
So I got through that group.
Yeah, you did. Semi-final, eliminated by Juventus. Quarter-final, you knocked out PSG.
Ooh.
So you had them in your group and then faced them in the Milan 6-1 there. You won your group, knocking out Man City. So you only lost one game against Man City. You drew 3. You drew Galatasaray twice.
Yeah.
You beat Man City and PSG once. I'm really confused why then I didn't go into Europa League.
Yeah.
But never mind. That's fine. I wouldn't have caught you anyway if I did
say,
win that.
you might have got extra points for going. I mean, you probably would have had the best team in the Europa League.
Yeah.
So the chances are you probably gone on and won it. But
yeah.
You wouldn't have caught me though.
No, definitely not. Final season then. Ronaldo got 43 and 45. Luis Suarez got 31 and 15. Hulk 23 and 23. That's your best signing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That first season.
Yeah.
Especially for the amount of money that you paid for him, only £25 million. That's definitely been your best sign. But I think your best player has been Gareth Bale.
100%.
I think he has been absolutely incredible for you.
Cristiano Ronaldo scores the goals and all that, but the assist that he had to set everything up. If he had a good season, we won.
Yeah.
And that's what it was down to, really.
Yeah, even Morata had a good season. Like 13 goals. I mean, he's 25 now. He would have moved, I think, to Chelsea by now. But there we go. Barcelona, then. How have I done this season? 40 goals and 37 appearances from Romelu Lukaku. That's very good. 35 from Lionel Messi with 17 assists. That's okay. My favourite sign has been Mane, but I think Lukaku's been my best sign.
Yeah, the last 2 seasons, he's been your leading goal scorer.
Yeah,
so
he's been incredible.
Anybody who beats Messi, leading goal scorer in that team, has got to be had a hell of a season.
Yeah, I agree. Before we have a look at the points tally, though, transfer budgets, because if you want to take over these saves on the Patreon, you can on the £5 tier or on the channel memberships. Patreon.com/MegaLoopGaming, or just press join underneath the video. Have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
If you want to take these over, the save game file will be here on there right now. And I've got £66 million in the Barcelona budget, and I bet you've got more. 82. Not as much as what you've been rocking around with, but a lot more than me. Final thing to check then. Let's have a look at the Ballon d'Or before we check the final points tally. Ronaldo. Yeah, after that treble win.
Yeah.
5-4 in total for Ballon d'Ors. If you do continue this on, let us know who continues to win the Ballon d'Or. What is the final score of Ballon d'Ors if you went to the present day, which means you would have to go another 5 seasons. So if you do go 5 seasons, let us know what the Ballon d'Or score is.
I said that the interesting bit there would be Lukaku scored more goals than Messi.
Whether he overtakes him.
Whether he wins the Ballon d'Or, because Ronaldo didn't have a good season.
No.
So that puts Lukaku better than Messi that the season just finished.
Yeah, he could win it. I mean, he finished 3rd in one season.
Yeah.
And then at 3rd place there, and behind Ronaldo in 2nd place. But there we go. Points tally then. I think we know he's won, but let's have a look. So in this final season, then the season points is Omega Luke with 7, Omega Dad with 3, which means the total points, Omega Luke with 26, Omega Dad with 45. Well, congratulations, Dad. You won the retro database versus rebuild. A lot of fun, this one, I must admit.
Was, yeah. We did have a bit of fun, this one, yeah.
I just wasn't taking it seriously, so.
To be honest with you, it was going to be a real fun one because it was the best 2 teams, and it was just down to whose tactic really worked. Better, I think, because we both played good tactics.
Yeah.
But I think my tactic was with the players that I had was just a little bit better than your tactic. Really.
I think that final tactic, the final 5th season, if I had that from the beginning, it would have been an interesting one because that one wiped the floor.
I mean, when you played that tactic as well, you said right at the beginning of that season, you said, I can't win this now. I'm going to try something that I wanted to do was put Messi up front with someone else. Yeah. And it worked for you. Yeah. So it was a pity really you didn't do it at the beginning of the chat, just to see how it went. But
I went to be too realistic instead of... I made your mistake.
Yeah.
And you were doing what I normally do.
Yeah.
You were going by what's good in FM. I was going by my nostalgia and wanting to play the 4-3-3 Barcelona style.
Because you kept on moving Messi out, didn't you? And the assistant wanted to put him in the centre, but you kept on wanting to put him out. Where I was letting Ronaldo, if he moved Ronaldo out right, which he did a few times, I just let him go with it. Yeah. Because the players I knew were in his positions must have been playing really well. Yeah, absolutely. And it proved it because they came in. Hulk won the Champions League for me 1 year. Yeah. Gareth Bale won it for me another year, and they were changing him around as well. Yeah, he was even dropping Bale, wasn't he? Sometimes. I stuck with the tactic, and it worked for me. It's El Clasico time today for this rebuild battle of Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
And with my dad wanting to be Real Madrid as always, I needed to even the playing field. Barcelona are financially in a mess, and dad would destroy me with this current Real Madrid side. Because we were also starting this rebuild from the start of this season coming up, where he has Kylian Mbappe playing up front for him. So we have also decided to remove all the debts from Barcelona's accounts, so financially, they should be a lot better off to challenge Real Madrid. So it's 1v1, Omega Luke versus Omega Dad, Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Here we go. A reminder of the points tally is as follows. You gain 1 point for a higher league finish, 1 point for a victory over each other, 1 point for eliminating each other from a cup competition, 3 points for a domestic cup win, 4 points for a domestic league win, 5 points for a Europa/Europa Conference win, and 7 points for the Champions League win. Dad, we're back doing El Clasico.
Yeah, we like this one, don't we? The big one.
It's been a while, actually.
It has been a while, yeah.
The last time we did was a retro one, so it's good to do it now with some updated transfers. I say updated transfers. You've got Mbappe. I've got nobody yet, but what we have done to even out the playing field, we think, is get rid of Barcelona's debts, because the Barcelona debts mean that they get no money, whereas Real Madrid just keep raking in the money, and they have the way better team right now. Still think you have the advantage because Real Madrid are far better side, but it gives me a little bit of a chance and a little bit of hope if I actually get some transfer budgets.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
To start competing. We haven't signed anybody in this first season because we used the updated database where it doesn't give you any budgets, and I was like, well, let's just leave it at that, to be honest. You've got Mbappe. I've got
that's like a new
basically nobody, but we'll rock with it anyway. You've decided to go for a 4-2-2, and you've got Jude Bellingham in that attacking
I didn't lock him in
role.
that decision because he wanted to drop him down into the midfield, into the bottom part. So I wanted to play him more attacking.
So if you went pick without restriction, the best 11 outside of that, it puts Rodrigo and Mbappe up there. We've got Vinicius Jr., Camavinga, Modric still in the lineup there. And even on the bench, you've got the likes of Endrick and Tchouaméni. Some big signings, even Arda there too. Let's have a look then at my Barcelona side. Of course, no signings on the Barcelona team either. And I don't actually think they've made a signing this summer. I don't think so.
I'm not aware, I don't know.
No, so I've decided to go for, I mean, they've got a couple of players that were in on loan. So they've got them back now. Like Ansu Fati, for instance, and people like that. So that could actually help me, to be fair, in some ways. Now, I've decided to go for a 4-1-4-1. And yes, it does look incredibly defensive, but I've got it on attacking mentality. I'm pushing these players forward. And if I do best pick without restriction, the unpicked positions, because I want Lamine Yamal to stay there, this is what it looks like. Now, I don't know why it's got Christensen as a regista. Normally, that's Frankie de Jong. That's absolutely daft. That it would look like that normally. Yeah. Lewandowski, however long he has left, because he's 36 now. That's might be his last season. He might do one more, but we'll soon find out, I guess. Let's have a look then, because I've got some big players on the bench as well. The likes of Gavi and Ansu Fati, even Ferran Torres is quite a player on this. To be fair, some weaknesses I think definitely in defence in terms of the amount of players that they've got in there, and even a right back possibly. Let's have a look at the schedules for both sides then. So far, I've lost the game 3-4 to Villarreal. Difficult game, I guess, but still disappointing in some ways. Valencia 2-0, Mallorca 1-0. That's absolutely fine. And the transfer window closed on 31st of August. And I do have a game that day, but as soon as the transfer window closes, that's when we're rocking and rolling. Champions League phase. Let's have a look at my games in that. I've got Liverpool, Porto, Bilbao, Rennes. Man City, though, and ending with Tottenham.
Spurs as well, so you got 3 top England sides there.
Yeah, well, 2 and Spurs. That's too easy.
I just give it to you, didn't I, really?
I
gave you that one.
too easy. Come on. Let's have a look at Real Madrid side then, and your schedule. You have played Girona. And you beat them 4-0. You also beat Alaves 7-0. However, you've also dropped points.
Yes,
against Elche, 90th minute winner.
I was a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah. So it kind of gives me a bit of hope that, I might be competitive this season. Champions League. You've got Villa, Atletico Madrid, Leipzig. You've also got Liverpool.
Yeah. I've got an easier group than you have.
Yeah. Well, the get fixtures.
League
fixtures,
definitely.
Yeah. Madrid derby, though, in Champions League just don't feel right, does it?
Don't.
That shouldn't happen until the knockouts, really, in my opinion. But there we go. You're aware of the point system. You're aware that we've got the new transfers. Let's get this rebuild on the way. It's El Clasico time and simulate season number 1. Now, I didn't balls it up and save it a wrong point. But yes, Dad, you won the season by a point. I actually lost one less game as well.
Yeah.
Didn't lose against you, though. So although you get the 4 points to kick things off, there's no extra point for beating me. However, I also didn't beat you. Out of the 3 games you drew, 2 of them were against me, and they were both 2-all draws. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Good season. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so you win
Scored
the
a lot
league
of
title.
goals.
We can't see the statistics because we forgot to save it after. Let's have a look at the cup. Now, in the quarterfinal of the Copa del Rey, Dad knocked me out 3-2, and he went on to win the cup as well. So that's a domestic double straight off the bat. You get 3 points for that, plus another 2 points for knocking me out of the competition to begin with. So that is already a bit of a kick.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Right to my penis.
Yeah.
Because that one hurts. Absolutely, that one hurts. But there was another game where we played against each other. And that was in the Super Cup. And Dad also come away with another couple of points there. Well, actually 1 point because you beat me.
Kick
Yeah,
well,
we don't count the cup, the Super Cup, as a competition where you get points to win, but because we played against each other, that is a match in which you actually take some points. So it looks like I'm down and out, and you've battered me in season number 1. The only competition we had left was the Champions League. And guess what happened there? Well, I knocked Dad out of the Champions League. We literally played against each other in every competition possible.
Yeah.
But I did knock you out, so I get a point for beating you.
6-4 on aggregate.
And then a point for knocking you out. Unfortunately, the other game was 2-all, so nobody gets points for that. So I only gained 2 points out of that. And annoyingly, with that opportunity, I was eliminated by PSG in the next round, who actually went on to win and beat Benfica in the final. So fair play to Benfica.
Yeah, we missed a big chance there, didn't we?
Yeah, they also had the curse still going on.
Yes.
So that's very unfortunate. But in their first season to get to the final that's some doing that. So that's a big opportunity missed for me, I think.
Definitely. You needed that.
Yeah, because you've absolutely slapped me with those points. Now, we can't show you the player statistics, of course, because we've got a little bit further, or the transfers. Let's have a look at the points tally, and then from season 2, we'll remember to do it properly, I promise. So the season points for season number 1 is Omega Luke with 2, and Omega Dad with 10. Now, with that little blip out the way, let's focus on season number 2. I'll tell you, content creation's hard, guys. All right, little things like remembering to save the game has made the way we had to pivot in a different way. Transfer window throughout the summer of season number 2 was a very busy one for both me and Dad. We both spent a fair amount of money. Let's have a look at my Barcelona transfer window. Now, this is like financial fair play doesn't count by the looks of this, because I had no money coming in, but I had Arthur Theat as my last signing. I needed a left-footed centre-back. Arthur Theat is a good player, so I brought him in. And then I also spent £214 million. I mean, I did sell Eric Garcia, I did sell Clement Longley, but I brought in Alexander Isak for a lot of money, but I do think he's worth it. Lewandowski has retired.
Yes.
That was the big thing for me that happened this summer. I needed to bring in a better striker, or a striker from what I had, because I didn't really have a striker, an out-and-out one. So Alexander Isak comes in for 130 million up to 122. I'm already training to beat the offside trap. Very pacey, obviously, and he's kind of exactly what I need, I believe, with the tactic I'm trying to implement. And then Kvaratskhelia has joined the club as well. Obviously lit up the Euros. A fantastic player. People call him Maradona because of his likeness to Maradona on the wings. And to be fair, he looks like a Barcelona player to me.
Yeah.
If there's a club that I think he will go to in his career, Barcelona is that club, in my opinion. So I thought I'd make the decision to bring him to the club. He's done quite well, but for £101 million, 5 goals in 4 appearances and an assist so far is an unbelievable start.
2 player of the matches as well. That's good as well.
Very happy with his start. So, Kvicha, welcome to the club. Let's hope you're going to be here for a while. Tactically then, I've gone exactly the same, but I want Jules Koundé and Lamine Yamal to play on that right-hand side. So, Lamine Yamal breaking into the first team last season, playing him as much as possible here. Again, unpicked positions. we can see it actually does change it a little bit. Why would we want Romeo there? I don't understand why it does that, but there we go. That's very no, it's not. It's not similar at all. Why is it doing that? So let's go best 11 pick. Okay, very similar, but all we need is Lamine Yamal there, and I want those two switched around. That is what I'm looking at as my best 11. So I think that's okay.
Yeah.
The Regista and De Jong works quite well with these two very creative attacking centre midfielders in front of them. Kvaratskhelia now on the left instead of Ansu Fati, who is actually picked up a cruciate ligament injury at the in the middle of the season, which makes me really glad that I picked up Kvaratskhelia now, and Isak running the line for me up front. I'm happy with that. I do think it's slightly better than the team we went into last season with, although I was only a point behind. I'm kind of happy. Let's see what we can do with this. Dad, though, you spent another £322 million plus another £52 million on Mark Gahey, who we all know all about already. I would say, by the way, England's best player in the Euros.
Yes, definitely, yeah. I think
Most
so.
consistent,
yeah.
Best player, only missed one game, and I think Konsa did very well in that. But Mark Gahey was unbelievable in that tournament. Let's have a look, though. Dani Olmo, again, another player who did really well in the Euros, to be fair, coming off the bench. But
just strengthening my midfield up, really.
Yeah. Funny enough, came through La Masia Academy. So he came through Barcelona's youth academy before he went to Dinamo Zagreb and left.
He's going to be more my replacement for Bellingham if he gets injured.
Yeah.
That's what I've got him in for, really. So he might not even make my first team.
Unbelievable. A player of Dani Olmo's talents, not even getting into the team. You signed Christian Romero, which...
Yes. I'm strengthening my defence up now. Here we go.
Did shock me, bringing in Mr. Yellow Card.
Yes, I know, yeah. But on here, he doesn't get many yellow cards, but in real life, he
with
gets...
aggression of 20.
You know what I'm like with my aggression, man. I've got to have a bit of it.
Rico Lewis.
Yeah, let's just... I've got him in for the future. He won't make my first team just yet.
£70 million won't make my first team.
Well, this is the problem when you got such a good team.
Yeah.
You are trying to sort of like have a replacement for when they leave or when you sell the player, but you got a replacement for when they get injured as well, haven't you? I mean, this guy,
Udogie,
he's going into the first team.
Do you just want to sign all Tottenham's players? Is that what it is?
I'm just proving the point, mate, that the Spurs players is just as good as that other team.
No, it's these amazing players should not be playing for Spurs. You did sell Rudiger, though.
Yes.
He wanted to leave.
He wanted to leave, yeah.
Yeah, £27 million, good amount for
he's
32-year-old.
What, 31? Yeah, 32 now, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
No.
There's your transfer window of Mark Gahey joining at the end there from Crystal Palace on deadline day. So that was your final signing there. Player that can play both left and right.
Just really strengthen my defence now.
Yeah.
They really are.
So two replacements in at the back there. Gone with pretty much the same similar tactic there. I don't think you tweaked it at all, really, did you? Then best 11 does see Bellingham drop into that role instead, but you don't mind that when you've got the likes of Dani Olmo up there. Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, what a front three that is. Still got some unbelievable players on the bench, like the likes of Endrick, who will play a few more games. Tchouameni's asking for some game time because he's not really getting it with Camavinga and Bellingham, but it's like, well, bro, who are you going to drop?
This is the problem.
A bit hard, isn't it?
I mean, I know you can go on Mbappe now and just see how many goals he scored last season with the first season with us.
41 in 32 games. He's already got 10 in 4. Mental. In his first season. Yeah.
So you already know I've had a good start.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at it then. Your schedule so far, Dad. We haven't played each other. That is the next game on the calendar. But
you got to be sweating when we banging in goals like this, though.
I ain't sweating. I've got a good record. Right, let's have a look. So 4-1, 6-1 against Sevilla of all teams as well. That's a hammering against Sevilla. 4-0 against Girona. I really hope the Girona team don't get picked apart this year after their really good season. I mean,
such a good season.
Yeah, I've already seen Dovbix getting kind of scouted a lot by Atletico Madrid. Looks like he might go there. Obviously, Savio's not at the club anymore. I hope they don't get picked apart too much. Las Palmas 5-0. That's a nice easy win as well. And obviously the 4-1 against Almeria. Almeria? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably not. Let's have a look at your Champions League fixtures. So you've got Chelsea, Sevilla, Fenerbahce, PSV Eindhoven, Man City, Atalanta, Lens, and Marseille. Lens, by the way, is the rebuild we did last week. If you haven't checked that out yet, a little bit of a spin to it. And I meant literally. We put a wheel in there. We put some Wonder Kids on there. I was Lens, Dad was Leo. It was a lot of fun. Go watch it if you haven't done so after this video. Let's have a look at the Barcelona schedule so far. So I'm sticking with that very solid 4-1-4-1 tactic, attacking wise though. And this is why I'm not worried, Dad.
No.
This is why I'm not worried. I've only conceded 1 goal. You've conceded 2. But I've scored 5 goals twice against Bilbao and Elche. 2-0 against Sporting Gijon. and 3-1 against Eibar. So I'm also hot on fire right now. I've also got to play Man City and Atalanta, just like you have to in the Champions League, and Marseille.
Yeah.
Inter Milan, Ajax.
And Fenerbahce.
Yeah, I've got some tricky games in there. I think I've got the harder one out of the two of us again, but I need some catching up to do. I really do need some catching up to. You had a big season last season, and it's 10-2 on points. I need the points this season. Let's simulate season number 2. Speaking of El Club, season 2. Come on.
5 points.
Back, baby. Look at that.
Didn't lose a
Invincible season. Didn't lose a single game. Yeah. Which means no points for Omega Dad either. However, Dad, you lost 3 games. One of them was against me in an El Clasico. 3-0. So that's another point. That's 5 points on the board straight away.
And you scored more goals than me as well.
Scored a lot of goals and conceded less. I mean, you had 101 points in 38 games and didn't win the league. Yes. That is
robbed.
Mental, really, isn't it? When you think about it.
Yeah.
Getting 101 points and you still 5 points behind the leaders.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. I mean, that's worse than when Liverpool had like 94 points and didn't win the Premier League, which was hilarious, by the way.
I'm not going to take that. Like you did last season, you took it. You said it was a good season for you. That's still a good season for me. Like you say, 101 points.
Yeah,
I've got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
It's just that you haven't lost a game, so you deserve to win the league.
I drew 4 games in total. One of them was against you, of course, away from home at the Bernabeu. 2-2, 2-0 against Sevilla, 0-0 against Sociedad, and 1-1 against Celta Vigo. Player statistics though, Dad. Mbappe got 44 goals, Isaac got 36. So a stupid amount of goals between our 2 strikers there. And then our 2 attacking creative players also got
in there as
24 and 20. You dominated the average ratings though. You had the top 3 in the average ratings. I had the 2 after you. And clean sheets, your goalkeeper had more clean sheets than me, but I guess I just conceded less overall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm quite curious about the player statistics in terms of the assists. So Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. both had the most there with 21 and 19.
And they're my wingers, so
they're
just
doing
their job.
Feeding Mbappe, aren't they? So that's the trouble there for me. Is got to be very cautious of that. Okay, we're on Barcelona though. I need a domestic double after the one that you had last season. Yes! And it happened. And I didn't lose the Super Cup to you, which means I stay away from dropping points to you there. So the Copa del Rey final, I played Girona and beat them 2-1. I could have done with beating you there, but a nice little domestic double.
You would have knocked me out though, mate.
That's possible, yeah. But that's another 3 points added on.
Girona though, getting to the final.
Yeah, fair play to them. I was knocked out of the Champions League by RB Leipzig. So that says nothing about how you've done. How did you do? Oh, yes.
Get in, you.
Really have done without that. Really have done without that. Beating Arsenal, 89th minute.
We had a good side. I got 101 points. I was robbed.
Yeah, but I was trying to catch you up, and then you chuck a Champions League.
What a team to beat as well.
7 points at me. Yeah,
get the Spurs players in, and then we beat the champions.
The only good North London side. League phase. You deserve to win that. 0 losses in there. Drew to Marseille, though. Maybe not. I lost 3 games, Ajax, Marseille, and Manchester City away from home. So maybe defensively I wasn't that good, but there we go. Let's have a look then into the knockout playoff round. I eliminated, that was where I was eliminated, sorry, by Leipzig. You went through the round of 16 though. You knocked out Leipzig right after, so we'd have faced each other. Damn, that's annoying. Quarter-final, you knocked out Liverpool, so you're knocking out some big clubs along the way. And PSG, last year's winners on penalties. Oh, it makes me feel sick. Goals-wise, how many did he get in total? 66 and 52.
That's so naughty, isn't it? God almighty.
Jesus.
Get in there.
I mean, Vinicius had 28 and 35, which is mental. Still really good.
Yeah.
Transfer budget for next season, 256. What the hell are you going to spend that on? That's mental. Let's have a look at mine then. 50 goals from Isaac.
It's good.
Got to be happy with that, actually.
In 52 games, you've got to be good, yeah.
Kvaratskhelia with 26 and 21, so that's good. 16 and 21 for Lamine Yamal at 18. Unbelievable talent. Do you think he's going to be as good as Messi? Do you think he's going to be putting up numbers as a prediction? As somebody who's only seen him, really, at the back end of this season?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's too early at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd like to think so, but I just don't think you're going to see anybody as good as Messi.
Yeah,
again.
Especially this close to Messi.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future we will see a player that's almost as good or better.
What I'm going to say now, probably some people might not agree with, but go back to when Messi started. I think the standard of football wasn't as good then in Spain as it is now.
Yeah.
So this guy's coming through at a very good standard, which he's got to be to be as good as Messi, he's got to be better than Messi because he's playing against better players. Because they're more athletes now, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, they take things a lot more seriously now. They live better and all that than when Messi started at Barcelona.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think it'd be as good, but I still think it'd be good.
I think timing-wise has really helped him because Barcelona are in a part right now where they can't spend big on players, and they're almost going for a bit of a rebuild. Obviously, a position came up which allowed Lamine Yamal to actually start games.
Yeah.
If he came through 10 years ago, he's not playing, is he?
No, he wouldn't get into the squad.
Because you had Messi.
Yeah.
You had Messi there. You had Suarez there. You know, Neymar. Like, he's not going to get a game.
He would have never played for Spain in the European Championships.
God, no, absolutely not. But, I mean, he does definitely have an aura about him.
Oh, yeah.
And you can clearly see, maturity-wise, he's not just the guy with all the bells and whistles. He does the defensive work as well. In the Euros final, he was kept quiet for Luke Shaw in the first half. And in the second half, it was like, oh, he's had a couple of chances there. And he got took off.
He done two things, really. He set up one of the goals, and he also hit a shot that, Pickford pulled off a good save from it.
Yeah.
So he nearly scored. He nearly scored and created a goal.
Yeah.
And these strikers, you give them 2 or 3 chances, they will punish you for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he did punish England for it.
And I think it hasn't been said yet. He shares the same birthday as you.
Hey.
So just about 80 years difference. But there we go.
When it was the day of my birthday was the day before the final, wasn't it? So I was hoping it was going to be an happy birthday present for me, for England to win. But obviously he got his present and Spain won. So.
Yeah. When he turned 17.
Yeah, 17.
17. Mental.
So bad, isn't it? But good luck to the fella.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your predictions for Lamine Yamal? Can you see him have an iconic career like a Messi, or is it going to be just a very good career? Kind of like what we're seeing Mbappe have at the minute.
Yeah.
It's not like taking the world by storm. It's like, all right, we can see Mbappe's good. He hasn't really won much yet. Until he goes to Real Madrid.
To do what Messi done as well, I think you need the players around him. So it really all depends on what Barcelona get.
I mean, Neymar was as a prime example of a guy that never really lived up to what people thought he could achieve. No. Obviously, he's won everything in the game, but by 29, his career was like done. Yeah. Really, wasn't it? He's at PSG. You don't see him do anything now. You know, he's gone to Saudi. He's injured. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, when Neymar burst onto the scene, we were like, whoa, this guy is going to be the next big thing. Hey.
A bit like Gascoigne really as well, isn't it? He come onto the scene, he was really good, got a bad injury, messed about a bit too much, sometimes, and what could have been really good just turned out to be...
Will Lamine Yamal be the Lionel Messi, or will he be the Dele Alli? Let us know down in the comments.
Let's hope he's Lionel Messi, because I'm with the guy. I'd like seeing young players like that coming through.
I agree, transfer budget then. Let's have a look at my transfer budget. I've got £200 million, so that's a good budget for me. Don't know where I'm going to spend it yet. I'll have to have a little play around in the summer, but let's have a look at that points tally, shall we? Yes, the season points is Omega Luke with 8 and Omega Dad with that 1 Champions League win, 7 points. Meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 10 and Omega Dad with 17. I could have really done with you not winning that Champions League. That really put the points tally back into your favour, where it looked like I was applying the pressure again.
You had a good season. I won 1 cup and it worked out even, didn't it? So.
Yeah, that's annoying for me. But there we go. Let's have a look at the transfer window and what I managed to bring in. So we start off, I also went for a Spurs player in Mickey van der Ven.
What a team we've got at the moment.
I mean, the Dutch and Barcelona, they always have an iconic link throughout history, and this guy comes in as a good left back, or a good centre back who is left footed, of course, but that pace of 19 and the strength of 15 just means he is a secret weapon at the back, really. And £75 million is a lot of money, but for a defender, when you have the money that we have at Barcelona, it's hard to get a better defender in. So I think that's what we have to do there. Yeremy Pino, this move, obviously Nico Williams is the guy they're actually after. I could see Yeremy Pino ending up at one of the 2 big clubs in Spain, because I think he could be that good as well. He's all right on this as well. 23 years of age, £60 million he was transfer listed for, so I pulled the trigger. And then my star boy, Kobbie Mainoo, 21 years of age.
Another one I was impressed with at the Euros.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Considering obviously he started on the bench, he came on a couple of times, really put himself about a bit, and I think the only game he had a bad game in was the final.
Yeah.
And that's a shame. It wasn't
seemed-
really a bad game. It was just a really quiet game.
Yeah. He seemed to link the midfield with the attack force a little bit better than what anybody else was doing at the time, didn't he? So
Yeah, but he put in some star performances.
looking forward
definitely.
to watching him play for the next few years.
Oh yes, especially in that Manchester United shirt. Now I've actually taken him away from Manchester United for £135 million, and if you ask me, he's worth more than double that. Kobe Mainoo joins the club. I've got him as a long-term replacement for Frankie de Jong. If I ever need to sell Frankie de Jong, then that's an easy choice for me because he's still got a bit of potential left. The 21-year-old can still play right now, but if I need him to, I think he can grow into an even better player. But that is my signings there. And then I didn't really sell any players, really. Same kind of squad that we had recently, to be fair. And I'm going with that tactic again. An unbeaten season.
Don't change your tactics when you win the league.
No, that's it. Lamine Yamal still on that right-hand side because if I did pick without restriction best 11, Yeremy Pino goes there, but I don't necessarily want that to happen. I think Yamal has a better future, so let's keep it like that. The rest of the side kind of picks itself, to be fair, but I think my bench is now a lot stronger with those signings that I have made in Mickey van der Ven and Kobe Mainoo especially. Let's have a look at you, Dad. You spent some money too. Now, you've actually sold Ferland Mendy there for £34 million. Another £25 million went out with the likes of Dani Ceballos and Fran Garcia going out, but
just getting rid of fringe players, really, aren't we?
yeah, this signing on a free.
On a freebie. I mean, when he popped up, I thought, there's no way I'm missing out on this on a freebie. So I just pulled the trigger and got
Yeah,
rid of
because you
it
really
quickly.
needed a striker, didn't you?
Imagine what it's going to be like with them two up front, though, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to stick to just one up front for the whole the 5 seasons, but when this guy comes up for a freebie, you just got to take advantage of it, haven't you?
I mean, it does
You
look
change
like,
the tactics.
in real life, ironically, he is going to be Mbappe's replacement.
Yeah.
It looks like they're about to pull the trigger and bring Victor Osimhen to PSG. As
wish
that
Spurs would
Mbappe.
do it. I wish Spurs would do it.
As if he'd go to Spurs. He'd go, who? And they go, Tottenham Hotspur from North London. And it'd be like when Robinho signed for Man City. They go, I thought there was only one club in North London. Do you remember when Robinho signed for Man City? And he was like, I didn't realise Man City was a thing. He thought he was signing for Man United. It's a true story, that is, as well. Then we got 2 more Tottenham players coming in, by the way. Unbelievable. Sarr.
Yeah, this guy's good as well. This is another young guy I'm looking forward to watching. If he can break into the team, that is.
Yeah, £75 million from Tottenham.
Yeah.
Pedro Porro for £91 million.
Hey, what a defence I got. Nearly a whole
Spanish
Spurs
link
defence.
there. Yeah. Surprised me he's never really played for a big Spanish club
No.
yet, but that might happen in his career later on when he realises the error of his ways signing for Spurs. And then you got Jarell Hato for £115 million. Not to put pressure on you, kid, but
He plays 2 positions as well, and it just sort of gives me strength in the squad. Same
Okay.
as you. I mean, I'm the same as you. It's like you got to spend a lot of money to get as good as or better. This is probably as good as, but he's
Okay.
young as well.
all right. Are you going to play him though? Because
Oh,
your
gonna-
like record of developing youngsters when you buy them is
I know.
atrocious.
I buy for now. I'm only playing against you for 5 seasons. Why would I want to buy a player that's going to be good in 7 seasons?
Right,
I'm
well,
buying for now. But
just
this guy
to let
here,
you know,
this
right.
guy here is for the bench because I got the Spurs boys are in.
115 million to sit on the bench. Right, just to let you all know watching right now. Obviously, last week I uploaded the Ajax Youth to Gold. A very good video. One of my favourites of FM24 this year. When I explained it to Dad, he goes, I might give Youth to Gold a go. And I said, well, the reason why I've never asked you to do it is because you are terrible at developing youngsters because you only see the here and now. You don't see into the future. So I've explained the
gotta learn.
rules. He's picked a club. Dad is starting a Youth to Go. So if that isn't a reason for you to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, then that is your reason. Subscribe to see Dad's Youth to Gold.
Got to give it a go. I've got to learn how to do it properly.
And it's not the Wrens one that is about to come out either, although we all hate them. It's actually with a club I love. So maybe that's a clue of who it is. Those are the signings that you made.
Yeah.
Tactically, you've changed it.
Oh, I had to, didn't I? Got to put the boy up front, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, you had to. You only won the Champions League.
Didn't change it much, though. One position. Just slid him up into that attacking role.
All right, back to his classic one support role in the whole team. You're either attack, defense, or you're Udogi.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite formations, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, the other 2 seasons you had was basically this anyway. 4-2-2, basically. with Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. on the wings now that you've got Osimhen and Mbappe up front.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your schedule then. So you've played in the UEFA Super Cup, beaten final, so fair play to them. They won the... did you see they changed their badge, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Unbelievable change. They removed the little gold line that goes down beyond the F and moved the F like that.
Did they?
That was all they changed. But that's, iconic.
I bet that cost millions.
Yeah, they probably got a graphic designer in,
Yeah.
and that costs so much money.
He was there for weeks trying to sort that out.
Yeah. 5-0 against Real Sociedad. That was a great start to the season. You did draw in the Madrid derby, but you did have 10 men because Mark Gahey got himself sent off after 35 minutes. Valencia 3-1 against them, and then 4-0 against Las Palmas, who clearly don't like playing you.
No.
Champions League fixtures, let's have a look at them. What you've got: Liverpool and Porto again. I feel like you've played them every single year.
Yeah.
Feyenoord again, and obviously you like a bit of Feyenoord.
Yeah,
nothing
they're
against
one of my
Feyenoord.
favourite teams. Yeah, I like them.
I think we don't like though.
I got after the rebuild, I got nothing to do. I got nothing but love for Rennes. Love them, like the French love.
No, I won't be showing that video any love. Okay, so let's have a look at my tactic and fixtures. So we already see the tactic, obviously, but fixtures and schedule. Let's have a look at it then. So I've
banged in a
also
few
done
goals.
very well. And
Yeah.
of course, I'm still unbeaten at the minute.
And you've only conceded one goal.
And I've only conceded against Leganes. 7-0 against Almeria. Girona 3-0, 6-0 against Getafe. Big old wins in this one. Let's have a look at the Champions League. We got Leipzig, Man City. I keep coming up against them. Bayern Munich's in there as well. Atletico Madrid. He won. But I need a big season. I need you not to do much, to be honest. Then I can catch you up and make it really competitive in season number 4. So let's see how we get on in season number 3. Okay, season 3. Dad retains the title again. 96
You've only lost
points.
2 games though. So in 2 seasons, you lost 2 games.
Yeah, that's annoying though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lost against you away from home there. You might have been the one that actually ended my unbeaten run.
Yeah.
But I also beat you too. So I got a point there. So that's a point each for doing that. But you do get 4 points for winning the league. Goals-wise, oh, Jesus. Isak's dropped right off, unfortunately for me. But Mbappe has continued to score. 45 goals with Osimhen getting 26. Mental. He scored 26 goals and he's 19 goals behind the golden boot. That is absolutely mental. So 45 in 35 games with 16 assists. When I look at like the future of football right now, I just think, how many years is it going to take for somebody to be able to beat this Real Madrid team?
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, they have the best manager that they need to be able to do it. You can't like question the manager.
Oh, no, you can't question him at all.
They've got players. I mean, I think it's like Nacho and Carvajal are like 2 old players. Rudiger's 31. And then you look past their defence and you're like, oh, but then they've got a midfield of Tchouaméni, Camavinga.
All coming through. Yeah.
Valverde's good.
Bellingham's
there. And then you've got Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Endrick and Mbappe up front.
It's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is actually frightening.
And it's like, who's gonna be able to defeat that
Yeah.
for the next 10 years?
You expect them to be winning their league, I would say, out of the next 10 years, probably 7.
Yeah, especially with Barcelona's like
They're
bad
rebuilding.
Yeah, they're bad finances right now. I mean, they have got Hansi Flick. You kind of like, all right, they might be able to do something.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think this Real Madrid team's going to dominate.
2 years to rebuild.
Yeah, I can see this.
Real Madrid just getting better.
Yeah, I can see this Real Madrid side winning, being like Bayern Munich. I can see them winning like the next 7 or 8.
And when you come to the Champions League, Real Madrid do what Real Madrid do in the Champions League, don't they?
Yeah.
They just turn up and win it. You know,
when they're on the brink of losing, they all of a sudden win. You're like, what the hell?
You got to be playing to that final whistle to beat them.
Yeah, Don Carlos already there with a cigar, and you're like, we're 1-0 up. Why is he smoking a cigar?
I mean, Man City found that out, didn't they? They were 2 up in the last minute.
Yeah. But there we go. Right, okay, let's have a look. We're on Barcelona. Did I win any cups? Yes. However, I lost to you in the Champions League semi-final.
So I'm in the final, at least. Oh, get in.
Copa del Rey, I defeated Real Betis. So I've got 3 points for winning the Copa del Rey. Runner-up in the Super Cup. Oh, boom. Another point towards you. Get it over and done with. Did you win the Champions League 2 years in a row? Oh, penalties. Imagine losing Real Valladolid. Oh, that's so annoying. 64 goals for Mbappe, 36 for Victor Osimhen. Even Rodrigo stepping up there. Bit of a bad season there for Vinicius Jr. Only 17 and 23 goals. But Rodrigo with 21 and 32 is unbelievable.
What I'm more impressed with, really, is the amount of games that they played. Like, the top four, like, 52, 52, 40, 52. So there's only Victor really that's missed out a couple of the games.
Yeah, he must have had a bit of an injury, I guess. That's he had sprained knee ligaments. He was out for 5 weeks and a torn hamstring.
So your main strikers, there are 3 of them have played nearly every game.
Yeah,
it's consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to have consistency.
I'll tell you, who didn't play much was Jarell Hato, who you spent £115 million on.
Did say he'd be
or Rico Lewis the season before, you spent 70 on. But there we go. Transfer budget for next season, 206. What the hell you need that for? I don't know. Goals for me, 34 and 31 for Isak and Kramaric. That is mental considering he's playing left mid.
Yeah.
With 16 assists. Gavi getting 19 and 15. Lamine Yamal getting 18 and 18, playing 61 games in total. That's still decent. Alejandro Balde, I think I've got to be quite praising of. I spent quite a lot of money on Kobe Mainoo, who played 33 games, started, 24 off the bench, basically played every game. 13 assists, 4 goals, not bad at all. My transfer budget for next season is 226 million. Again, though, where I change it, I don't really know. We're going to have a look and see what's available around. But, okay, points tally. Season number 3 is Omega Luke with 4. Omega Dad with 7. Meaning the total points now is Omega Luke with 14 and Omega Dad with 32. I'm in crisis mode, so I've needed to sign a couple of strikers to kind of help out Alexander Isak. Even though I had an unbeaten season last year and only lost 2 this year, I'm having to basically change my tactic because I'm trailing so much on points. Mental. Only 2 losses in 76 games. And I'm like, oh, God, we're going to have to change things. What is happening there? So, Loa Sapenda, £68 million from Leipzig. Very fast, very, all-round kind of striker, to be honest. Likes to beat the offside trap. Good with both feet. Can also play in the 3 behind as well if I need that. But Dusan Vlahovic gives you something different. And he costs me quite a lot of money as well. This guy's big, strong, very powerful, very quick. Good left foot. £120 million. Scored in the teens every single season since he moved basically to Juve, other than that 1 year where he moved in the January, I think. But 3 goals in 4 appearances so far with 2 assists is exactly what I'm looking for £120 million. And then finally, Dennis Seaman, because at the minute, my goalkeeper is adamant he wants to leave at the end of this season. And I didn't have a lot of money, so I just brought in Dennis Seaman as my backup goalkeeper for now. He's going to play in the B team just in case. So, tactics. I haven't changed it too much. All I've basically done is move a centre midfielder up into that striker role as a complete forward on support and a deep line playmaker instead of the regista. Main reason for that is to keep the solidity of my midfield and my defence there. And as you can see here, hopefully it will stay as solid in defence as what it has been, because I haven't been losing many games at all. I just needed more goals to hopefully try and win more tournaments. That's what I really need. So Isak and Vlahovic up top there is quite nice, but Lamine Yamal will be the main guy there on that right-hand side is what I'm hoping, because he is getting better and better every single season. As you can see now, he's no longer a teenager. Mental. We've been playing this like 4 years. Dad, though, you have signed 3 players.
Yep.
Nico Schlotterbeck was the first.
Yeah, just a squad player again. Striking my defence up a little bit more.
76 million, just a squad player.
Well, you can't help it, can I? only spent 191.
Victor Gyökeres coming in.
That's just in case one of my strikers get injured.
Hold on, did you just say I only spent 91?
191.
Victor Gyökeres and then Xavi Simons.
I looked up this as well and I thought, well, I played PSG in the Champions League final, so I've just weakened them, bought 2 of their best players.
No, what you actually did is just give them 115 million for 2 players that they probably weren't playing. They weren't even playing him last season. 11 games, 10 starts, and you just gave them £55 million. Xavi Simons, 11 games again, 16 million. So for 22 appearances in the league last year, you give him 115 million.
I strengthened my squad, man. At the moment, who's winning on points.
I can't wait to see you do a youth to gold. Like, if you won the Champions League yet? No, I'm in season 18, and
I got no youngsters coming through. I sold them all.
Oh, I sold them all because I wasn't giving them game time. All right, so
I am worried about it.
yeah, I can't wait to see it. Changed around a few of the things here, is it? Or, no, it kept exactly the same, I think, from last year. Best 11, as you can see, pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How can you strengthen that?
Yeah, but if you bought one player for that 191 million, would probably be better than Courtois or Guehi. That would be what I would have looked to have done instead of two players that, let's be fair, Schlotterbeck, you are never going to play.
Courtois, I did look at replacing him. There was probably about 2 keepers that you can get that's better.
Yeah.
And they were not for sale.
Okay.
PSG keepers were obviously one of them.
Yeah, Donnarumma.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other one was, but they're just not selling them.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a couple of players that Man City have got, they're just not releasing them.
No.
Arsenal players never get sold either.
Oh, God. I mean, I've done it again. I've tried signing Saliba.
Yeah.
He agrees the deal. And I think last season, it definitely wasn't this season, it was the last season, I tried to sign Martin Ødegaard.
Yeah.
Nothing. Straight away, sign a contract at Arsenal. And I just think, what's the point?
And that's the problem. When you've got that player, you have got to spend the 140, 150, 200 million on one player to get better than what you got. But those teams are not releasing them.
Excuses. You did beat me 4-0 as well at the new camp. 4-0. Wow. You've had a good start to the season. 3-1 against Valencia, 7-1 against Celtic, who won the Europa League. So congratulations, Celtic.
Yeah, well done.
Villarreal, like I was saying over, like it was real life.
Yeah.
3-2 for Villarreal. 92nd minute winner as well. You got away with that one, especially because you were 1-0 down and 2-1 down.
Yeah.
Real Valladolid, 6-0, and then 4-0 against me. That was annoying. Champions League. Let's have a look. We got to play each other again.
Ooh.
We've got to play each other again, and we've got to play Man City
as well, yeah.
Milan,
PSG,
Juve. You got a hard one.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
My schedule so far, obviously the loss to Real Madrid there, but beating Girona 3-0, beating Sevilla 3-0, Real Sociedad 4-1. Champions League fixtures coming in. Lyon, Inter, Feyenoord, Olympiacos, Celtic, Atalanta, Sparta Prague. I've only really got you and Inter in there. I hope I batter Feyenoord. Absolutely whip them. Season number 4, points. There is a big gap.
Yes.
I'll give you that. And you've just added 1 just for beating me 4-0 there. Let's see if I can pull it back and simulate the season. Well, that sucks.
That's twice that's happened, isn't it? There's the same
The
points in it.
same points, and you win it on goal difference. And I lost against you twice as well.
So you lost the league by losing against me, really.
Yeah. So it's 2 points plus the 4 you get. So 6 points. I'm not enjoying this rebuild. How am I doing this well and still getting absolutely
Really, when you look at it, you've had
bounced
100
around on
points and you lost the league. I had, was it 101 points I had?
101 points and lost the league.
And lost the league, yeah. So
Victor Gyökeres was your top scorer. Weird. Mbappe only got 21.
just now you said he was a
happened
bad
there?
signing.
What happened there? Looks like he's had a really bad injury.
So did I get him in at the right time just in case of the injuries, isn't it?
He's had a very bad injury here. So, broke his upper leg. Oh, that's a tough one. Breaking your upper leg.
Good job I got that over strike rate, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to get some game time. I haven't played in 3 seasons. Crazy. Right, okay, we're on Barcelona. Let's have a look at competitions. I need a big season. I won the Copa del Rey. Let's go. And the Super Cup, which meant I probably beat you too. There's another point right there. Didn't win the Champions League, though. I could have done with that, but bloody Arsenal knocked me out. Beat Athletic Club, or Bilbao, in the final there, so that's fantastic. Let's see, though, did I beat you in other competitions? Yes, I knocked you out of the Copa del Rey, and you didn't win the Champions League for the 3rd season. Oh, 7-1. Woof.
What happened there?
I mean, the bad side of it is you actually beat me in
the
one of the
first
legs.
game, yeah.
So you got a point for that, but I got 2 points for 1 knocking you out and 2 beating you in the second leg. But 8-4 in aggregate.
I beat you 3-1 the
Jesus.
first game.
Yeah. All right, showing off your maths.
That's bad, isn't it?
Let's have a look at the Champions League then. You lost to Benfica. I won 8-0 against Liverpool. That is absolutely mental. Sorry to completely go off where you were, but that's insane. So you were knocked out 4-3 on aggregate by Benfica. League phase. Oh yeah, you struggled because you had that hard one. So lost to PSG, drew to me. So no points either way there. And then you won 4.
I won all my own games.
Yeah, you beat Man
You
City
did,
as
yeah.
well. I won 5. I had a quite easy one, so I drew against you and Celtic and lost to Atlanta. But then I went into the quarterfinal, and that's where I was eliminated by Arsenal 5-4 on aggregate. But there we go. Final was actually won by Man City, who you beat 3-0.
Yeah.
Who beat
PSG got the
PSG.
final again.
Yeah. Oh, they could have really done with Victor Gyökeres there, couldn't
Yeah,
they?
they could have done this season. I mean, he was on form. He was on form this season.
La Liga top scorer. Really missed him. Real Madrid, goals-wise then, Victor Gyökeres was 41, 32 for Victor Osimhen, 29 and 31. So, yeah, he was actually off form, really, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably good that he broke his leg. He might come back a new player. 24 and 23 from Vinicius Jr. Some big assists there from Rodrigo yet again. And Pedro Porro with 19 down there. So some really good stuff on
He's
them.
a good pair bombing down that wing, isn't he?
Yeah, you got 148 million. Not as much as last season. My squad-wise, I got 35 goals from Isak, 29 from Vlahovic, 26 from Kvaratskhelia. So that's good, with 22 assists as well. 28 assists from Lamine Yamal. And he's now a 5-star. Oh my god, the growth in 1 year is mental. Oh no, Kobe Mainoo's got injured. He's torn his calf. He's been out for a while. Expected to be out another 6 weeks. So he's missed the end of the season there. And my defender too. Got a bit of a hip injury that he's been out for another 2 to 6 weeks. So I've been missing players too. But I've got £212 million going into the final season. But I've got a feeling it's going to be very difficult for me to overcome. Let's have a look at the points. Well, the season points are Omega Luke with 6 and Omega Dad with 7. Meaning the total points after 4 seasons are Omega Luke with 20 and Omega Dad with 39. Alright, season 5, as expected, I lost Marc-Andre ter Stegen. He went to Bayern Munich, unfortunately. He didn't want to sign a new deal. Screw you. I almost swore. Zabarnyi brought him in for £80 million, £82 million. Very good defender. I mean, physically,
I do like him.
unbelievable. Yeah,
he's a
very
good
good,
player.
the Ukrainian defender there. Simakan as well, £66 million. Brought him in because he's natural at right back and centre back. And I've only actually got one natural right back at my club in Jules Koundé right now, who's not actually a right back. He actually started off his career as a centre back. And then finally, I brought in Bayern Munich's goalkeeper because they stole mine in Mamardashvili, who was actually on the transfer list. So brought him in. I also sold Ferran Torres, hopefully to Bayer Leverkusen to beat Bayern Munich after stealing my goalkeeper. And Rafinha went to Girona as well, but I think he is like 31 now. Yeah, he never really played him, to be honest, because of Lamine Yamal. But there we go. Tactically, I'm sticking with the same thing. I tried something different. And I lost the game. I tried going for my fluid pedigree tactic that I used with my Ajax Youth the Gold. Go check that video out, honestly, if you haven't, to see this tactic in action. It is beautiful, the goals that you score. But I don't think I had the right players for it. I've got too many good strikers, so I've gone back to the tactic I was using previously. And as you can see, best 11 pick sticks with Yamal on that right-hand side. The reason why he's not nailed in there, everybody else kind of picks themselves. I am surprised I've kept De Jong this long. I know that rhymes, but I'm surprised I have kept him around this much. He's been wanted for the last 3 seasons and no bids have come in, so I've just never really sold him. But neither of us have really sold a player.
We haven't. I was quite surprised with this, especially with me as well. You know, I mean, I was having some big offers as well for some of my players.
Yeah, you have like some offers for Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr., like over £250 million with add-ons.
Yeah, and we're just turning it down.
Yeah, which surprised me.
But both of us have done that. I mean, we haven't sold any of our big name players.
No. Let's have a look at the players that you did bring in, Dad. Obviously, no signings in there or out there, but you did bring in Diogo Costa.
On a freebie.
Diogo Costa, sorry. On a free. Manu Kone from Bayern Munich, £79 million. And £88 million on Lukaba.
Yeah.
Left-sided centre-back there. And that means, tactically, that they all go into your team, don't they? No, not one of them. So yet again, what's that?
Strengthen the squad up again.
£167 million spent that season. £191 million spent the season before. And you have to go back this far before you find a player that actually breaks into your first team, which is like 2 or 3 there. So for like 3 seasons, there's been no first team players coming in.
But that's what I was saying. It's hard to replace when you've got these type of caliber players, haven't you? Really?
Oh yeah, Costa goes in, but I think Courtois has been playing for you.
Yeah.
I don't think, because Costa hasn't started a game yet.
My reserve keeper wanted to leave, that's why I got Costa in, because I would have got Costa in.
You lost Luna.
When he was on a freebie as well.
Yeah.
So, but they can find that between them. But the rest of the team, it just picked itself. I mean, the front 4, with Bellingham there 5, you could just you could have that for five more seasons, really.
Yeah, because I think the oldest one there is Mbappe, who's 29 now.
I mean, he keep himself fit. He
I
can
don't
go
think
to 33.
30. Oh, he's 29 too.
Yeah. So you can get him for another 4 seasons. That strike force just there.
Yeah. Also, probably the as you know already, the Patreon and channel members, they will get the save game file after we finish this 5th and final season. So you get to play around with this. Maybe you want to have a look at the tactic, because on mine you'll get both of the tactics that I've got there. The invincible one, which is here. Actually, no, that's a different one, to be fair. You just have to change like that position back and that position to register, and you'll get the invincible tactic. It's exactly the same other than that. And then, of course, the fluid pedigree one that I did with Ajax, that was a beautiful tactic. You'll score some lovely goals with that if you've got the right players for it. But yeah, maybe you want dads. So, schedule. You've lost the game, Dad, 2-0.
Yes, that's a bit disappointing after you've seen the goals I was scored. I mean, the first 3 games, 15 goals, and 1 against.
And then followed it up with an 8-0.
Yeah, I'll give him a right bollock and say.
Yeah, must have. Let's have a look at your Champions League fixtures. You've got Arsenal, Celtic, Porto, Juve, Ajax, Liverpool, ending with PAOK and Napoli. Let's have a look at my schedule then. So, I've also lost the game 2-0 to Girona. But, again, some good results around it. Rayo Vallecano 3-0, 4-1 against Rayo Valladolid. Villarreal 2-1. Atletico Madrid 2-0. I've got PSG in the Champions League, so I've got some tricky games there. PSG and Chelsea to start things off. Arsenal as well. Ajax, we've got the same type of clubs again. Not really much to play for in season number 5. Let's just get it over and done with, shall we? Well, season 5, Dad wins the league again. 103 points, lost one game against that Valencia.
Really. You beat me really by not losing one game.
No, that's that's not how it goes. You beat me away from home 3-1.
It's a goal difference as well. Look at my goals, 149 goals.
Yeah, it's 29.
Games. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Unreal. So Mbappe with 44, Victor Osimhen with 39. Good to see he didn't break his leg and ruin the player. He's still really good. Lamine Yamal was there, like 4-5 average rating, but yeah, other than that, it's quite a poor season, really. I didn't even get any goal scorers in there. We're on Barcelona. How did we get on? Runner-up in the Champions League, but Copa del Rey winner. Super Cup I won. Beat you in that one. 1-0. Copa del Rey winner. Beat you in that one. 4-1. That's 3 points plus the one for beating you. If only I won the Champions League, it might have been a little bit closer, but it wasn't. If I won the league as well, then you're looking at that. There's a big swing around because I was 19 points behind. If I won everything, there's a possibility, especially if I knocked you out for things, that I would have done it. Let's see. Was it you? I've already seen it. Extra time. Boom! Extra time win as well. Penalty in the 90th minute.
So me and you played every single. We played every single game that we could possibly play in.
Yeah.
Got to all the finals.
All the finals. Victor Osimhen with 117th minute. Vinicius Jr. with 120th. You did dominate the game though. Like 26 shots to my 5.
Yeah.
So you absolutely obliterated me in
90
terms
minutes
of
to score.
Yeah.
And that was a penalty.
Goals wise, 61 and 53 in total for Mbappe. 53 and 54 for Victor Osimhen, and Victor Gyökeres with 24. Some huge statistics being knocked up there. Patreon members or channel members, you got another £110 million in Dad's budget. Don't know where you're going to spend that. Or 167 for Barcelona. So that's not too bad. 30 goals there for Dusan Vlahovic. Maybe you take over this Barcelona side and try and beat Dad's dominant Real Madrid. That could be a little task for you if you want to have a little go on that, or you just want to pinch the tactics. But thank you very much for supporting me on the Patreon or the channel memberships. You help Dad be here, and we're obviously, the big aim is to retire Dad completely, so you're obviously helping towards that, the eventual goal of doing that. So baby steps at the time. We've made him semi-retired, and it's time to get him fully retired, but thank you. Okay, successful rebuild.
Yes.
How do you reckon, how many seasons is it going to take for you to win the Champions League in this Youth to Gold?
A lot of seasons. A lot of seasons. I reckon easily over 10. I think it's going to take me a long time.
Yeah.
I think it will take me over 10 seasons to get there.
I think it will take you 14.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not used to the system of Youth to Gold yet.
No.
So you don't know the stages. You go through your stages in Youth to Gold, or it's like, right, I'm at like stage 2 now, where I'm having to get rid of my best players. That's what's going to kill you.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
You hate getting rid of players and replacing them with worse players. Yeah. But you have to take that.
My biggest worry is the first few seasons, like you say, is buying those players that you know are not good enough to be in your team, and then making sure I do the right thing for them.
Yeah.
I.e., like sending them out on loan or sticking them into the youth side.
Yeah.
And then bringing them through, and then knowing when you've got to bring them.
Yeah.
They are good enough, because obviously I think you said it to me just now when it was like the second season, you really got to be looking at getting rid of players then.
Yeah.
That second season, especially anybody that's 28.
Yeah.
you got to get rid of, and they're usually always my best players, aren't they?
Exactly. The youth to goal system, in case anybody doesn't know what the rules are, you can only buy players who are 19 or younger. So as soon as they take their 20th birthday, you can no longer sign them. However, the reason why it's youth to gold is because you're not allowed to use players who are 30 or above from season number 2. So you've got 1 season's grace of using all the players at your squad, but then once you get to season 2, any player who's 29, you've got to be looking at getting rid of them because they will turn 30 throughout the season and you can no longer use them then. So as soon as they hit their 30th birthday, you can't play them anymore. So you've got to sell them. So if you're playing this for a long period of time and you start buying youngsters for cheap, the reason why it's youth to gold is you're buying them for cheap and you're selling them when they get to like 27 for huge profits because you've already got a replacement lined up. And you end up with huge transfer budgets, no debts, the club is thriving, and an amazing youth system.
Yeah.
It works very well, but there's a few seasons in there where you really, really struggle.
I just hope I don't get sacked.
And I think that's where you're going to really, really struggle. But there's lots of videos online for you to go and watch and show how it's done. And this is exactly how I did it with Ajax. So go and watch that video right now. Thank you very much for watching.